Didn't find any off the Iono and Run Aaron, just having to use his supporter again. And now there's no Earthen Vessels left in his deck, so may continue to struggle to find energies later into this game.
Wonder if Joseph is considering using another Turbo Energize this turn. Does have another copy in the hand. Could accelerate more energies, and that actually is going to be the choice here, using what is essentially a bonus turn. There's only one Darkness Energy in the deck, so instead grabbing 2 to put to the hand to at least just guarantee an attachment on the following turn. Interesting choice here for Joseph.
Now Noah kind of has this question of, without the Binding Mochi, you can't really attack this Kangaskhan since Joseph's threatening attaching a Dark to the Monkey Dory and using Terminal Period. So maybe Noah just goes after this Monkey Dory with the Dark Energy and pressures those energies that Joseph has been playing relatively aggressively. Noah now kind of knows that 1 is probably prized, the last 7th one, since there's 5 in play, and 1 in hand from the Earthen Vessel.
There is that secret box drawn off of this trade. But again, with those pieces being gone, just cannot guarantee a 1-hit KO on these bulky Pokemon. So the question becomes, when is it time to strike? And it feels like sooner rather than later is just the better answer.
And Noah does have to be careful about using that secret box. If you use the secret box, don't get the Binding Mochi. Joseph's going to know something's up, especially when you could get the Black Belt and the Binding Mochi right off that secret box and knock out this Mega Kangaskhan, catapulting you 3 prizes halfway through this game. It's going to be pretty clear that those Mochis are prized, but also keeping it in your hand means it could just get Claw of Darkness.
Now, a lot of choices from this attract customers. Turo, Boss's Orders, Iono. Joseph has accrued a pretty large hand size.
Noah is down in Iono already, though, so has to be a little careful of that, especially with Joseph's Eerie and Claw of Darkness being able to pressure those resources in the hand. Noah is down in Iono already, though, so maybe looking for the boss's orders to either knock out that Monkey Dory Eerie or start putting damage onto that Absol for a 2-hit KO.
Just deciding what the last card is to discard. We already saw an energy hit the discard pile on the previous turn. Looks like the second will right now. And actually discarding a boss's orders. So what is Noah looking for?
A lot of resources hitting the discard, a lot of supporters, a lot of energies, but Noah is on 8 Darkness Energy. We'll see what he opts to do. Maybe looking for a Lilies just to reset the hand.
Ring around the rosy, it almost feels.
Maybe he missed that the Binding Mochis were prized and now is finding that out.
Yeah, it's not a card you often check, and with that card being gone, it kind of messes everything up.
Yeah, with the shorter prize checking time now, you have to prioritize what cards you want, and while Binding Mochi is important, it's not important until the mid to late game, so maybe Noah just missed it on that first search, and now with the secret box finding it out, we'll see what he opts to grab here, eyeing up a boss's orders, which feels so bad when you just discarded 1 off the secret box.
Huge resource wasted at this point. How will Noah climb back? That boss's order's gone, you've got Pal Pad to bring things back, and we're just making what is essentially a negative trade.
Yeah, may have to get a Pal Pad off the secret box. No, eyeing up a Buddy Buddy Poffin. Gotta be really careful about that Pal Pad. You don't want it to get discarded. Only getting 2 cards off the secret box too. You played 4 cards effectively, the secret box and 3 discards, and you're only getting 2. Usually you're getting 4 cards, getting some big combo, but Noah here unable to put that together. Really an awkward spot he's found himself in this game. And down another ends PP up. Joseph now maybe using that Eerie and a Claw of Darkness if he doesn't want to, or if he's unable to Terminal Period this turn, could pressure that recovery. And now Noah going for that Monkey Dory.
Dory does come down, Zoroark into the active spot, using that Pecharunt to essentially retreat for free, poison onto the Zoroark, retreat with End's Castle, and Zoroark copying with Night Joker, and Zekrom's attack to take the KO, 250 damage. As Joseph will decide now which he wants to promote. The Kangaskhan does have the chance to take a 1-hit KO, but the Absol will guaranteed strip some resources away from Noah's hand.
And Joseph does have the ability to go for that Kangaskhan play risk-free because, again, open list means he knows there's no Reshiram in Noah's list. So he could just go for those 2 heads, 25% chance to just knock out the Zoroark and put himself super far ahead. Looks like there's a little bit of discussion here.
Looks like there is a pace of play warning that is getting appealed at this point. So we will get confirmation on exactly what is happening. It is, of course, big moments for both of these players. Time is crucial. Time is of essence. So we'll get this figured out and get right back into the action. And what kind of action are we looking at here? Binding Mochi, MIA. which is really going to change how this game plays out. Noah is essentially getting the first hit in this matchup. That's advantageous, but is it enough?
Joseph now, after that secret box for Noah, knows that there's no binding mochis in the deck. So he's going to have to be not as worried about his Pokemon getting knocked out, meaning big penny plays can come in, healing those Pokemon if Noah has to go for the 2 shots. And while he's doing that, can Claw of Darkness take more of those resources? Noah just discarded a boss and played a boss on the same turn. Imagine if that Palpat gets stuck in the hand after an Iono, or if it's in there right now. Could Eerie use Claw of Darkness, and so many ways to get rid of these resources. And it really shows the power of this Mega Absol deck, just denying your opponent resources and having this long game that you're able to sustain with Kangaskhan's draw, Penny to heal, Energy Switch to make combos out of nowhere, extra Monkey Dories, Petulant attacks, early Blood Moon attacks. A lot of options available to Joseph here.
Like to bring Chip in to sort of discuss how this game is playing out. It feels like in matchups that are standard almost in this spot, we're just getting completely new circumstances to have to deal with and work out.
Yeah, really interesting to see how these players are both approaching it. But I did just want to kind of update on the judge situation here. So basically what has happened is that Noah was issued a warning for pace of play. He obviously did take quite a bit of time on that last turn. I don't think there's anything malicious there. He's obviously just really thinking through kind of a unique and difficult spot. But, of course, the pace of a Pokemon trading card game is meant to be lively and upbeat. So he is going to be issued a warning for that. He did appeal to the head judge, and I believe that warning will still stand.
And right away, back into the action. Thank you, Chip. Eerie being played as a supporter for choice, and considering what the rest of the hand looks like, only gets a Buddy Poffin.
Interestingly, Joseph chose to promote this Absol instead of the Kangaskhan and used the Trolley to find the Latios, really just showing how important it is to not bench these 2 prize liabilities. And now Joseph here really going for the recovery cards, bringing up that Zekrom.
Oh, wow, misattached the energy, it looks like.
Oh no.
think he thought Absol had 3 energies on it attached for turn to the Monkey Dory. I think he's considering what to do now in this spot.
Maybe grabbing Pheasantipity now, has to look for an energy switch. Joseph is playing 2, some lists are only playing 1, but Joseph here 2 has a chance to find it off the Pheasantipity, but now you have a Pheasantipity on your board, and then Noah can use another boss's orders, bring that up, copy Rampaging Thunder for 250 damage, knocking it out, and has 2 more chances to find one of those Binding Mochis. And then Noah's at 3 prizes. If he finds that Binding Mochi, could find Binding Mochi, Black Belt's training to knock out one of these Mega Pokemon.
Opening now, especially with the Latios also coming down, another easy target. There have been a good amount of resources expanded, though. Let's not forget about that. So here we go now, big 3 cards off of Flip the Script. Do we see an energy switch to move one of these energy off the Kangaskhan? No, it's just some supporter cards. All of a sudden, Joseph cannot perform an attack this turn.
Well, he didn't get Petulant.
Oh,
so.
I mean, he can attack with the active. Of course, it's not as good. Now is going in with an energy switch.
Now has to decide what to move it off of. You can move it off this Monkey Dory, but now you're not really threatening a terminal period next turn if this Absol gets hit. Yeah, moving it off that Absol, really weak turn because of that misattach.
Yeah.
Down an energy switch, a valuable resource for getting these interesting plays out of nowhere, either an extra Monkey Dory, Kangaskhan, or Absol attack out of nowhere. And now Noah, the tempo's back on him, draws the boss's orders, the 3rd one in his deck. We'll see what he decides to do with it.
Maybe a bit of nerves coming in. Monkey Dory could possibly get picked off once again with the boss's orders, and all of a sudden it just becomes a coin flipping war, it feels like. Tatsugiri, yet again, finds Lily's determination off the top 6. Noah has expanded a lot of resources so far. These trade abilities are thinning out the deck a lot.
Noah here may just be going for an attack on this Kangaskhan. Joseph would need to find a recovery card to get another Dark Energy back, or a Mist Energy, and then also his last Energy Switch, which is not that easy to do, being down an Energy Switch and ton of energies. Noah does find the second Zekrom, so it doesn't have to use a Night Stretcher, but he has to be really careful of what he has in his hand, as the Mega Absol can take any piece out if it stays in there for too long.
So here we go, one trade used. Boss's orders brings up Pheasantipity, and here we go. We'll see that Rampaging Thunder take the KO, knocking out Pheasantipity EX. Noah goes down to just 3 prize cards, lining up to KO one of these Mega Pokemon to win the game, and importantly, takes that Binding Mochi.
Noah now has a line to win the game soon. That Mega Absol, only having 330 HP, can get knocked out from the Binding Mochi and Black Belt's training combo. The Mega Kangaskhan, though, 350 HP, would survive. And that seems to be Joseph's prime attacker here. And The thing to always consider, if Joseph just flips 2 heads on the Mega Kangaskhan attack, the Zoroark gets knocked out, and Joseph takes 2 prizes.
Is there some sort of disruption? It's just not as strong when your opponent's got Pecharunt plus Tatsugiri and double Zoroark. We'll see boss's orders yet again, plus that rapid fire combo for the KO here. If Noah has the Black Belt's training in the hand, this game is actually going to be over. He could use the Binding Mochi plus the Pecharunt to poison this Zoroark, and the Black Belt's training will deal enough damage. Actually, with this Kangaskhan, it's just a little bit too much HP. Forget this guy is a little bit beefier than that Mega Absol.
Yeah, Kangaskhan 300 HP, a broken attack, 200 damage. Technically, can go infinite and a draw engine. Really impressive Pokemon in general. Noah here has to find one of those 2 Night Stretchers, but Joseph is slowly but surely running Noah out of these attackers. But Noah, if he can keep both Night Stretchers available to him, would have just enough to complete the game, having that Pal Pad to get back boss's orders. Still has to be a little bit careful.
Is double boss then, Piper, the way to approach this? You could take out the Latios and then one of the Monkey Dory to win the game, since Joseph still needs to take 2 knockouts, two prize knockouts at that.
Noah has to be really careful here, because if he uses the Zekrom for a 2-shot on the Mega Kangaskhan, then Joseph could Penny and Countercatcher in the same turn and knock out that Zekrom, and Noah wouldn't have enough attacks to finish the game from there, but could also potentially get the Darmanitan involved to knock out something like the Monkey Dory and put himself back on even prizes to then knock out a Pheasantipity rebench or that Latios that's already there.
Finds the second Night Stretcher.
Still no Pal Pad though, and both Night Stretchers really scary when your opponent might just go boss the Zekrom and then discard that Night Stretcher with Claw of Darkness.
Just cannot find it whatsoever. And now that early discard of the boss's orders off the Secret Box could be coming back to bite Noah.
Potentially setting up Pecharunt as a backup attacker. 60 damage for each prize your opponent has taken, can do up to 300 damage, which is a lot against these Mega Pokemon. Would knock out a Kangaskhan without the Bravery Charm, and can knock out the Absol with the Black Belt's training. So maybe just here playing a bit aggressively, maybe going for that 2-shot. No boss's orders left in deck. We'll see what he gets. His deck is 5 cards. Tatsugiri seeing 6. You could just see what's in his deck. Really just showing the impressive draw engine trade provides.
Not gonna grab any of those supporter cards. No information given to Joseph in this spot. And now the fear kind of becomes petty here. You still go in and attack. I feel like it's better than doing nothing, so we'll see the poison from that Pecharunt pivoting in, ends Castle Retreat. Now the Zoroark can copy Rampaging Thunder for 250 damage. Joseph is now put onto a spot where he needs to find Penny to pick up this Mega Kangaskhan.
Joseph here could terminal period the Zoroark, but with Noah taking so many prizes, you have to wonder how likely is it for those 2 Binding Mochis to still be there. So likely going to continue that strategy of just gusting up the Zekrom and taking a knockout. Hopefully with Claw of Darkness this time. Ideally he can go Penny Countercatcher, but with 1 Countercatcher down, might be a little difficult to find all those pieces.
See the run errand to start things off. Finds the Penny and the Pokegear, but I think Penny was already in the hand.
Ele tá metendo esse Dragão Café no meio justamente porque ninguém quer, tá ligado?
Supporter Joseph wanted to use, so the
demorar
options from
esse mundo pra
Pokegear
ir embora,
aren't
né?
too important this turn. Has a Night Stretcher to get another Dark Energy, but does he have the Countercatcher to gust up that Zekrom? Or is the Zekrom going to survive another turn?
This game is getting intense. Everything feels off the rails. No Mochis present. Some misattachments on Joseph's side.
Foda, né? Quando a gripe pega, é uma desgraça.
It's just going to be boss's orders onto Zekrom once more.
O bom é que ele tá contra a maca na mão,
Healing the
né?
damage off, retreating into this Absol, and using Claw of Darkness, but I believe Noah still has the Pal Pad in the deck, and if he can turbo through the deck
Vai
enough,
descartar a maca.
can find boss's orders,
Óbvio.
but the Night Stretcher discarded. I'm actually not sure there's a way to bring back End Zekrom anymore.
But Noah attached to the Pecharunt last turn can attach another energy, and Joseph with 3 prizes taken would go to, would the Pecharunt be doing 180, could knock out that Mega Kangaskhan, because Joseph had to boss, he couldn't use Penny. So Noah here has his Tatsugiri,
Eu ia
he can
falar
draw through
isso.
the rest of his deck, find the Pal Pad,
Se
pop up the boss
ele
back in, attract
quiser.
customers to get the boss,
Nossa, faixa
Pecharunt into the,
preta,
the
perfeito.
Zoroark, and then ends Castle to
Se ele
retreat to the
botar
Pecharunt,
uma energia,
attach,
não
boss the
fechar,
Kangaskhan. So many pieces here, but Zoroark,
recuar,
Noah
botar
has 4 or 5
fechar na
cards left in his
frente,
deck.
puxar o
Zoroark can just
cangaço,
almost
bater
guarantee
e
it. If Noah can find this play, seems like he can win the game this turn.
220 damage onto this Kangaskhan, so 30 left, or excuse me, 130 left. So let's watch Noah play through the pieces here. Trade number 1. Discarding counter catcher, finds the pal pad, and that should guarantee everything. Can bring back the boss's orders. Tatsugiri to guaranteed find it, use it onto the Kangaskhan, and Petron EX, the mobility engine, gets in there with irritated outburst and wins Noah game number 1.
Noah here going down so many resources, but was still able to clutch out the game. Really interesting dynamic. Joseph, knowing Noah's whole list, can really discard resources and, as you saw, pressure those Zekrons. And Noah ran out of Zekrons, but knew that was going to happen and got the Petron set up to win the game there.
Chip, want to bring you in again. How did that conclusion end up happening? It felt like that one misattachment turn from Joseph just let everything spiral out of control.
Yeah, that was definitely a big deal. We definitely got a little insight there into how each of these players is hoping to approach this matchup. A bit of posturing going on from both of these guys, attaching energy, building up a board, a little bit of waiting, being patient, seeing who is going to be the first attacker as Noah spreads his energies out here onto his Zoruas. We see Joseph using a second TM Turbo Energize to juice his board fully up. Then we, of course, had that judge ruling. Maybe takes the players out of the game for just a moment, and Joseph makes this crucial mistake, attaching an energy to the Monkey Dory when he needs one more on this Absol in order to attack. He realizes immediately after playing this counter catcher, has to do some weird stuff and find an energy switch. He still gets off an attack this turn, but being unable to strip the resource from Noah's hand, which is what he was aiming to do, really cost him in the end. We definitely got some insight though. Joseph is really going to be going after those End Zekroms in this matchup and hoping to get rid of Night Stretchers as well.
Thank you, Chip. It makes sense now how he was able to take down so many of these End Zekrom players, or the End Zoroark players rather, just trying to get rid of the 2 Night Stretcher, and that is the key here. Only 2 Night Stretcher in the list for Noah. If he has to burn one early with something like Secret Box, could be extremely detrimental in this matchup.
And if one is prized, or even one Zekrom is prized, it puts a lot of strain on the ability to attack. Noah not playing any Artisans can struggle to find those Zekroms sometimes, having the Nest Ball and Pokepad, but not a consistent method. And Joseph consistently pressuring them. Noah may be bound to whiff an attack, and I think that's what Joseph is hoping for. Punishing these lists, going down to 2 Night Stretcher, no other recovery, and only those 2 Zekroms, no Reshiram. Really just punishing the flexible deck for not being as flexible as it once was.
Joseph will have the opportunity to go second in this matchup. An absolutely huge advantage to try and find that turn 1 combo of Precious Trolley plus the Turbo Energize thanks to Arven. It is a mulligan taken, so Noah will have additional help, which is so important going first with the Zoroark deck.
Those extra cards are really key. Zoroark really wants to get as many Zoros as possible turn 2, and then turn 1, and then Cyrano on the second turn to get 2 to 3 Zoroarks in play and start using those trades immediately. Some people have been playing the Technical Machine Evolution, but Noah's sticking with the Cyranos, just getting to use those trades immediately and not having to wait a turn to use them.
Get into this game, see how the prize cards and everything is impacted. Are getting set up. Joseph does have a basic Pokemon. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like a moment of silence from the crowd. What is the worst possible thing you can look at in this matchup if you are a Zoroark player? What is the last thing you want unavailable? Ladies and gentlemen, it happened once. It happened twice! Are you kidding me?
Double End Zekrom prize for Noah. Now has no good attacker into the Mega Absol box. Last time we saw he was playing against Grimmsnarl, and Blair, he's keeping the poker face a bit this time.
Ele prizou os dois
Blair is
Zekrom.
not going to cut it against these 300 HP basics.
Vamos pra próxima? Eu juntava o deck e ia pra
It's
próxima.
improbable, but twice in one of the biggest matches of the tournament? Are you kidding me?
At least he was able to squeak out that game 1 despite the double Mochi prize. Noah having terrible prizes this event.
Como
Still
que
has
ele
been
vai
able to make it
pegar
this far.
prize aí,
Winning a couple
velho?
of those games. And starts the Tatsugiri, so depending on Joseph's
Ele vai
start,
ter que
he'd be
esperar
able
o
to
cara
have a really
matar?
strong turn
Difícil,
2.
mano.
It's going to play to the outs regardless. So unfortunate. You have to feel for Noah in this spot. Was able to pull it out the first time, but this is a much different matchup that's going to go a lot differently. Not a super helpful supporter.
Eu que
just
dou uma
trying to
parada de
cross his borders.
acompanhar? Não, eu vejo
Here's
por
the passive
fora.
turn. Can Joseph put together a powerful
Eu
turn
até
one?
vejo,
Precious
mas eu
Trolley
não vejo mais
Starts
em
with the
live, eu
Poké
vejo
here.
por
It's a
fora.
little weak if you're starting with the Poké here. You want to have the Arven, but I see an Arven in those 7 cards.
Wow.
And I
he
saw Dark
already
Energy.
sees the Precious Trolley and the TM Turbo Energize. Just going to immediately grab those out. The cards are manifesting. They're coming to Joseph.
And Joseph already has a Dark Energy in hand. Going to have that perfect turn 1 setup for the Mega Absol box deck. We'll see what Pokemon he decides to get off this Precious Trolley, where he decides to put the energies. And looking at his prizes, there is nothing too impactful. couple Pokemon, just another Yveltal, 1 penny. Nothing too impactful throughout this game. That town store, same place as last time, I think. We saw it be a bit impactful that Noah just got to keep his Ends Castle the whole game, but shouldn't matter too much. Joseph here getting that Kangaskhan, seeing a couple more cards, has the energy, Bravery Charm already on the Absol, keeping it safe from that Enzekrom, although Noah has prized both.
Quando dá na telha, eu dou uma olhada
Finding that
também.
Latias as well for a following turn to be able to pivot out of the Mega Kangaskhan, and it's picture perfect, ladies and gentlemen. Exactly how you
Mas em
draw things
questão
out on one side,
competitiva, eu
and
acho
the
o
worst
Pokémon
possible way
mais
to
da hora
draw things
agora.
out on the other side. I guess
geral,
having all 4
assim.
and Zoroark prized is slightly worse, but this is an
Os
improbability that's a
outros
little
dois
bit
eu
more likely.
acompanho
And it's
mais
happened
as
twice
cartas que
now
vai
on stream.
saindo. Os decks tá no
Noah
topo
here
do
is going to
jogo,
have to
mano.
try to get the Ends Darmanitan involved to even knock out these Monkey Dories, because without the Froslass in play like last time, these have 110 HP, so Flare isn't enough. Can't use Black Belt's training as it only adds damage against EX Pokemon. So we'll see how Noah decides to adapt
Foda
to
não ter
all the
atacante pra
Zekroms
conseguir
prize
correr com esse
again.
Zoroark aí, né,
It's going to have to
velho?
wait to get that Petron EX powered up in this matchup, as it only works when your opponent takes prize cards. But it will come down nevertheless, as well as a Lily's determination. I mean, if you're Noah, there's no real incentive to scooping things up and going to the next game since there's so much time on the clock, but it is a consideration at that, since at least you can go in with a little bit of a better mindset than potentially getting clobbered in the second game.
Mindset is super important in the
falar,
Pokemon TCG. These players have been playing Pokemon for
essa
2
lâmpada é
grueling
foda.
days, and now Noah has
Eu
prized double
provavelmente
Ends Zekrom
também
for the second
quitaria
time.
e ia pro terceiro
Could just
jogo,
use a bit
velho.
of
Se
time
eu
to
visse que
mental
os bichos
reset and
atacantes
then
tá
get ready
tudo
for
no
that third
prize,
game, but we saw him do
estaria
it yesterday.
perdendo
He
muito
could
tempo
do
aí
it
não.
again and win the
Qual que é a
game
opção
despite
que
them
tem,
being
velho?
prized.
Eu
Look,
realmente
it's
não
fun to draw
sei.
cards with trade, right? I mean,
true.
at minimum,
Dharma
if you're going to take a
Johnson,
mental
só
reset,
se
there's no
for,
better
né?
way than just to
Aí
use
mesmo
trade
o
8 or
Dharma
10
é
times
muito
before you
ruim
pick things
nessa
up.
match.
Yeah, Noah played trade back when it was Zoroark GX,
Dharma
and is
não
playing again
presta
with
nessa
Enzorg
match,
EX.
velho.
So definitely a big enjoyer of the discard 1 and draw 2.
Darmanitão
Also played a
ajuda
bit of
muito não.
refinement, so definitely one of the more fun engines. But here still hasn't found that Darumaka yet, which is going to be an important piece, but it's also going to tell Joseph that those End Zekroms are prized. We saw Joseph trying to disrupt those End Zekroms, keeping them in the discard pile last game, but now he doesn't have to worry about that because they're both in the prizes.
A blessing in disguise, maybe. We'll use this first trade. Finding Palpad, not much else at that. Ledley's determination hitting the discard pile now. Finds Badu. I mean, is that the way we go about trying to win? To slow our opponent down with the power of Badu and friendship?
Not sure. I did realize Noah could use the Binding Mochi to knock out those Monkey Dories using Scratch or Flare or Darumaka's first attack. Don't remember what it's called right now. Does 20 damage, but any of those will knock out the Monkey Dories, and the Enzekrom is in the bottom 2, so there's decent odds Noah could find one of them. But then again, we saw how Joseph played the last game. Even if Noah has one Zekrom, it's going to be under a lot of attack and resource denial.
There is the Petron EX coming down, subjugating chains to move into Yveltal. Boss's orders on Petron, and wow, this is an excellent turn 2 for Joseph. And he's going to be able to, if he wants to, get rid of this Palpad from the hand.
Eu nem
Palpad, a
jogava
really
essa.
strong resource, extra Professor Turo scenario, extra Ionos, extra Boss's orders, these big power supports for Zork. And this is kind of the downside of benching the Petron. Noah did it super aggressively both of these games, and I didn't really get a chance to comment on it, but the Absol deck playing 4 Boss and 3 Pokegear can really aggressively take a knockout on that, while not giving you damage to Monkey Dory over and discarding a key resource from your hand. And there was the Palpad. Now not an option for Noah. Has to consider what his next options are.
Just going to play this Buddy Poffin to just shuffle the deck. What do we do here for Noah? Still plenty of time on the clock, 47 minutes and counting. Still considering going for maybe an Itchy Pollen strategy. You can't trap anything. There's really no point in shutting anything down. Maybe just try and gain some information at that. We'll see immediately the Serrano get put to the hand.
Potentially looking for that Pheasantipede EX, but it is in the prizes as well as Zekroms.
There's just
verdade,
no
ele tá no
slack being
prize
given.
essa caceta
Seems like he's just
também,
looking
né?
for that trade
Nossa
fodder. Down to Binding
Senhora.
Mochi. Another trade. If you can find a Night Stream for the
Nossa
Petron
Senhora.
and a Gusty, if I
jogando
could
no
knock out one of those
replay,
Monkey Doors and
não
try to
joga
find the
não.
Zekrom.
Yeah, but then you're giving up 4 prize cards to your opponent. How are you coming back from that?
Nossa, tá pesando
Your
no
Zorks
prize.
have 280 HP, so if you
Puta que
abstain from benching any
pariu.
more 2 prizers, could maybe
Eu tinha
squeak through it
reparado
now
nos
that you have
Zekroms,
the
mas não
Zekrom. Maybe
no
take 2
Pesan.
off the Petron, and then on the last turn, get your
Então, não
Petron
tem
back for
como,
a third
velho.
time.
Eu não consegui
And then
enxergar o
use that to
Incondition
get
pra
the
ele,
one-hit
não.
knockout on that Mega Absol, but it just
Eu
seems like a
realmente
lot
não
for Noah to find,
consigo,
especially
velho.
off an Ion and encounter. But
Esse cara
Secret Box
ganhar
and
desse jeito que
Countercatcher
ele tá,
may
eu
have
pelo
found
menos
the
consegui
ability
pôr
to use
pressão no
Scratch
cara. Ele
for
é um demais,
120 on
velho.
this Monkey Dory.
Maluco,
There is
mano.
Pokepad and Night Stretcher, so it doesn't even need to use the Secret Box in hand. Just drew into everything
Ah,
he
ele vai
needs.
tentar locar
I
o
think that's on
cara,
the second Night Stretcher though, so
provavelmente,
if Joseph
né?
has a boss's orders and uses another Claw of Darkness, this Night Stretcher gets discarded, and the Petra gets locked to the discard pile, and Noah has one Zekrom if he even
Bateu
draws it off the
20.
prize cards.
Scratch taking the KO in top 8 of the Masters Division.
Ué,
And he does
here in
draw
Orlando.
Zekrom.
como que ele deu KO ali? Tinha 90?
Does he take the Zekrom? He does! Grabs the Zekrom out of the prizes.
Ah,
the 33%
ele só
chance,
queria
and he
catar
gets it. He is in
prize.
this game pending what Joseph can put together on this turn.
All hope is not lost yet, but if Joseph has that boss's orders on the Petrunt and the Claw of Darkness, we'll see that Noah
Ixi, tá com
drew that
febre aí, é foda.
Zekrom, and also that second Night Stretcher and the Secret Box. A
Eu
lot of
fiquei
great
em
options
dúvida
to
como é que
discard for
ele
Joseph.
nocauteou,
Really what
cara.
you want to see when you look at your opponent's hand for a Claw Pad.
Ah, ele nocauteou
There's a
por
Poke
causa
Gear in
do
the hand.
Binding
Gonna
Mote.
use this run errand first to draw 2 cards.
Ele nocauteou por causa do Binding Mote. Faz
2 Poke Gear, so
sentido.
big 2
Ah, ele
7
tem
card books
fraqueza,
here.
deu 120.
No boss in the prizes,
Caralho,
and the
que
discard.
play
Pretty good
tudo
odds to
isso
find it with
só
4
pra
boss
conseguir
in the deck.
nocautear o Monkey
Doesn't
2.
find it quite yet.
Meu
Saw
amigo.
some supporters take one out for the next Pokegear, raise the odds of finding that boss. If Joseph was the boss here, Noah caught a big break and will have some potential to get back in this game. This Zekrom, or the Zoroark is already poisoned, means that it's just a black belt and a Zekrom away from knocking out this Absol. That still depends on Joseph whiffing the boss off this second Pokegear. Big 7 cards for Joseph. See if he can find one of those 3 remaining boss's orders. Not in the first 4. Not in the second
Chegou
3,
no
but the
ar,
last
bem na
3.
tiça,
Just
era
getting an
só.
Iono here. We'll see if he opts to play it or some other supporter.
Looking through, seeing what can be done. No, it's just going to be the Lily's determination instead.
Noah here signed a big breath of relief. Having that Petron in play and the second Night Stretcher in hand
Tá na
really didn't
frente,
want
então não
those.
vai
Really
adiantar
didn't
ele
want the
comprar
boss on the
catcher nem
Petron, knocking it
nada.
out and discarding that last recovery card.
Here we go, 8 cards, so a big breath of relief
Cara,
here.
sabe o que é foda?
6 cards
Na
rather off
volta,
the Lily's
esse
determination.
cangação aí,
There's
se
the
ele
boss
moscar,
now, but that's
morre,
not
hein?
going to be a big enough impact. Did at least
Não,
find
não
an
morre
energy
por
attachment
causa
with
do
this Earthen Vessel.
pingente, né?
Set up a Monkey Dory or prepare
não
this
dá pra
Kangaskhan to
matar.
attack.
Tinha que estar
As Noah
sem
is threatening
pingente pra ele
a
morrer.
one-hit knockout on this Mega Absol with the
Mas o
Binding Mochi
Absol
and Black
morre.
Belt.
O
But Joseph
Absol
could
ali
snipe that
morre.
Black Belt if it's in Noah's hand, and with the Pal Pad already gone, completely lock him out of that play for the rest of the game.
See where this energy attachment goes. It's most likely onto one of those Monkey Dory, but no, actually going to put it onto Kangaskhan. So fully going after trying to target N Zekrom in the future turns.
Vai
And
tirar
we'll
a caixa.
finally see that N Zekrom was taken off the
Tirar a
prize cards.
caixa.
Now has to decide whether or not to get rid of this secret box or one of those recoveries.
It seems like you have to get rid of that Secret Box. It's just immediately threatening the Black Belt to KO this Mega Absol, and now Noah has that extra recovery card still. He has that Night Stretcher and the Zekrom, so if he can still find that Black Belt training, he can find an Ents Castle, can even retreat
Ah,
the
ele tá
Toxic Fury to dig for
inteligente
it
esse
and turn the
Absol
Zoroark
aí.
back.
É,
Can
mas se
really
ele
get
chegar no
himself back
faixa
into this
preta,
game,
ele ainda
despite
mata.
prizing the
Aí
double
tá.
Zekrom again, like we keep saying.
Ele
Using a
chegar no
Pokepad
faixa
to thin the
preta,
deck and
ainda
maybe
mata.
find some trade fodder. Potentially getting the Darumaka or Darmanitan. Noah here sees at least 4 cards with the Zoroarks. Could find another Zoroark to use trade again. If he finds Ents Castle, it could potentially even attract customers. A lot of ways to try to find this Black Belt's training and do 330 damage to knock out this Mega Absol EX this turn.
See if all the pieces are there. Monkey Dory number 1. Black Belt's training, it will be a little bit more difficult, as mentioned, because of that secret box being gone. But nothing is impossible with Ents Zoroark. So Monkey Dory getting discarded. 2 cards found. It's just
Ents
an
PP up
Ents
is
PP
good.
Up.
Means that he could still retreat the Zoroark to set it up, or even set up another Zoroark. There's the Ents Castle and another Zoroark, so a couple more cards can be seen for Noah. Track customer sees 6, and this trade sees 2 more. Obviously going to use the trade first to dig through the deck and not see cards that he's already seen. By discarding a Darumaka?
Seems like it would need to be the perfect 2 cards found. There is an Ents Castle, as mentioned, right? So the pivot is now there. Needs to find Black Belt training. Big 2 cards off of this. No, it is the Professor Turo, so it can save this Zoroark from being KO'd. but we can still look here off of this. So we're going to see the retreat with the Ends Castle. Big 6 cards off Tatsugiri. Do we see Black Belt? He finds the Black Belt's training. Are you kidding me?
Has the Zekrom from the prizes last turn. Joseph was forced to discard that secret box instead of those big resources. Noah almost happy he had the secret box in that hand, and that had to get discarded. And now Noah doesn't have much on this board besides this Zoroark. Joseph now a bit happy that he put that energy on the Kangaskhan instead of one of those Monkey Dories.
Yeah, and at minimum can power up this benched Ends Zekrom with that Ends PP up. So all of a sudden, that one Zekrom taking off the prizes has opened up a world of possibilities for Noah in the second game.
The 2 Zekroms being prized, we thought it was doomed, but he was able to get a prize with that scratch, and now has a 3-prize knockout set up. He discarded that Ends PP up instead of the Darumaka, so doesn't have any energies on the bench, but still playing 3 Ends PP up, has the ability to accelerate extra energies. Here, going with the Rampaging Thunder 330 to end this turn, most likely.
Já era.
See if he has
O
anything
dano
else to
letal
do.
ele tem.
There it is, Rampaging Thunder, 330 damage.
Aumenta 10
Mega
aí que ele tá
EX goes down,
envenenado,
and now
filhão.
Noah is just 2 prize cards away from winning this game. Immediately playing the penny to pick up that Petron EX, just wants to take those 2 easy prize cards off the board. And Joseph is not out of this game. He's going to even things up at 2 prize cards, and there's not a way that Noah can win the game on the following turn.
And Noah, with his Petron on the board, is going to need to find a way to take it off the board as the Kangaskhan is threatening a 1-hit knockout on it. And Joseph is just a boss away. And while he whiffed it a few turns ago,
Caralho,
at this point it's pretty likely to find it. But Noah already has a Turo in hand, I
Não, como
believe.
é que ele dá
So tough,
350
because if you swing
agora, né?
into
Isso é
this
questão.
if you swing into this Mega Kangaskhan, then only 1 heads is needed from it because of that Monkey Dory to heal off 30 damage to the active, but it might have to just be a calculated risk that needs to be taken.
And if you don't swing, you're not winning on the next turn. And then Joseph gets to knock out the Tatsugiri, then find Boss to knock out the Zekrom. Really just putting Noah in an awkward spot where I think he has to go for an attack this turn while throwing up this Petron
Tá
and forcing
estranho
Joseph to
mesmo.
flip that heads. Although Joseph could also have a Dark Energy and 2 energy switches with another Monkey Dory to make it so he needs no coin flips. We'll see what Noah opts to do. Already using the Petron.
Just deciding where to go with this. There's the Ends PP up. It does go onto the Binding Mochi Zoroark.
Has a Dark Energy, and the Professor Turo scenario will be able to get the Zoroark into the active, maybe considering doing 290 with the Binding Mochi, or if he wants to not have the 10
Eu
damage
acho que
on
um
the Zoroark,
turão aí
which
salva
is actually
ele
really
mesmo,
impactful because
viu?
it would mean double Monkey Dory would be enough to
Eu só
not
tô
need
aí
any
torcendo pro
heads.
cara não tirar as caras,
Decision
né?
here. There's the Professor Turo. Petron picked up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is coming down to the wire. Zoro hits the bench, and Zoroark EX comes up, and a Rampaging Thunder is going to put 250 damage onto this Mega Kangaskhan. All of a sudden, this is going to come down potentially to a coin flip.
Usually we see those coin flips coming down to Mind Bend flips, but here,
É, se ele tirar uma cara ali, ele ganha,
200
né?
damage plus 50 for each heads. We'll see if Joseph even has the energy to
Bota
try to
energia
make a
no
one flip. It
Kidori,
could be that
passa
he needs 2 heads
30
still.
pra lá, bate 200
A lot of energy in the
garantido, cada
discard
cara
since
é
the Absol with 2 got
ele
knocked out.
ganha.
And there's 3 Darks on this Mega Kangaskhan instead of any
Yeah,
missed
he
energies.
fell,
But
man.
Joseph with a lot of cards in hand.
Que pé.
Has the
Not sure
Kangaskhan.
there's an energy right away. Is going to use this town store to bump the stadium. What is he looking for? Finds the Turbo Energize.
He's just looking for
Should've.
that energy off this run Aaron, thinning the deck 1 card to raise the odds. Also giving him better odds of finding something on the next turn if Noah's unable to close it out. See if Joseph wants to go for this coin flip even.
Is there a world where you can bench another Kangaskhan, use double energy switch, and then penny to pick up a Pokemon? That is possible.
Then you need 2 heads off of the coin
Does
flip.
find the energy off of this Earthen Vessel. So that can go onto the Monkey Dory. So, okay, piece number 1 is here. It's probably going to come down to a coin flip, it looks like.
Yeah, unless Joseph does have the aforementioned double energy switch and 3rd Monkey Dory, but shuffling the deck, I don't think he has it. So maybe just going for the rapid fire combo coin flip to end this game. Either way, Noah's either going to be able... Actually, he might not be able to move this Zoroark and reset the Rampaging Thunder. One big effect is you can't attack back-to-back.
Would need to have another Ends Castle in order to do that.
Yeah, or a Professor Turo scenario could use Petron to go into one of the bench Dark types and then Turo that to reset.
Energy as well also works with the Zuru on the bench, so.
Lot of ways to move.
Where is the Blood Moon Ursaluna? And the attachment.
Oh,
Oh,
going
and
into
okay,
the
we're
Blood
going to
Moon.
attack here with this.
with a Bravery Charm.
Plus the Bravery Charm.
310 HP, but you are in range of Monkey Dory and Professor Turo scenario to play down that Petron, and the Monkey Dory potentially be a way for Noah to win this turn.
Então,
Do not disrupt the hand using Penny. Noah has so many cards in hand.
So Joseph is not going for this risk. He's going to try and play it safe here. Blood Moon Ursaluna with that season skill. Blood Moon for 240 damage. Let's see here if Noah has all the pieces. Plenty of cards in hand.
310, dá pra chegar.
Not going to do anything.
Mais faixa preta ali, ele chega.
No, both Binding Mochis are gone, so Town Store is not going to thin the deck.
Danger pra caralho.
Has the Petron in hand, has another Zorak in hand. Really looking for Professor Turo scenario. Down one, down the Secret Box, and a Pal Pad. It is in the deck, so he can find it. Needs a lot of pieces. If he just finds the Professor Turo's, though, he could still do Professor Turo's Zorak and try to buy a little bit more time. Since Joseph did use this Blood Moon attack, he can't use it back-to-back.
It would need to bench Latias and Pecharunt.
So if Noah just benches his Pecharunt and moves into a different Zorak and something like Iono this turn, that could also stop Joseph from winning on the next turn. There's an Ends Castle. That's a big piece. Can help you get this Zorak back into the active.
There's another trade. No.
Has one more Zorak, though.
One more. Gonna bitch this Serrano. Do we see any help?
I saw an Iono. I did not see the second card, though. Looks like just a dark energy.
But no Professor Turo in the hand.
Just an Ends Castle.
Can play Iono. There's no Mega Kangaskhan down on the board.
Oh, has the Tatsugiri still, though.
Here we go. Big 6 cards, Tatsugiri. Do we see that Professor Turo?
If he has the monkey, there's the Turo.
Professor Turo, are all the pieces there? If he has Monkey Dory, can just Professor Turo pick up this Tatsugiri and then Rampaging Thunder? It's not dealing quite enough, but I think it's almost there if he can sequence this correctly.
Yeah, Monkey Dory in the discard pile, so if Noah Turos his Tatsugiri, promotes not the Zorak with the Binding Mochi, uses Pecharunt, 290 damage plus 30 from the Adrenabrain.
It's all there.
It's all there.
Brings it up, can poison his with the Pecharunt EX, and thanks to Monkey Dory moving 30 damage, Rampaging Thunder deals just enough damage, and Noah Sakasian advances to top 4.
He does it again, winning a double Zekrom prize 2 times now on stream. Absolutely insane to see. We've seen him prize double Zekrom, then double Mochi, and then double Zekrom again, but every time he's been able to win despite all of that, really showing the power of Ends Zorak. A lot of different ways to use attacks. We've seen Flare, we've seen Backdraft, we've seen Flame Cannon, we've seen Shred, and now Scratch. Every attack that can use except for the Rush Rams, which Noah is not playing.
What a game that was. Absolutely incredible. All thanks to that 1 in 3 chance to find the Ends Zekrom. Thanks to Zaruma's Scratch, KOing a Monkey Dory. If that doesn't tell you how intricate the Pokemon TCG can be, I don't know what will, ladies and gentlemen.
Using Zoro's Scratch is always an interesting experience. You usually don't think you're going to win the game when you do that, but Noah here was able to clutch it up, winning with double Zekrom prize again. We keep bringing it up, but it's just so crazy to see the double Zekrom prize, your main attacker, especially against a matchup where all your opponent's Pokemon have so much HP. But looking at this game, we saw Noah just playing the aggressor, knocking out this Monkey Dory, trying to find those Binding Motions off the prizes, so you can take a big knockout on the Absol. Joseph making that mistake with the attachment, had to bench Pheasantipede and Latias, letting Noah have an easy prize route to victory, able to take this 2-prize knockout with the Zekrom, and find one of those Binding Mochis off the prizes with 2 in there. Joseph trying to disrupt Noah's resources, get rid of all those Zekroms, but Noah able to set up the Pecharunt over a couple turns, boss's orders up that Kangaskhan to take his last 3 prizes.
You have to imagine if one more of those Night Stretcher were discarded, how different this game could have been. And then game 2, Noah really just was on the back foot immediately, and Joseph had the perfect start. Irvin, Precious Trolley, all the pieces on hand, even the turn 2 boss's orders to KO that Pecharunt EX. But it was that Scratch from Noah with that Zorua that allowed him to take the Zekrom off the prizes and opened everything up.
Zorak really just rewarding you for using every attack available. People were a little underwhelmed at first with just the Reshiram. Now we have the Zekrom, but Zorua really clutching up there with Scratch. Noah finds that Black Belt's training off the Tatsugiri. Honestly, Tatsugiri really just the MVP this match. Noah was just able to find every supporter he wanted, using Ends Castle to retreat into the Tatsugiri, attract customers, then Pecharunt to bring it back. He found that Black Belt to knock out the Mega Absol, and eventually that Professor Turos to win the game this turn, setting up the Monkey Dory, Pecharunt, Binding Mochi, 320 damage to his 310 HP Blood Moon Ursaluna, and winning the game despite prizing 2 Ends Zekrom.
What a set that was. Absolutely incredible. The look of horror. Look, I would have that look on my face too if I won a game in top 8 versus one of the best Absol players with both my Zekroms and the prizes to start things out.
I feel like I'd look like that even if I just won prize with both Zekrom.
Pegada
Don't
mesmo,
get it
o
twice
cara
this
foi
tournament.
demorar, porque olha.
Absolutely impressive run. Amazing deck building, and great to see Zora continue to do well, especially with the release of Ascended Heroes and that end Zekrom.
Crazy to think that it felt like all the ends pieces were out, right? We had the Reshiram, and we had the Purloin even to disrupt, and a whole bunch of other friends of cast. And all of a sudden, Ascended Heroes was like, hey, this ends deck, you know this deck? The one that draws cards and has trade? It's got a new friend here. Welcome him in. He's coming here. Don't forget about the Vanillix as well, ladies and gentlemen. May not be here at home or on the stream, but he is there in spirit, all right?
And ends Kling Klang.
And the Kling Klang as well. Listen, I haven't seen anybody use that supporter that allows you to take
goodness, it's
3
so
extra
awesome.
prizes. It is pretty awesome. It does give me some flashbacks of some crazy cards that have helped win the game. Essentially, that card should just say, when you play this card down, you win the game. Like, come on, at that point, it's that difficult.
That's fair. You need so much on your board to do it, but I mean, Ends Zekrom proves to be enough. Noah not even playing that Ends Reshiram. Interesting exclusion. So we'll see how he ends up faring in the tournament, now advancing to top 4 of the Orlando Regional Championships.
Now has 2 medals with Zoroark. I think he's going to be trying to make that medal a little bit shinier in color, potentially going for a 1st or 2nd place. Congratulations. And again to Joseph, an absolutely stellar performance, and what a year he's had so far. 2 top cuts, plus a top 32 at the last event, all doing this with Mega Box. We'll have to see how he adjusts when that Turbo Energized card is no longer in the format.
Absolutely. Mega Absol really showing how it rewards mastery. You've seen Torden, Yoshiyuki playing the same list over and over and over again, and Joseph has been adjusting the list a bit more, but still showing that consistency and mastery of the deck.
Well, I want to bring in Noah and Chip after that match. That was absolutely insane. Can we hear from the man himself? Noah, how do you do it, man? How do you come up with these crazy game plans and win when it seems like forces outside of your control don't want Zekrom to show up to class?
Man, if I had a nickel for every time I prize double Zekrom on stream, I'd have 2 knuckles or something. But
Ou seja, foi muito
honestly,
azar.
again,
Mas
I
rapaz,
was
o cara foi
very
bravo
ready
mesmo.
to just concede that game. I asked the judges how much time was
Eu
left.
pensei que
I
ele
think
ia
that, like, some of my play might have been a little
concede
sloppy
também.
in the early game.
O cara
But
jogou
I
e
saw
ganhou.
my win condition, which was
Respeito.
scratch, and then I took Zekrom off the prizes, and then my hand was just so good he couldn't claw it, claw the Zekrom, and he just ended up
He had to get
taking
rid
the
of your
box.
secret box, yeah, it was really interesting to see that one play out. Obviously, in your previous match where you prized double Zekrom, you can make do with the Darmanitan a little easier, right? You're able to take multiple prizes. Doesn't really do quite as much when your opponent's Pokemon have 300 HP.
Yep.
Darmanitan's not going to help you out as much, but you found a really unique line there with the scratch. You were rewarded with the Zekrom, and it was enough to get you the win. That was a really valiant effort for sure. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I also want to point out the Tatsugiri, really just impressive throughout the set. Being able to retreat into it, get those supporters. You've seen it included in some lists and not others. So what made you choose to include that?
So actually, it was some help from Piper. I was wondering if I wanted to play Tatsu or
A
Bidoof.
leading question here,
Wow.
Piper.
Yeah, right?
Whoa.
She builds all my decks. It's okay. I can accept that. But I was debating between Bidoof and Tatsugiri, and Bidoof is really good at punishing Gardevoir. It's really good at slowing down like these really aggressive decks. But the problem is Zoroark can really struggle getting into the game sometimes. So that's where Tatsugiri was really strong. And so I played like 100 games on Limitless, like just like see every time that Tatsu would bail me out of a dead hand, and it was like 10%. And I was like, that number's too high not to play, right? So I've really enjoyed the Tatsu.
Yeah, and it lets you piece together so many different combos with some of these one-up supporters, the Black Belt's training, of course, being kind of one of the big ones there, finding you that Turo right there at the very end of the game, but also just that boosted consistency option, of course, very strong. You see so many cards, right? 3 trades, trade, that's 6. Top 6 with the Tatsugiri, 12 cards into your deck in any given turn, really strong.
Yeah, and honestly, it seems like a big question for maybe us and then the viewers at home is Reshiram's absence and just going for the Zekrom. Is there a reason he's not included in this deck? Did you still want him, or is just the second Zekrom always better?
Yeah, I think a second Zekrom feels mandatory in the aggressive builds. Like, you just want to hit 250 a lot. Usually a lot of lists will opt to play 1 Turo, 1 Reshiram, but I really like 2 Turo. I feel like that 2 Turo just really lets you clean up your board, especially with cards like Tatsugiri. And so I opted to say, oh, you know, I just like my opponents will remember that Powerful Rage is an option that I have, and they won't punch into my Zekrom or my Zoroarks. They didn't really do that, so I ended up having to improvise a lot. I overestimated people's Zoroark list knowledge. I mean, come on. It's an awesome deck. They should know it, right?
Yeah, you would think. I do want to ask you, though, not to put you on the spot and call you out a little bit, but I have to ask, when in game number 1 did you find out that both your binding mochis were prized?
Oh, my God. So it's crazy. I got a warning for slow playing on the secret box because it was a 2-minute and 15-second secret box. I didn't realize it was 2 minutes and 15 seconds. To me, that was like 10 seconds, and I was like, I saw like I looked, and I was like, oh, I have to improvise. So it was when I
quando dá uma merda dessa aí, a gente entende o cara demorar pouquinho.
Yeah, that boss ended up being needed at the end of the game as well there, but it worked perfectly fitting your deck. You get exactly what you need right at the end.
Exactly.
Well, heading here into top 4, congratulations, of course, on getting to this point. Lots of different decks out there. Anything you're kind of hoping to avoid?
I heard there was a Joltik around. That's scary. That knocked me out.
It is on your side of the bracket. So,
oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay. I have to, unfortunately, I think I have to be preying on someone's downfall. That's, ooh. So definitely that. That's what I'm concerned about. That knocked me out at Houston.
Well, we'll see how the bracket shakes out. I think that game is still happening right now. It's Jackson versus the Joltik box player. So we'll see how that one shapes up for you. And the other side of the bracket is going to be Makani versus Karis, which will be an interesting one to see play out once again. So yeah, congratulations once again, Noah, on your success in a top 4 run so far.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Congratulations, Noah. Let's actually take a look at that bracket and see how it has panned out. We are down to just over 4 players, 6 players at that. Still waiting on the results. Karis winning that set 2-0. Makani winning 2-1. So that will be a rematch of that Swiss round in the bottom half of the bracket. And we are currently in game number 3 between Makoto and Jackson. That is Absol up against Joltik. I can't even acknowledge it. My brain doesn't even want to acknowledge it. My brain doesn't even want to acknowledge Joltik box.
Yeah, Joltik versus Marty's Grimstarl there. Noah sounded like he didn't want to hit that Joltik box, and we saw him beat the Marty's Grimstarl yesterday. Probably hoping to hit his friend Jackson there. And then on the other side of the bracket, like we said, Makani versus Karis, Grimstarl versus Gardevoir, one of those big matchups that have been happening a lot since Grimstarl came out last year at NAIC. We've seen a lot on the stream today, and we're about to see it again.
It's going to be a good one for sure. We have such a stacked top 8. I mean, look at this top 8 and this top 4 specifically. Some of the best young talent in the game. Noah, Makani, Karis, even Jackson, as he talked about as well. I'm not as familiar with Makoto, so I can't speak for them. Are just such young, talented players in the game. And that really shows that these people who have the time to put practice in are being rewarded in the Pokemon TCG.
And also having that success from juniors and seniors, aging up into masters, and continuing that dominance. It's a tried and true story. We saw Carson Washer losing an asymmetrical to Jackson, first-year master this year. A lot of those younger players really just doing great.
Well, that was an intense top 8 matchup. We've got, of course, more Pokemon TCG action. Top 4, Karis up against Makani. It's going to be one for the ages. Don't go anywhere. We'll have that coming up right after this.
I prize double Zekrom. And then hit it off the prizes, and my hand was so good that you couldn't take it. I was like, oh my god.
Caralho. Tudo bem que eu tô meio gripadinho, mas não tô tão ruim que nem eu sei. Graças a Deus, né? De certa forma, melhora pra vocês aí. Ju morrendo de febre, tu com um antibiótico ainda. Eu, por hora, o Negrito tá resolvendo.
Hey there,
Odeio,
Pokemon
odeio ficar
trainers. Gabby
gripado,
Snyder
velho.
here with two of our lovely competitors from the Video Game Championships in Orlando, Joe and Josh. How are y'all doing?
Doing excellent today, Gabby.
Doing really good today.
Now, of course, the video game competition is tomorrow, but I thought we'd have a little bit of fun today competing in something different. How do y'all feel about eyes closed drawing?
Josh?
We feel good.
I like his answer. I like his answer.
All right, I'm glad that you feel good, Josh, because you will be our drawer for today. And I'm going to give you a prompt. And if you don't mind trying to draw it with your eyes closed or at least behind our lovely easel here. And Joe, I'm going to want you to try and guess what Pokemon he's drawing as quickly as possible. And we'll just see if y'all are on the same brainwave here. See if you have some good vibes going into the competition. Now, Josh, I want you to think back to Regulation I, you know, that metagame that we're switching into. And I want you to think about the Pokemon that people used the last time around. And one thing that we try to do here is we calculate the top 12 Pokemon that are used every weekend. And, you know, everybody wants the number 1 slot. Not many people want the number 12th slot. So what Pokemon do you think will be 12th used in the competition tomorrow?
Regulation I.
The last time we were, well, no, tomorrow. So like whatever you think is going to be used the 12th most in tomorrow's competition.
Okay.
All right, take a moment to think, and then whenever you're ready, start drawing. And Joe, if you want to take a step forward just so you can see that easel a little bit better. All right. So it looks like we're getting a couple of lines going there.
Lines. Lines. That could be probably like Indeedee, doing like follow me or something.
I don't know. I'm seeing a duck right now.
I'm seeing a duck too. That looks like a bill right there. Maybe like Quaquaval? Maybe someone for like Blake Silver, Quaquaval?
You're going for some deep cuts there, man.
Blake is a good person. Blake's a good person right there. Oh, that could be Rain though. Ooh, that could be Rain up there. This is Pelipper. Yeah!
All right, we got a Pelipper on the field, bringing some much-needed rain to the ecosystem here in Orlando. Now, Josh, if you don't mind, I'm going to switch spots with you, Joe, real quick. Why did you pick Pelipper?
Nossa,
Being
gente.
it's a Florida local. Patrick Connors won
Será que é porque tem
with
pouco?
Pelipper NAIC
Caro pra
2024.
caralho.
And Pelipper's kind of our mascot here in Orlando, so that's the biggest inspiration.
All right, so there's enough people here in the field to make Pelipper our 12th used Pokemon this weekend. And Joe, real quick, if you were going to pick a Pokemon to draw, what would that be?
Probably Indeedee female because it's a good follow me user and can help Pokemon like Lunala and Calyrex Shadow Rider over the weekend.
All right, well, thank you both for your time. Best of luck tomorrow. I hope your Pelippers and your Indeedees serve you well. And we'll be back with more Pokemon action from the regional championships real soon.
Every Pokemon trainer has one dream: to rock the crowd like Jacob Van Wagner, to shock the world like Shintaro Ito, or to topple the very best like Vance Kelly. And each year, there comes one stage big enough to etch your name into the Hall of Fame: the Pokemon World Championships. Over 1,400 TCG trainers journeyed from across the globe to take their shot at glory, but only one junior, one senior, and one Masters Division player can claim the title of champion. The juniors finals pitted US player Jose Cruz Galindo Resendez against Yuya Okita from Japan. Jose was using Dragapult EX paired with Dusknoir and Monkey Dory, hoping that grouping some of the most powerful cards in the format would earn him the crown. But Yuya's Raging Bolt EX deck had other plans. In both Game 1 and Game 2, Yuya's Raging Bolt with its Thunderburst Storm was able to rain down damage across the board, always targeting the Pokemon that Jose was trying to establish. This strategy proved effective as Yuya Okita won 2-0 and became the Junior Division World Champion. The Seniors Division featured the most promising young player in the game, Gabriel Fernandez from Brazil, up against Fuguan Liao, a decorated player from mainland China. Gabriel had won LAIC, EUIC, and NAIC this season already, but with one match between him and the perfect season, he faced an uphill battle. Fuguan's unique Golden Go EX Joltik Toolbox deck seemed to be favored against his INS Zoroark EX deck. This set went to Game 3 and down to the wire. Gabriel made a clever play with his Inzarua to scratch a little damage into Pikachu EX and its Resolute Heart ability. But even after being disrupted by a 2-card Iono, Fuguan was able to find Boss's orders to close out the game and become the 2025 Seniors Division World Champion. In the Masters Finals, Canada's Riley McKay made it to the big stage once again just weeks after his breakout NAIC second place finish. He built on his previous success by playing a very similar Gardevoir EX deck. His opponent was first-year Masters player Justin Neudorf from the US, who aimed to take his Dragapult EX Dusknoir deck to the top of the podium. Justin tried to slow down the games with Badoo's Itchy Pollen, but in both games 1 and 2, Riley had solid responses. Ultimately, both games came down to Riley using Lily's Clefairy EX to one-hit KO his opponent's Dragapult EX. Justin saw the writing on the wall, extended his hand, and conceded the final match to 2025 World Champion Riley McKay.
Oh, he's ready to just give up the game. It's over.
That is history made in the 2025 season here at the Masters Finals. Riley McKay is taking things down with Gardevoir EX.
The 2025 World Championships is one we won't soon forget, but the next Pokemon season is already on the horizon. Visit Pokemon.com/compete to learn how you can get in on the action and take your shot at becoming the next World Champion.
Welcome back, Pokemon fans, trainers around the globe here at the Orlando Regional Championships. It has been a great weekend of Pokemon action, but now we are getting down to the final few matches we have. I am Jeremy Jallin here with Kyle Sablehouse. We are Saballin. And Kyle, we got a doozy of a top 4 match for you.
Yeah, I think this is the one everybody wanted to see, right? Quite the rematch from earlier in the day, and this will be to determine who makes the finals here of the Orlando Regional Championships. It is Karis Jones and Makani Tran facing off once more.
Now, Karis has already a couple top 4s at regionals, hoping to break through into the finals for the Masters division. Now, Makani has a finals already, but was unable to win. And Makani's brother, Truan, actually won a regionals just a month ago.
Yeah, got to step it up. Your brother's playing pretty well. They got to bring it back. And, I mean, these accolades certainly speak for themselves for Makani. It's a ton of Gardevoir play, and we've seen these results lead all the way to being 6th ranked in US and Canada. I mean, 12th place in Milwaukee, 11th in Vegas, 5th at EUIC, absolutely running the table.
And it is a matchup that we have seen time and time again throughout this tournament with the presence, the overwhelming presence of Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX up against Gardevoir EX.
Yeah, a little bit of the old and bit of the new. Gardevoir hanging on, trying to see one final championship before it goes away. But Marnie's Grimmsnarl, this is the hot new lick. It is looking pretty good, and it's got a lot of great matchups. Maybe this will be one more. But uh-oh, that's 2 Ralts. Hang on.
Yeah, there's only 1 Ralts left in the deck, Kyle.
Yep, that's a lot of Pokemon for Karis as well. This could be an interesting one.
Mew EX, along with everything else, and the Pheasantipity. This is going to be interesting for sure, like you're saying. Players are ready. Kyle, we have a top 4 match ready to go. Makani is going to start things off going first, and this is where he's going to get the news that, oh, there's only 1 of those Ralts available for you.
Make it last. On this ball, we'll find 1, and of course, search out the rest of those Pokemon, see what is going on, and you need to make sure that this Pokemon evolves quickly. There's not much else.
Yeah, there's something wrong. No Ralts in the hand.
Thankfully, has that technical machine evolution in the hand, so evolving this Pokemon could happen pretty quickly. Of course, when you're staring down Badoo, you start to worry about the other items that you may see that could have led to some of those evolutions down the line, those rare candies. Those likely won't have a chance to find you anything helpful.
A second nest ball for Makani. Usually this is where he would grab another Ralts. Where do you go in this spot after having to pivot?
It depends. If you have additional energy, Frillish seems like a great option. You can bring that item lock right back over to your opponent's side of the board. And with the energy, and at least one psychic energy in hand, feels comfortable playing this down.
Dueling item lock. We have seen it time and time again throughout the history of the Pokemon TCG, but it's ever so present at the top of Standard right now. And Karis starting things off with an Arven, going to be able to search for an item and a tool.
Yeah, and this is something that we've seen with this list is how many Arven do you truly want to play with Marnie's Grimmsnarl? Going with 4 copies, and it pays off here. This leads to some potential to work in a card like that Secret Box early on, find Spike's Gym, additional resources like that 1 copy of Buddy Buddy Poffin. And even if you want to hold on to that resource for later on, Buddy Buddy Poffin here now and maybe a Secret Box down the road could lead to Grimmsnarls and all sorts of setup.
Seems like she's been doing this before throughout the entire tournament.
Once or twice, yeah. You don't get that 11-1-2 record any other way.
Buddy Buddy Poffin grabs Snorunt and that Marnie's Impidimp. One thing missing so far is Monkey Dory.
All right, with the Spike Myth already in hand, no reason to overcommit resources just yet. Fill this board, find some friends, show a Marnie's Grimmsnarl.
Now, starting the Badoo for Karis. She definitely wants to establish that item lock, but staring down that Frillish with a Psychic Energy already, if this Monkey Dory can even just get, oh, there we go. Yeah, the Bravery Charm on the Badoo, the Big Do, like you were saying.
Yeah, this would lead to the unusual top deck of finding that Dark Energy. Bravery Charm locks that out. Here's the Professor Turo to pick up the Monkey Dory, and with the Kirlia, that's all you really need to see. Item lock placed down, but no counter stadium means more rooms galore this turn.
No counter stadium and no other Pokemon or real supporters in the hand for Makani, it seems.
It's hard to be comfortable in this spot as Makani. Yes, you have an item lock and you have a Kirlia, but with no Psychic Energy in the discard pile, Gardevoir is all but useless.
Lily's Determination for 8 cards now for Karis. She opted not to evolve into the Frostlass. Again, there is no ability Pokemon in play, and with no Monkey Dory for Karis to charge up, having those damage counters tick away doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, it's something you want to be in control of, and with the item lock, it's no guarantee that you'll find your own Monkey Dory. Those Dark Energies could be tricky at times to find. No need to give your opponent potentially an out to replay their own Monkey Dory with a Dark Energy and start manipulating the damage counters for themselves.
This hand doesn't look the best. I guess it is all thanks to the Spike Move Gym really pushing forward Karis's board.
Oh boy. All right. Lily's Determination added to the hand. Multiple Monkey Dory to go along with this. That's pretty nice to find. And we will see the TM Evolution alongside this Frillish. Maybe not the
Como essa menina ainda tem tempo pra cuidar das unhas. Uai.
Again, the one thing about this turn
curte
for
pra caralho,
Ronnie
né?
is he is under item lock. So
Manter
the
as
best
unhas
way for
brava.
Gardevoir to get energy into the discard is through items like Earthen Vessel and Ultra Ball.
Yeah, all of those resources that typically lead to Gardevoir's setup no longer
Chique
available.
mesmo.
You can manually attach these energies to Frillish. It is a 3 retreat cost. If this Pokemon ever were to be knocked out, you'd see those energies later on as well. So any Psychic Energy is a lovely find, and there is at least one now.
That Secret Box in the hand, but it cannot be played. It is the most important item card in the deck. The Psychic Energy on Monkey Dory, just to be able to retreat off later and another Oceanic
não vale a
opting
pena
not
fazer guard
to
ali,
use
não
that
tem
Technical
energia.
Machine Evolution.
Tem
we're
um
back to
Greens
this
na
hand
mão,
comp.
velho.
Without
Caralho, aí
a
é
counter
bom
stadium for the
demais, velho.
Spike Myth Gym, this goes unchecked once more. There is potential for Marnie's Grimmsnarl this turn, and there's one in the hand as well. So plenty to work with, but doesn't seem like the
Sem
turn just yet.
gris.
If you can incorporate that alongside boss's orders, remove that Curlia in the same turn,
Preferiu
much more
aumentar a
comfortable
mão.
that way.
Even kind of hoping Makani evolves into a Gardevoir.
É, que dá pra chegar no Spike
Go ahead.
Boot também, né? Foi que
But it doesn't
Spike
feel
Boot ainda
like
tá
a great
ali.
play for Makani. If you aren't using
Esqueci de
Psychic
Spike
Embrace,
Boot.
why bother evolving this Pokemon just yet?
8 cards yet again. How powerful is Lily's determination for these decks? It just makes everything so consistent.
Right, and you're playing Bidoof, 30 hit points in the active. So often this Pokemon is an early KO as your opponent tries to work their way through item lock, and it just decreases their Lily's determination down to just 6 cards as you draw 8, and every resource counts, especially at a stage like this. There's does choose to go now with this route of the Marnie's Grimmsnarl. Just a couple energies. Always seems like a great call to not overcommit these resources so that later on you have dark energies for that Monkey Dory.
Passou trintinha pra lá.
Adrenabrain is going
Não
to
era bom
move
passar
30 damage
atrás,
over
não?
to
Ah, ele
Frillish,
vai
and then
continuar
another damage
loucando.
counter with that Itchy Pollen.
É.
This
Aqui nessa
item lock is
situação
in
tá
full effect,
controlado,
Kyle.
né? Se
Yeah,
quiser guard é
already do.
pior, porque aí
I
ele
mean,
dá boss.
There were a lot of cards in that hand, but none
Vai
of them
deixar na zona
really
de
worked
risco
out
pra
in that
matar
spot.
dois
So
bichos de
Iono
uma vez.
reset. Gardevoir found Psychic Energy, a nice addition, but this hand just goes nowhere.
Guard veio na mão.
Can't handle Big Do just yet.
Look at Karis's hand as well. Looks all right. I mean, there's that Arven, but just another
tem
Oceanic
lock.
Loom for Makani. This is not looking how he's been wanting to draw it up.
Right, the damage now available to shift over by way of Adrenabrain to KO the Frillish, if she so chooses. Leads to a free attack into a Monkey
Vai pegar
Dory,
o Morgan aí.
or an inexcusable attack into Curlia. And
Usually,
the real question now is there a boss's
Não,
orders
pegou
available
outro
this turn?
Greens.
I mean, that would essentially be game over, I would think, with the 2 Ralts prized and no real attacker that's set up on Makani's side of the board to try and find one of them.
Yeah, it would truly be brutal at this stage.
Now, Karis did find another Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX off the Spike Smith Gym. Maybe
Trintinha,
it's
nocaute.
a better opt for that Morgrim, but it was in the prize cards.
Envio.
Now taken with that Adrenabrain. Now
Morgan
ready
tava
to
na mão.
evolve,
This
just like she planned it up.
Yeah, this slow battle
Arvin.
really working in Karis's favor at this point in time. At any stage, this Marnie's Grimmsnarl will be ready to go. Take some KOs here, and just depends on how comfortable you feel with that stage as we now see the first energies hitting the discard pile for Makani, making Gardevoir a little more of a threat now.
Seems like with the secret box found off the Arven, Karis is setting up for a big boss's orders play next turn. Another Monkey Dory with Dark Energy. Itchy Pollen.
Nice and steady. All you need at this spot. Still no way to continue to accelerate those energies to the discard pile, but a retreat for Monkey Dory would be there.
The
If Gardevoir
passive
wanted
that-
to play, there's just not much you can do in this spot.
Now it is
Só
a big
passou.
turn for Karis. She has the secret box. Frostlass finally gets evolved. I think it's safe now with the 2 Monkey Dory powered up.
No. Boss's orders was all right there if you want it, but it's just not in the cards just yet. She doesn't want to because your opponent doesn't feel comfortable attacking in. She can either force the Gardevoir to come back down or watch enough damage tick onto this board to set up for a full board
Grimmsnarl da
sweep
Marnie.
and close this game out.
It does seem like that's where
Tomara
this
que
game is
perca.
heading
Se fosse em
towards.
todo deck tem que perder, porque todo deck tem
Karis has
Buju.
everything available to her, but again is just opting for the slow and steady route of Adrenabrain Itchy Pollen.
It looks to be
Eu tenho mais raiva desse macaco
this
maldito que
stage.
fica passando o
Shift
contador que
40
do
of that
Buju.
damage over. Set
Esse
up for a Monkey
macaco
Dory
aí
that would
quando
be 10 short
rodar
of
vai ser
KO
um
once
amém.
Makani passes the
Lasquei
turnover.
com maldito.
And then the rest of the damage that compiles will go over to the other Monkey Dory. Boss's
Mano,
orders.
ele vai
on
matar o
the side
Masqueico
of
só
Marnie's
nas passagens de
Grimmsnarl.
contador e na
Would
Frostlass.
take
Countercatch
all of
Ah,
the
já é.
Pokemon,
Acabou,
and
não
before
deve
it
fazer.
happens, Makani will scoop
Mas
the
não tinha o que
cards.
fazer aí,
And
velho.
that is a pretty
matou no
decisive opening
tiro.
victory for Karis there in game
Ela,
one.
né? Ah, matou no
He really
Budiu.
wouldn't have it any other way, just
Caralho.
in control of the
1 a 0.
entire game.
Mano, é
Even
muito
item lock
forte. Não tem
for a
como.
few turns in the beginning.
Essa matchup do
did
Greens
not.
é muito boa, velho. O
Budiu's
Greens
helping
só
us
perde
fast,
se
he's
realmente
helping
der muita
Karis
merda.
win the games. There is nothing scarier than Big Do.
Ah, não, mas hoje em dia no jogo, cara,
What do you do?
os bichos tendo vida alta,
such an easy answer. You bring
e
up this
às vezes
Village,
ele se
find a Dark Energy for your
ele
Monkey
se
Dory,
auto-inflige
shift that
dano,
10 damage over,
mas Keiko é
you
muito
KO
bom,
this
velho.
Bidoof, and then Karis never wants to play another Bidoof again.
Mas
As
Keiko
soon
vai
as
em quase
Ichiban
todos
comes
os
into a
decks
final
do
play,
alto do
you
meta,
remove
tá
that
ligado?
threat over and over again. The Bravery Charm has truly unlocked the path.
It really just helps
Pior é que
that
pós-rotação
Bidoof stay
essa
on
merda ainda
board
continua
turn after
ajudando.
turn. And it is
Menos,
amazing
mas
how
vai
a
continuar
single
ajudando.
Bravery Charm in the list can affect a game that much.
Yeah, really well done there. Great identifying and the slow, methodical play there being rewarded. Is it Makani's turn? Prize cards coming down for our players. We're getting underway here in game number 2. Who will make it to our finals here in Orlando?
Karis going first.
Tá, não
this
foi Budiu
time
dessa vez.
after winning the flip in game 1.
Oh.
Dark Energy pass.
One chilly boy. It's not going to be enough right now. It's not a great start to see, and sometimes you can be nervous about the item lock. Frillish not here this time.
Ooh. Couple attackers in the prize cards for Makani, but then a ton of
É, aquele
supporters
playlist
for
tá no
Karis.
prize atrapalha
2 of
pouco
the
aí.
4 Arvin.
Really unfortunate to see that Screamtail in the prize cards for Makani. Typically a great response in the Monkey Dory War. Just remove those threats altogether as you build up your board state. For Karis, seeing the double copy of Arvin. I mean, 4 supporters in the top of your prize cards. Not the greatest to see. Could lead to hands like Chili Snorunt hanging out in the active. Who knows what else is in that hand?
Looking like a much better start for Makani. Ultra Ball away, double Psychic Energy. That was the thing he was really missing on that last game, was just access to energy early.
It's a great point. It's one of the most impactful things you can do against item lock is turn 1, throw those energies into the discard pile. It opens up so many avenues for play later on. I'd already say that this is a much better spot than previously. Even though there won't be any item lock, this is quite a board state. And look at this, even the earthen vessel to go along with this. There will be monkeys. There will be some energies.
Ó o
The
Budiu na
hand
mão.
is
Ó o Budiu
not the
desgraçado.
best for
A
Karis
sementinha
here.
do mal ali.
She was unable to play any items going first and had maybe a supporter for the second turn.
Agora o cara já
Now
fez
Karis is stuck
game
with
já.
all the items
Agora
and doesn't have a
o Budiu não
supporter.
vai doer tanto.
The Monkey Dory off the top of the deck. Bidoof will allow her to at least Itchy Pollen, but staring down a Dark Energy on that Monkey Dory already on Makani's side of the board.
Yeah, I mean, you're not facing down item lock, but you don't have much else going for you at this point. Search out a little bit of help now with the Pokepad, but this is a board that will be under some pressure very shortly. Even a Psychic Energy for a Monkey Dory could mind bend away any Itchy Pollen shenanigans for future turns, and Makani won't be under too much pressure at all right now with the way this is set up.
Now there is the one of Tatsugiri, and yet Karis decides that attract customers is going to be the ability to try and dig out of this hand.
Of course, we know there's a few options as far as those supporters go, but with the prize cards, top 6 isn't guaranteed to find a friend.
Trying to attract customers, but the store's closed.
Yeah, it's got some limited hours, to say the least. What can Tatsu find here? Lily's Determination, likely the most ideal target in this spot. Is there any help? Okay, that'll do. And that may end up being one of the better targets, as Makani was holding on to a heater there with an energy and a Lily's Determination of their own, it looked like.
Yeah, it was energy, Dark Energy, Lily's Determination, Professor Turo.
And a Artisan. I mean, that's doesn't get much better than that.
Pretendo.
Counter Stadium to Spikemuth, if that were to happen, so much work in there for Makani. All those cards now likely going to the bottom of the deck at this point. And
Agora que eu zerei o Baldur's e me libertei de um jogo gigantesco.
To that Tatsu. No
Estou
item
ainda
drop
no meio
this
do
turn,
luto
so
de ter acabado o
could be
jogo,
bailed
jogo
out
bom
more
pra
with
caralho.
the Iono.
Mas eu vou pro TCG amanhã.
Monkey Dory, Dark Energy, benched for Karis before this Iono. Iron Bundle as well. That's a card that we haven't really talked about at all this weekend.
Yes,
Não, mas
it hasn't
eu
found
zerei. O
very
save
much
meu que eu
impact
queria
yet,
zerar, eu
but you
zerei
could
já,
see
pô.
in this matchup specifically, it being very beneficial if you get off to one of those more aggressive starts. We see Gardevoir players very
O
typically
outro
play
save
that
lá
really
eu
thin
fiz
board
pra
to start
fazer
things
outros
off.
caminhos
If you
lá.
can
Esse
pick
aí eu
off
não
that
tenho
Ralts
pressa
at
de
any
jogar.
point in time, it is probably going to be a game-ending situation.
A big pickup for here for Karis. Spike Move Jim finding that first Marnie's Impidimp. Poke bad to go along with it.
Yeah, it's such a great card. The Spike Move against any of what your opponent can do against you. The consistency of always searching out your Morgrams and your Marnie's Grimmsnarls. It's just something that you don't see on the Gardevoir side. But thankfully for Makani, does see that Kirlia already. Just one step closer to Gardevoir, and that's when the fireworks can happen. And Lily's determination was found as well off the Iono. This may be one of the last turns of items, so can Makani cash in, maybe find a few more psychic energies to work with?
Already has 3 in the discard. Good start. Usually around 5 is the sweet spot for Gardevoir EX.
And with the Screamtail already prized this time around, it doesn't demand that you have those additional psychic energies. 3 is enough to work in some of those other attackers. If you include that Mega Diancie, that's one of those Pokemon that often is a great check to Marnie's Grimmsnarl at some point. And there's the counter stadium. How big could that be as we only see the Impidimp so far?
Taking a quick look at Karis's hand. It doesn't seem like there's many supporters either, so she's going to have to rely off this Tatsugiri in the active spot to try and get anything going. Thankfully, Makani doesn't have any sort of pressure. Dark Energy off the top for Karis.
There's no help just yet. Go to the store one more time.
Top 6 cards, big find here for a supporter.
No, the counts are limited.
Another
Iono in the window.
She has to take it. Like, the boss's orders is not doing anything in that.
Right. Yep, don't see much else you really want to do here. The only other consideration for the hand is playing down the Frostlass, but Monkey Dory War now technically could be winning. But with a full board, this is no Itchy Pollen.
That is true. Karis does have the Dark in hand, so that immediately turns on that Monkey Dory that was just found off the Artisan.
And I think once you're winning the war, you feel comfortable with this Frostlass. Now things get moving.
6 cards for both players.
Oh boy, that's not a good hand. That's at least Pokepad is found, so you can line up a Morgram on this turn, but I mean, tough stuff. A few energies, a boss's orders, but no guaranteed anything for next turn. And if Tatsu is removed, do you even find a supporter for next turn that could help get through the deck a little further?
Ooh, yeah, that hand. Not doing much, especially with those Dark Energies in the hand. You usually want them in the deck for the punk up from Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX.
Yeah, I mean, the energies are already established on the Monkey Door. You don't need to see those cards. Those are just free resources that could have been anything else at this stage. And Makani is starting to make magic happen. 5 energies to the discard pile, searching a few more. The second energy for the Monkey Dory lined up now. And if Gardevoir is ready to roll.
This hand's not that good though, Kyle.
Well, shucks.
The magic has run out, it seems.
Okay. Yeah, not much else here. That is a TM Devo by a turn.
No. The Frostlass too as well, so the ticks don't tick.
Frostlass won't happen. Yep.
Não tem
Would have
contador,
been nice to
filhão.
see that additional
Papai
damage, but this
subiu pra
will slow
mão,
things
filhão.
down.
Eu sei, te
Turn
acostuma.
and
Now Makani's hoping for the 3rd Iono found off Attract customers.
Foi uma devolution estranha também.
you know, a
É,
ton
foi
of
só pra
others
te
are
atrasar.
prized. Yeah.
This
Agora
unlocks
vem um
Secret
Hurricane no
Box.
teu toba aí, eu acho que fudeu bonito.
Is this the supporter Karis needed to finally have some aggression in this game?
Depends if that's really the way you want to go about this at this point in time. If you use Secret Box, you have Spike with Jim, you have Rare Candy, that's already the Grimmsnarl ready to roll. And then Air Balloon could help in a spot like this, moving that
Tomou
Tatsugiri
na
out active,
jabiraca, né?
or
Já
even just
tomou
using
na
one of those
jabiraca já.
plenty of energies you have hanging out in the hand.
Also, with the bench full, Badoo seems like a pretty easy discard.
See you later, pal.
You've done well.
Yeah, definitely game one MVP already in the books there, and guaranteed supporter for next turn, also so impactful.
In the stadium as well, we could see double Marnie's Morgrim.
Não, foi doce não.
Countercatcher is
É
the
que eu não
item
sei se
down
tem na
offset
mão,
as
né? Às
well.
vezes tem na mão já. Não vi a mão.
And could this be a slowdown turn as well with TM Devo? As you establish
Pelo
the
marketing, né?
Morgrim, the damage starts to tick back up with the Frostlass. If you slow down and remove that Curlia from the board, then you can target this Pokemon once more with a few ticks of that Monkey Dory damage, and maybe the Marnie's Grimmsnarl alongside Boss's Orders on a following turn could KO double Ralt's Curlia.
Sério? Vai também desacelerar ali?
Play as well, just preventing Gardevoir of coming out without the use of Rare Candy.
Yeah, I mean, this is where it starts to work in your favor at this point. Pushing a little bit of that damage over, slowing this game down once more. The pressure's back over to Makani now. You can only evolve this Pokemon, and if you find the rare candy to go alongside this, you're really starting to push the envelope here. One already in the prize cards, and you're asking a lot.
Yeah, only two in the list. These Gardevoir EX decks have gotten really greedy with the counts of rare candy throughout the season. Third Dark Energy on Monkey Dories. Now 3 Adrenabrains available for Makani, but only those 3 damage counters spread out among his board. Spiking with Jim first.
Karis, without choosing to replay that Frostlass, now losing the Monkey Dory War, but feels comfortable in bringing up this Pokemon here now with the Marnie's Grimmsnarl. It is fully charged, ready to roll. It can start slowing things down on the other side. The hand was not impressive from Makani, and now you can start to win this war a little more. And it's a lot more difficult to find the Dark Energies and the Monkey Dories at the same time with this deck as opposed to Marnie's Grimmsnarl.
Attract customers now. There is already the Lily's Determination in hand, so this supporter isn't as important. It was an Arven, though.
And you could argue searching for Boss's Orders in a spot like that could be impactful, of course, with the Curlia already on the board. If you remove that threat, you'd feel very good. But previously searched out the Lily's Determination as the supporter off the Secret Box. And maybe Chris just had a few additional turns that she wasn't expecting. Pressure, there was no pressure on Makani's side.
No pressure, no item lock, no Gardevoir. Just a lot of Monkey Dory.
É que não existe exatamente mundo
not too difficult to check here. Marnie's Grimmsnarl.
onde passar
Yes,
dano
Shadow Bullet
ali
will
deixa
leave additional
muito
damage on the
válido.
board for Monkey Dory, but it won't be nearly enough to start working towards that 320 mark.
10 damage now moved to the Ralts. And this is exactly what you want to do when you're staring down a bunch of Monkey Dory from your opponent, is just try to spread out that damage as much as possible. Don't give your opponent the full 3 Adrenabrain.
Yeah, and from Makani's side, if you ever play down that Gardevoir, easy KO from Marnie's Grimmsnarl. If you evolve into that Curlia with the 4 damage counters on that Ralts, it is easily lined up for the Monkey Dory alongside the Frostlass to build up enough damage and maybe clear out both those Pokemon in the same hit. And there is a Gardevoir alongside a rare candy. Okay, a few extra pieces that maybe Makani wasn't expecting off that Pheasantipity.
Still no supporters. This is an awkward hand, even with the rare candy Gardevoir.
I mean, who's the attacker in this spot with the way the prize cards are working? Screamtail not there. Frillish to slow down and lock up a Pokemon is available. We've seen Mindbend a few times as an MVP. There's not a great Pokemon to switch into at this spot, but Counter Catcher will be the move.
Counter Catcher on the Frostlass.
Classic strategy in this spot. Once you see the energies from Punk Up, it's a little less likely that they'll have the energies in hand to retreat this Pokemon, and maybe you have them commit that air balloon earlier than they expect.
Ele até vai tentar, cara, mas aqui tá bem complicado para ele voltar.
The damage up on the Gardevoir.
Yeah, that was an attachment from hand. Both of the Monkey Dory moving the damage over, and then what is that? A Psy Shot for the knockout? I guess Makani found an attacker, Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, when you run out of options with the Screamtail and the Frillish down, you can remove the threat this way. And if you're losing the Monkey Dory War, or at least tied, checking the Frostlass slows things down greatly. But there is an issue. That Gardevoir EX is a very easy target. Thankfully, in this
se ele dá uma Bozorger ali, já dói pra caralho.
The Counter Catcher.
There is the boss's orders in hand, though, for Karis. Now the question is there enough damage on the board to get a KO on the Kirlia as well? Does not look like it. Adrenabrain moves the damage on that Marnie's Grimmsnarl over to the Gardevoir EX on the bench. Boss's orders brings it up. And Karis Jones will be able to take 2 prizes, put brutal damage on that Pheasantipity EX on the bench.
Aí lascou.
Yep, removing that Gardevoir, placing some additional damage counters onto the Gardevoir, basically as a heal at this point. You know that you're giving your opponent a little extra to work with, but at this stage, at least, it's only the 5 total damage counters that could be incorporated, and there is a Gardevoir added back into the hands now. So what can Makani make happen here? The real issue is with the Mega Diancie alongside this current setup, I don't see a way that you can take out this Marnie's Grimmsnarl with a cap at 240 alongside 50 damage that could be moved, a potential 60. You're only hitting 300. So it'd have to include another Monkey Dory. I think the resources could be there to make this happen, but you have to find Monkey Dory Dark Energy right here, right now.
And Monkey Dory Dark Energy is in the discard, Kyle, from that previous Shadow Bullet.
Okay.
It does seem like there's a Super Rod in the hand, though.
And you see Makani eyeing it up, takes a peek, Super Rod in the hand, will shuffle back in Gardevoir alongside that energy and the Monkey Dory. Artisan was found, Earthen Vessel was found. This energy and this Monkey Dory are gonna fly right back into the board, and that is all the pieces right now for Makani. A huge comeback here to make quick work of this Marnie's Grimmsnarl, but it's not the end of things just yet. This is just one hurdle that we'll see Makani overcome.
I think Makani's going to have to do the play of loading up the Mega Diancie EX with multiple energies. Kind of prevent the scenario of this lone Gardevoir EX getting knocked out. This bench is now full, Kyle.
Yeah, 3/3 prize cards, really susceptible to the boss's orders. You also don't want to overload onto that Mega Diancie too far, as 3 prize cards is game ending at this spot. However, it is difficult to check this Pokemon as you see the Diamond Coat ability, 30 reduction alongside 270 hit points. It takes a lot to remove this Pokemon.
Plus, at least 60 of this damage is getting Adrenabrained over to that Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX. Psychic Energy for turn attached to the Monkey Dory.
Now, we've seen the preload energy a few times. And
Psychic Embrace.
It is tricky. But it's also a great answer if your opponent ever uses a Marnie's Grimmsnarl and boss's orders KOs a Gardevoir. If you can't reach for the knockout that turn, sometimes confusion buys you that turn and can help out. But
80
this is
damage move.
Massive.
Garland, Ray discarding 2 Psychic for the knockout. Makani going down to
Cara,
3
o
prizes,
perigo
now tying it
agora
up
é
in this game 2.
se montar mesmo ali
All the cards
e
onto the table at this
amassar
point, but look how Makani has set things up here with the damage. No
aquela
real answer
adiância
right now
ali,
with
trincou
Paris' board
marmita,
to
hein?
check one of these Monkey Dory. You see 3 different Pokemon here that are holding on to at least 30 damage counters, or 3 damage counters to shift over to the other side, which can once
Porque
more
os
start
decks
to
que estão
check
na
one of those
mesa,
Marnie's
a
Grimmsnarls.
única aqui mais comumente conhecida é a Gardevoir. O resto aí é tudo bicho mais novo, né?
Push that Mega
Tudo Pokémon mais
Diancie
novo.
EX out of the active spot.
What a question to ask your opponent. Where are you going from here? You can't lose out on Monkey Dory. It's so important. How often do you see this? Pheasantipity promoted, but how many energies have been played at this spot? You have to consider if this Pokemon even has a chance to move. What, 3 Psychic in the discard and how many in play at this spot? We see 7 and 3. That's every energy. Where's Professor Turo? That may be the only way to move this Pokemon at this spot.
Turo is still available to Makani in the deck. He already played the Secret Box as well, so no way to search out for it.
Okay, so just finding Turo would be the way to move this Pokemon. And Karis has full information. Both players stared down the deck list for 2 minutes. You know what you're up against.
Actually, Kyle, it seems like there's 1 energy in hand for Makani. Oh, yeah, he has an energy in hand.
Okay, so I guess we got that count wrong in the discard pile, but of course Night Stretcher or something like that could have helped out as well. Thanks, Graphic.
Now, Karis could just go for the KO with Marnie's Grimmsnarl again, but there's already enough damage in play to really push the advantage with Monkey Dory yet again.
Okay, the Super Rod starts to open up avenues once more. You cannot work through the hit points of Mega Diancie, so you might as well dance around it for a little while, and this makes perfect sense. Every target on the other side of the board could be KO'd by a Marnie's Grimmsnarl besides that Pokemon. If you work your way through that Pheasantipity, Iron Bundle could be the MVP that propels Karis to the finals here of Orlando.
Punk Up attaches the second Dark Energy to the active, and then another one to that benched Impidimp. It is all on the board for Karis here.
Such an interesting back and forth. This Pokemon just so hard to remove. The Frostlass was seemingly a great help for both players, and once it's removed, it's tricky to find the way to hit 320 damage on this Pokemon.
Air Balloon attached to Tatsugiri, help it move in a potential knockout scenario. Bravery Charm on that benched Impidimp along with a second Dark Energy. Shadow Bullet.
It would seem that way. Does really put the pressure on. There's still Adrenabrain to work with.
Just 10 damage over to that Monkey Dory, putting it at 5 damage counters now.
Without Frostlass, not seeing any knockouts on Monkey Dories just yet. Karis will still have a few damage counters to work with, but basically wanted to work around that magic number of 9 for Monkey Dory. Preserving the hit points on them both with just 1 damage counter each, leaves them with 100 HP. Pile of Arvins to the hand. Not exactly what you need just yet, but could be the golden answer to finding that Iron Bundle. Mega Diancie ready to roll.
Third energy attached from the hand for Makani. Has plenty of damage in play to be able to take a knockout on this Grimmsnarl. And then that Iono to 1 for Karis here.
Okay.
All the supporters on the bottom of the deck as well.
Será pra dói ali mesmo.
I don't know if Makani wants to avoid this Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX.
No. That's dangerous Pokemon. Suppose the only other answer here that may have been helpful is if you find a way to bring back that Pheasantipity, it'd be 1 Pokemon that could withstand an attack from this Marnie's Grimmsnarl if the Iron Bundle were to be played down.
which that Artisan can find that Iron Bundle right away, as well as shuffle the supporters that were found back into the deck.
It's just an unchecked answer right now. This Marnie's Grimmsnarl, a massive pain. What could a Mew EX even find here off of a draw? Doesn't seem like you can really work around this.
There is the retreat to the Mega Diancie. I think it is just a knockout and pray scenario for Makani here in this game too. Tournament life on the line.
Well, how do you knock it out? you're 10 short at this spot. 240 plus 90, 310. There's no KO right now.
What are you talking about?
Is it 240 and what?
Yeah, you just need
80
80 damage, the 240. There's only 320 for the Grimmsnarl.
Ah, okay, missed that, but yeah. Still trying to piece together the math in my head.
Eu acho que ainda assim acabou, porque doce. Se tiver energia ainda pra ligar, eu acho que vai ter.
Promoted to the active. Artisan finds the Monkey Dory for Karis, the third one. Now it does seem like just a simple Iron Bundle and Rare Candy Grimmsnarl can take the game. Is the Rare Candy still available? There's only one in the list.
Yeah, tough find here, but did save that Impidimp with additional help with that Bravery Charm. Stick around for a little longer. Attracting customers finds the Lily's Determination.
6 cards is better than no cards. Iron Bundle was already in the hand. Spike Move Jim bumps the Artisan. Lily's Determination. Rare Candy Grimmsnarl is game and would punch Karis's ticket into the finals here in Orlando.
Okay, a little bit more here to get the job done. Can the Rare Candy be found? Spike with already lined up and a few cards to reach for the finals now. Can Karis get the job done?
No.
Oh, missing out.
No.
No way to draw extra cards as well with his hand. Had the Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX, but no Rare Candy. Again, it is the greed of this list now with only one in the deck.
Yeah, and this is not a list
Se
featuring
fodeu.
a Pheasantipity at any spot, so no other ways to continue the draw.
And Karis is just scooping it up. Kyle, we have a game 3.
Who thought that was coming here with Makani
Que
just
merda.
slowly but surely working towards an answer there.
Faltou
Marnie's
de
Grimmsnarl
nada.
is so hard to check.
Yeah, and it was really all just down to Karis had to use both of the Morgrim.
Tá, jogou bem,
The
tá,
two
jogou bem,
Grimmsnarls
legal.
that we saw her play. Did not have access to another one to prep that Impidimp, relying on that Rare Candy, and just did not find it off that Lily's.
Yeah, I mean, crazy stuff back and forth there. Still need a little help with the Mega Diancie math. How does that even work?
120 plus 120.
It's 240.
Okay.
Then you have 3 Monkey Dory. That's 310, right? Or is
No.
yeah, it's there we go. Hey,
330
calculator.
essentially, you know?
Yeah, yep, all right. That is math. Thank you.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay so we can do some more math.
Oh, math, my dear
This
friend.
was the crazy play, being able to double Adrenabrain and Psy Shot to take out that Frostlass. And then that was the last time we saw that Pokemon in this game. Now, Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX taking the KO on the lone Gardevoir EX, but with that Curly in play, Makani was able to answer back with a big Mega Diancie KO with 3 Monkey Dory, and that was it. Makani able to pretty much set up a checkmate scenario as long as that Rare Candy Grimmsnarl was not found.
Yeah, and we are ready to go here. 35 minutes remaining as we have one final game here separating one of these players from the championship table, and that is a Ralts Energy Pass to start things off. Oh, boy.
How much does Corkscrew Punch do? 10? All right.
I can do that math. That looks pretty good. This is a Buddy Poffin here for Karis. What a start. What does the prize cards have to say about this? Okay. A little bit of that line from Grimmsnarl along with a TM Evolution stored away, but boy, howdy, this is working out.
Arvin to find an item and a tool. That air balloon will help this Impidimp retreat into the Buddy Poffin, or the Budu.
Yeah.
And then I believe I also saw Secret Box in the hand for Karis. So if there is no item lock from Makani's side of the board, next turn could be insane.
Yeah, Rare Candy already found Secret Box held onto with the air balloon into the Badoo. You lock in those items. Don't see any of that from Makani on the following turn, and pressure's on to move this Pokemon and find a little more help. This hand didn't seem conducive just yet to it.
Caralho,
Seems like
turno
Makani may have a
fudido, hein?
response.
The only thing missing from Karis' start here is an energy
Nossa,
to
o
go on that
joguinho tá
Monkey Dory.
acontecendo aqui.
Don't believe there's one in the
Provavelmente o
hand,
Greens vai amassar o Guard agora.
but she does find Marnie's
Não é nenhuma
Warbird for the
novidade.
next turn.
Powerful start here. It's just about everything that you want to see. Itchy Pollen, we know how impactful this has been. The one issue with this hand is I don't know if there's a lot of fodder for that Secret Box at this point. Could be a little tricky to maneuver. But the counter stadium immediately, we know how impactful that can be. Avoiding that Spikemanth Gym, seeing some additional resources, may lead to just more Grims and not Grimmsnarls. And Makani needs as much help as he can get.
And he actually held the Artisan turn 1, opting not to play it to help out Karis potentially in the setup. Granted, she didn't really need it, but very heads-up play from Makani here, and having that Lily's Determination, drawing into these 8 cards, he's going to need a lot of help.
Yes.
But it's still possible.
Yeah, could see all sorts of help at this spot. Even retreating into a Frillish with the energy would be nice to have that item lock. Monkey Dory with Dark Energy at some point, just to start moving a little bit of this damage over and put pressure onto the Badoo would be nice. With the Artisan, considering Frillish at this spot just to put a little pressure back over onto that Badoo.
Let's take a look at the prizes, Kyle. Night Stretcher, Rare Candy, Counter Catcher, Monkey Dory. We saw how important it was for those 3 Monkey Dory to be able to be used. Thankfully, it's at the bottom of the prizes for Makani, but it is a very important card in this matchup.
Yeah, so often you need the additional resources, that reach to take a KO for 330.
Yeah. Math. Frillish is grabbed off of the Artisan, so Oceanic Gloom is available to Makani with the Psychic Energy in hand. And there is one thing about that Badoo in the active spot. It's not a big do.
No, little do. Not doing too much here, and Frillish protecting its pal Relts. Don't have to search out a second one if items are locked out. Avoids the Rare Candy for the Marnie's Grimmsnarl, and even if there is a boss's orders, there's no answer to KO that Relts just yet.
Arven is played for Karis. We'll be able to find that one-of copy of Bravery Charm yet again. It just is so good with this Badoo in this list.
Yeah, so much help that you can find from these Pokemon, and I mean, what else can you find from this spot now? It feels like energy is so impactful, and just have not seen that Dark Energy here yet. The Morgrim is played down, and Badoo will do its job, hang on for a little bit longer, but if this hand doesn't get much better, that counter stadium of the Artisan may prove to be an MVP here once more.
Makani is starting things off with that Artisan. Second Ralts, just a little insurance for the bench, especially with this item lock going back and forth.
Yeah, the item lock is so big as just the one Psychic Energy reached the discard pile. Will signify using the Artisan for that Ralts, and now 8 more cards added to the hand. It's a great benefit to have Frillish here in these early spots to item lock your opponent, slow things down, but sometimes the 3 retreat cost does end up biting back. It is hard to move this Pokemon when you finally do want to use Psychic Embrace.
Yeah, and when it gets to that time, there could be too much damage on that Frillish if Karis starts building up some energies on the Monkey Dory.
Oh, item.
Ooh.
Hey.
Monkey Dory found, but I did not see a Dark Energy.
No, none to go with that. The Psychic Energy as well. Seen previous times using that Psychic Energy onto the Monkey Dory and hanging on for another turn, but we'll hold on to that resource for later on.
Artisan found for Karis, but this hand is not doing much of anything. No way to find that Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX. Is Karis going to retreat to the Tatsugiri, break the item lock for his partner? No.
I don't think so, but yeah.
I was a little worried.
It is a strategy for if Bidoof were to fall, which doesn't seem like it's too far away here. You know that you're in danger of having to promote a Pokemon here soon. As just a Dark Energy onto that Monkey Dory shifts the damage from the Frillish over, then Oceanic Gloom would take the KO onto the Bidoof, even with that Bravery Charm there. But still, no Dark Energy to be found just yet.
It did seem like Makani had another supporter in the hand from the Lilies from last turn. But no, just an Oceanic Gloom back. Karis drew a boss's orders. We'll be able to bring up Ralts and Itchy Pollen, but that is it.
And this is a bit of a bait for Makani. He's held on to that Psychic Energy for a situation like this. You don't break item lock on me. I will retreat out of here. And the Arven alongside this, just a little more thinning. Eventually this has to find some help, and the item lock may not find an answer here soon. Now the question is, with that TM Evo thrown into the hand, you do have considerations to find Kirlia, but that item lock is really shut down Karis in this spot.
First prize taken in Game 3 and is with that Frillish Oceanic Gloom, taking the knockout on that Bidoof with the Bravery Charm. Karis is item locked, but now has Tatsugiri in the active available to attract customers.
And this is a big attract customers, as we see the Bidoof that could be added to the board at this point, but there's no way to shift this Pokemon back with the retreat. A card like Arven finding a tool could help out in this spot, but
one thing I gotta say, Kyle, is where is the Dark Energy for both of these players?
We're playing with no Monkey Dory at all. They're just hanging out, cheering on their pals.
Eu jogo com quem eu não conheço, eu faço igual a eu vou jogando e vou falando todas as jogadas, porque eu não sei se o cara conhece o deck, né? Então eu explico. Agora, quando eu sento pra treinar com alguém que já conhece o meu deck, eu sei que o cara conhece o dele também, aí eu jogo rapidão. É pra agilizar o jogo, eu jogo mais rápido.
26 minutes remaining. Every draw matters. What supporter can be found at this spot to help out? There's so many different avenues to go from this spot. Iono Lilies. Okay. Well, that hand doesn't do too much. Let's try again.
Always awkward to have to put back your secret box, but under this Oceanic Gloom, nothing's happening. Now, granted, Karis does have a lot of good draws off this Lily's Determination. Energy, Marnie's Grimmsnarl. Granted, the air balloon is on that Grimmsnarl on the bench. Ooh.
Oh, wow. I mean, at least the Dark Energy was found. What else is there? I mean, nothing. That's a pass of the turn once more, and
now Makani has items available. Look at that hand. Secret box found from the Arven the turn prior. Earthen Vessel to start getting those Psychic Energies in the discard, along with, you know, a Dark Energy to attach for the turn.
Yeah, that'd be nice. It's been a well sought after card here. And even another Psychic Energy, a little fodder for that secret box. Finally can establish a Kirlia onto this board. But TM Evolution seems like a card you have to throw away in this spot. Item lock so impactful, you just cannot take a turn off here.
Connie choosing to discard both of them in his hand. But now we'll be able to find 4 cards from the deck. A tool, item, stadium, and supporter.
One awkward part of this deck is actually searching out Kirlia. Doesn't happen too often. Requires the use of that Ultra Ball. And then you have to throw away even more resources to get to that point.
Usually you just hope it's Psychic Energies.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Instead,
Rare Candy.
That's a risk in this matchup, but also maybe works out here. Do you ever see Bravery Charm Ralts Rare Candy Gardevoir so that you can endure the TM Devo at some point and keep this Ralts on the board?
I think best case scenario for Makani is Rare Candy that Gardevoir and evolve into a Kirlia.
4 psychic energy to work with from the discard pile.
At what point do you think Makani breaks the Oceanic Gloom?
I think it has to be an impactful turn where you can place enough damage counters onto the other side of the board where you remove either threats like Monkey Dory or the Marnies or the Morgrim at the same time. If you can remove the Morgrim and an Impidimp at the same turn, definitely you'd have to lean into a spot like that. But with Makani already up in prize cards, seems unlikely that you'll be able to take away multiple Pokemon in the same turn. But does have access to Screamtail this time around.
Hold on, Kyle. Looks like we have some judge intervention. And it does look like a double prize card penalty has been issued against Karis.
Seems like a illegal shuffling that happened in that spot.
She is appealing.
There's been a warning a few times before, so now this is being escalated, but now the judges will bring in the head judge so we can see that appeal. But man, I mean, what a game we've had so far. This is a crazy matchup. So much to consider as you see how both these players have to dance around all of the math on both sides.
Not only the players, but, you know,
us.
casters as well.
Yeah, 240 and 90 is math.
Now, both of our players here have been playing pretty much perfect as they can. It's just been the way the cards have been drawn. It seems like with the appeal,
vai dar ruim.
Here.
Only seems fitting. Chance to think a little bit more about how this game could progress. Seen a really favorable spot for Makani. Already up a prize card, locked in the items. Has plenty of psychic energies to work with, and there's no ability or item lock on the other side of the board.
Yeah, this turn from Makani has the potential to be crazy with all the resources available.
Yeah, we'll take a quick chat with Chip Ritchie, see what his thoughts are, how you've been feeling about this game.
Yeah, very interesting to see how this game is developing, but I do want to just hop in and give kind of an update on what's happening with this penalty situation. So it does appear like when Karis has been shuffling her deck, that she's been looking at her deck as shuffling and has been issued warnings previous to this game during this tournament. The judges noticed it once again, issued her a warning, and since she's had previous warnings, that is now escalated to a double prize card penalty. She is appealing that ruling right now as we speak, as is her right, of course. And we'll just have to get word on the result of that appeal. I would expect this to probably stand as a double prize card penalty, though, which does have huge implications here. That would mean Makani only needs to take 3 more prize cards to win this game.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we've seen how close this matchup has been throughout the entire weekend. Having to not have to take 2 more prize cards is a huge advantage.
There's just not much you have to consider at that spot. There's some easy Pokemon that could be removed, and the moment that there's a commitment to that Marnie's Grimmsnarl, if you remove Tatsugiri with a very simple turn with this item lock in combination with Monkey Dory,
Toda
Marnie's
falando,
Grimmsnarl tries to
eu
check
mutaria nas
you can
calças.
just reach once more for that.
Não, mas quando
Monkey
você
Dory
joga TCG
alongside
é
the
diferente,
Nancy
né,
to take
pô?
that KO and clean things up.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be interesting to see how this appeal will stand.
Even Pokemon like that Screamtail can reach for some awkward numbers. If you remove Monkey Dories on the other side, then
Eu até
it's hard to check
consegui
that Pokemon
entender.
immediately. So huge ruling to consider here. We'll see what our answer is.
Again, as with any ruling in the Pokemon TCG, you always have the right to appeal to a head judge. But once that appeal is made, the decision of the head judge is final.
Yep. Seems unfortunate here for Karis, as likely is
Eita
being
puta!
held up at
Esse
this
é pra
spot.
puta!
Coming back from a 2-prize deficit, when you're already down a prize, you see that item lock. Seems pretty unlikely to come back from a spot like that. It would take quite the Iono to lock up the hand at that point.
Yeah, well, we're back at us now while they are finishing up that ruling.
Ali eu acho que ela vai tomar um game loss ali e vai pra 1 a 1,
when
hein?
you're on stage, when you're on the bright lights, just playing in general, there's a lot on the line for these tournaments.
Yeah, just things to consider once you get to this point. There's a lot of things that make a great player, and it's unfortunate that this just can get in the way sometimes. You have to play by the rules, make sure that everyone has a fair opportunity to see their cards and, well, not see their cards as you're shuffling, but to see the right cards off the top of the deck and not give any slight advantage over. We're back underway, and the prize loss is upheld, so we should see that soon reflected on our graphic. Makani now just needing 3 prize cards to get the job done here in game 3.
And back on to his turn.
Tá bem mais fácil ganhar agora.
Ultra Ball. Discards that Lily's
Mas já tava 1 a 1, né?
Finds the Gardevoir
Nossa,
EX.
agora o cara do Gardevoir tá bem.
And this changes
Até
things.
terça agora.
Makani does not need to worry about slowing down at any point. If you have the resources to load up Mega Diancie, put pressure on, and establish that Gardevoir, force Scarce to stand in with that Marnie's Grimmsnarl, put 2 prize cards on the board.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this
or
turn.
Even this way with the Screamtail, too.
This turn was already going to be crazy from Makani, but having the second Ultra Ball for the Kirlia, along with the Rare Candy Gardevoir, and then Artisan finding that Screamtail. Screamtail is going to be able to take out that Morgrim on the bench, or something like the Monkey Dory.
Yeah, that puts pressure back over to Karis. You need the Rare Candy in order to check a Gardevoir that can come down this turn.
Muita vantagem.
That is the 2 prize Pokemon that you don't want to establish in this spot. But you need an answer. You need something to check this board as Makani sees the weakness right now.
Finally, a Dark Energy on a Monkey Dory on Makani's side of the board.
Oh, there's even a Bravery Charm alongside this. If you want a buffed up Screamtail that can withstand maybe if there were ever to be some damage on the other side of the board.
Passa
moving 30 from the
pra
Frillish to the Morgrim, and then a
Morgan
Roaring
War.
Scream to take the knockout. Makani going down to just 2 prize cards left to win this match and punch his ticket into the finals.
3 energies in the discard pile here.
Lá,
Bravery
fazendo
Charm in
até a
hand.
me explodir.
If Screamtail isn't checked,
Final vai ser Guard versus alguém, pra novidade de 0 pessoas.
Karis needs some help.
Eu acho que o cara do Zoroark vai pra final. Se for Zoro e Guard, o Zoro tem muita chance de ganhar.
One-of copy of Counter Catcher alongside Iono. Perhaps there's a chance to put enough pressure onto that Gardevoir. Maybe make something that way. What a turnaround.
Was it just a pass of the turn? Or are they?
I mean, there's a lot of cards in the hand. I think there's something that can happen here.
Setting the damage right on that Frillish. Karis has a Pokepad.
There's a secret box as well, so reaching for a response seems pretty likely. It's just now, can you piece that together? Do you have Counter Catcher alongside Rare Candy to make that happen? Is this a turn where you have to slow all the way down and try to lock out some Pokemon? Just doesn't seem favorable when you already have the Psychic Energies in the discard as Makani.
Frostlass was the Pokemon chosen off Pokepad. Now that Freezing Shroud ability will start ticking up those damage counters on all Pokemon with abilities.
And even if you're winning or losing the Monkey Dory War at this spot, I think any damage counters on the board favor Makani.
Oh, 100%.
Just 2 prize cards remaining.
That Tatsuguri.
Wow. I mean, 3 Monkey Dory. How do you keep a Pokemon stuck in any spot like this? I mean, it's full send on this Impotent right now.
And that Screamtail having 40 damage on it, it is a little shy of getting knocked out with the 30 damage from the Shadow Bullet. Karis so far deciding what to discard for the secret box. Lily's, Iono, and Super Rod.
You start to consider how many turns you even have at this point. Just throwing away some of these supporters.
Eu ia falar, vai ter que ir pra Harry Candy agora.
You need to have this set up at this point.
Já
Here's the rare candy,
usou
the
algum
spike with the ball
apoiador?
with it.
Não, né?
The
Dá pra
Grimstar
pegar uma
will be ready
bosta
to
ali
roll, but then
pra
Those were the
meter.
only cards found
Ah,
as
nem
well.
pegou nada mais,
Still
só
not
pegou
that
os
secret
dois.
box.
Still need to find the counter catcher if you want to check this Gardevoir. And what supporter was held onto at this point? Was it Lilies or Iono? Do you think that you can manipulate Makani's hand a little more, or do you have to bet on yourself and see if you can find this counter catcher off of a Lilies at this spot?
It does look like a Lily's in the hand.
Tons of resources were played by Makani last turn in order to establish this setup.
Oh, counter catcher's in hand already.
Oh, wow. I mean, that is so helpful, but Tatsu still needs a way to move out of the active.
That air balloon that was stuck on the Morgrim. Only one of, again, in this list.
Looking for some help. Find some customers. What is this?
O desespero
boss's
dessa
orders. That's not going to do
pessoinha.
it.
Vai quitar que esse cara?
No way to move this Pokemon just yet? Has the Lilies, all right. It's time to search through, try to find that energy attachment.
Vai pra 8, né,
This
velho?
Tatsugiri, if this
Pô,
isn't
se 8
found,
cartas não vier um jeito de tirar esse Tatsugiri
This is
da
a
frente
missed
aí, vamos pra
opportunity.
casa.
If it's found, it's just game over, right?
É, acabou.
A second dark energy for Makani's Monkey Dory. You move 60 damage over to the Tatsugiri. The Freezing Shroud's going to tick down, and then a KO with the Gardevoir, the Scream Tail, anything.
I mean, still, if as long as this Tatsugiri is retreated, the Gardevoir KO is huge, but is there a response to Gardevoir? Is the question. Energy found, so this Tatsu can move. And Marty's Grimstar moves up to the active. This finally checks the threat of Gardevoir, but does Makani have a built-in answer here? He used so many resources to get to this spot. Rare Candy Gardevoir on the previous turn. Is there one more answer now? If this Kirlia evolves, you have to think that he'll get over the finish line.
Nest ball in hand. There's just a ton of supporters and items so far.
Oh, Fezandipity, the script has already been ridiculous to get to this point of the match. You flip it one more time.
Again, something like a Night Stretcher. Granted, there's one at the top of the prize cards for Makani. A second Gardevoir EX. Dark Energy, of course.
A lot of big cards here. What could be found? Don't need to throw down too much here at this stage, but hold on to TM Devo.
Really
TM Devo on the Scream Tail when you have Bravery Charm in hand. Definitely interesting, but Iono, Makani's drawn 4 cards, has the flip
Ultra
as well.
Ball is found in the window. Fezandipity continues to draw up here too. There's so much here working. How much damage can you even force at this point? Well, alongside the Dark Energy, that would really be the magic here in order to make this happen.
And only a Psychic found off of the Flip the Script and Iono for Makani. He uses Ultra Ball to grab that Gardevoir EX, but I think without the second Dark, he's at least a couple damage counters off of taking the game this turn.
That switches your strategy to instead your opponent only plays one rare candy. The TM Devo becomes the correct response at this point in time. You just remove.
Wait, can the Scream Tail take the KO? No, just Devo.
Yeah, it's just a little too short. You use that TM Devo, bring the Impotent back. It's a lone active, and here you go. How do you come back from this? It takes multiple turns to reestablish that attacker.
No rare candy left. No Morgrim left. Super Odd in the discard.
Oh.
É o que eu ia falar, ter descartado a Super Rod agora custou caro.
It seems like Makani is setting up a checkmate scenario here.
And that one tick of damage from the Frostlass onto that Tatsugiri, really brutal at this spot. That may be the decisive blow here. This easy shift of those damage counters once you see one more dark energy. If Makani can find that resource, it's a pretty clear line to victory.
And I was mistaken. The Morgrim stuff was last game.
Good.
Still one available for Karis here.
Oh, corkscrew punch.
I mean,
a few more damage counters to work with, but not enough to check a Gardevoir.
Another judge shuffle.
Caralho, o juiz tá chatão, filho.
Marnie's Morgrim
O juiz tá
evolved.
cagando.
Corkscrew punch takes the knockout.
Does answer one dark energy Monkey Dory, maybe keeps this game going for one more additional turn. What gives you the best chance?
Boss's orders.
Is that Boss's orders Pheasantipity? You force
Eu
that
não acho que
energy
vai
or
pra
the
Pheasant,
Professor
não,
Turo
velho.
in
Eu
that
acho
spot.
que não.
Work around the fact that Psychic Embrace only establishes those energies for
Ah lá, falei.
Psychic Pokemon.
Oh, okay. Boss's orders the Frillish. It has 60 damage on it. That means Makani cannot Psychic Embrace unless he decides to use the Adrenabrain.
Shroud is reestablished.
Não,
The
porque
damage
colocou
counters
em
are coming
cima.
back.
Ah, não, é verdade, já não tem efeito, né?
And Kyle, I believe there's a Professor Turo in Makani's hand.
Tem. Tá na mão dele já.
Game breaking to see that card with the Monkey Dory Dark Energy unchecked. If there were another Dark Energy to go alongside this,
Acabou. Ele só vai comprar da Turo.
once more could be a real issue.
Ele vai
Wow, look
dar,
at that hand of all supporters for
ele vai dar
Makani.
Turo e vai ganhar. Ah
Professor
lá.
Turo's scenario picks up the Frillish.
Foda-se.
This will unlock the Screamtail's Roaring Scream yet again.
I mean, how difficult is this now? The Screamtail immediately answers the Morgrim. Just one damage counter shifted over to that Pokemon would be plenty. And there's the KO. For Karis, there's just one prize card remaining for your opponent. And you need to decide if Screamtail or Gardevoir is the bigger threat. And I got a problem here. It's both of them are going to be an issue.
Essa punição aí custou caro
Perhaps
demais.
trap this Fez. You already saw a few energies played. Professor Turo played.
Caro demais.
How many cards are left that can even move Pokemon? We already seen the counter catchers. There are 3 Boss's orders in the list. I think we've already seen 2. It's just one Boss's orders left in order to lock this
Marquei não
Pokemon.
bate nessa build.
Could be very attractive, you know?
Well, if that customer is ready to shop, could really make a difference here. Call on the judge one more time.
Judge.
Attract customer 6 cards. Boss's orders needed off the top of the deck.
Just for a chance to hold on here.
Não veio.
No
Tá bom.
supporters here for Karis.
Tá bom. Junto o deck vai pra casa.
This has to be it.
Yeah, I mean, you see the Iono in the hand. Limit the resources for Makani, but with Gardevoir in play, Psychic Embrace, it reaches for so many different cards here, and it looks like the cards will be scooped up here on Karis'
Eu acho
side.
que nem
Makani Tran
precisa, na
making his
real,
way
porque...
to the
Ah, lá,
finals
falei,
here
né?
in Orlando. Can he do what his brother did
Dá até uma
not so
piscadinha
long
pra
ago
câmera.
and take down a regional championship? It would be pretty epic of a story.
You know, we were joking about Truin being the better brother just because Makani lost in that finals essentially a year ago. But now he has the chance to cement his place in the family once again.
Yeah, I mean, what a great place to be for the Tran family. Just seeing that victory from Truin, and now Makani has a chance once more to make it to that final table. And this was a big obstacle for him. What a match we had here between these two players. The back and
Punição
forth,
ajudou muito
especially
ele,
with this
velho.
big
Tudo
dude.
bem que ele tava
It is
bem também
tough
ali no
adversary.
jogo já.
Yeah, item lock back and
Tá
forth.
bem na,
Makani
né?
not really
A hora
having
que ele
much
estabeleceu
going
o
for
turno
him
ali na
in the
caixa foi
first game. A
forte
ton of
demais.
items in the hand, and with that Bravery Charm, keeping that Badoo around, not much he could do. Now, game 2 was a little bit different. Makani had to get a little bit cute with the side shot to knock out the Frostlass with double Adrenabrain Monkey Dory, but establishing 3 Monkey Dory with that Mega Diancie EX able to clear out 2 Marnie's Grimmsnarl EXs with Garland Ray, and it just left Karis with nothing to be able to attack into Makani's board.
So much to consider now. And then this game, game 3, Big Do is established, but there's no help, no assistance here. And Tatsugiri tries its best to find a little help here, but it's just a little bit too late. The rare candy is finally established, and the Grimmsnarl comes into play, but it's just checked by the TM Devo, and at this point, there's no answer. You have to play the Morgrem, have to hope it hangs on, brings the Frillish up, but that Pokemon picked up by the Turo. It just leads to checkmate situations there with the Screamtail, and they end the Gardevoir in play.
And again, congratulations to Karis Jones. Another top 4 for this amazing run that she has had this entire season, but it definitely has to hurt. The 3rd top 4 trying to make that finals.
Yeah, and I mean, she's done it with all sorts of different decks. A lot of versatility that we've seen in her play as well, and some really cute tech inclusions along the way too. But this time, just did not have enough to get over that hurdle. You're asking a lot of your deck when you have these singleton inclusions, and every once in a while, those prize cards can be an issue, and the item lock is just a real pain sometimes.
Whoa, Kyle. Item lock's fun.
I'm watching you. But it wasn't you this time. It was that pesky Frillish.
Yeah.
The imposter item locker.
Maybe I need to get a Frillish plug.
No. I think we're good. 1 is plenty.
All right. Well, I do believe Makani is standing by to be talking about our top 4 match. Let's take it away.
Thank you, casters. Montel Sedana here, and I'm joined with our last round winner, Makani Tran. What a match, Makani. Again, bringing Gardevoir to the finals. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm the highest place in Gardevoir right now. Really, oh my goodness. It's like, I really wanted to give it a good run for its last tournament ever. And I was like, yeah, just stuck with the same Houston 60. Ran really well at Houston. Kind of fizzled out towards the end, but I was like, you know what? The list felt great. I'm just going to run it back. And yeah, it's going amazing. I've hit so many Grimmsnarls. That's definitely the deck of the tournament. Hit one in top 8, hit one, I think round 13, hit one. I just hit one, yeah, a lot of Grimms.
No, that's for sure. I mean, and typically, in the past, this was such a difficult matchup. I feel like it still is a very difficult matchup, but again, I feel like you've maneuvered the Grimmsnarl matchup pretty much perfectly. Makani, it's not every day I see someone attack with Side Shot and then win the match, win that game. Talk us through the strategy.
Yeah, so it used to be a little bit of a closer match. The Diancie really puts in work. Put in work a lot of my rounds. Into Grimm is just really nice being able to easily one-shot and having that big the metal weakness so it doesn't die. It's and you can sometimes throw it back up. It's just, yeah, having that big tank that can also hit for so much damage really is what shifted the matchup in my opinion. But yeah, for the Side Shot, there's no reason to damage my own monkeys. I don't want them to die, so I was like, I don't want to swing with anything else. And I was like, well, it does 30 damage. I got to get the Frostless off the board. So, I mean, yeah, I was like, I'll just go for it. And it ended up working out. So.
Ended up working out indeed. I mean, that's just how important the Monkey Dories were, right? We've seen you use them very effectively, getting the triple Monkey Dory plus the Diancie just to knock out Grimmsnarls back and forth, right? Just, yeah. That's really, really big. Very impressive. And then, again, so your brother just won a regional as well in Seattle. Yeah. So is the fact that your brother won a regional a drive for you to try do your best, maybe win this one?
I wouldn't say it's a drive. I was really happy when he won, honestly. I was really happy. I did think it was really funny. I know all my friends were clowning me oh my God, he just started playing, he won before you did. So I was happy for him. It's a funny, of course, that he won before me, but yeah, I was really happy for him. So, but I gotta, trying to chase the dubs. We can be brothers with wins this season. That'd be crazy.
Oh, that would be quite a scene, right? How cool would the graphic be?
It'd be so sick. Oh my goodness.
Very, very cool. But again, you still have one more match.
The last one.
What's going through your mind?
I've been in finals once and I lost. It was a brutal one. So yeah, I'm hopefully this time the matchups are looking solid. I'm hoping the Joltik wins. That one's definitely a little easier. I put a lot of Joltik. Truin is huge Joltik dude. He just plays Joltik and Charizard. I know for Houston he played Joltik, so we play that matchup a lot at like locals and at home. So I'm hoping the Joltik wins. I think there's a Joltik in top 4. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
You're just gonna have to be surprised once you sit on the table.
Yeah. No, but I'm feeling pretty good, honestly. Either way, I'm just really happy with how it's gone. It's been a great event. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, again, great event. Amazing games to watch. Just a couple more questions for you before I'll let you get some rest. Any advice you want to give players out there who want to reach this point in Pokemon?
Yeah, the biggest advice, honestly, is just like play as much as you can. Really try and listen to players that are better than you. I know, like when I was growing up, I never had like those top groups. I know there's a lot of like the top players that they obviously like they play with each other. They have each other to test with. I know when I was growing up, Truin didn't used to play back then, so I never really had like a group to test with. So it was kind of just me, and it was like you just the best way to get better is just like play as much games as you can, even if that's not that much. Just try as much as you can, and like yeah, just try to learn from people better than you. That's why it's nice with all this Metafy stuff, all like the coaching, like it's like we're really in an era with like Limitless and stuff where it's like so much value. You can get so much stuff online. Like you really don't even need to have like a great group if you can just like watch people that are better than you, like watch stream, watch like content creators, get coaching. There's just so many ways right now to get better at the game.
I like it. You heard it here, folks. Watch the stream. He said that. Anyone you want to shout out before I let you go?
Yes, huge shout out to my mom and dad. Forgot to shout out my dad last time. Huge shout out to my siblings and my girlfriend, of course, and huge shout out to Kids Table.
Awesome stuff. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let you rest. We're going to throw it back to the desk for more Pokemon action.
Thank you, Wancho. Congratulations, Makani, yet again. Wow. 2 brothers on that graphic would be a sight to behold for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a special place in my heart, too. It's always great when you compete with your brother and have that chance to maybe battle alongside them, see who can come out on top. I've definitely lost that battle, but Makani has not lost it just yet. Has a chance to win this regional championship here now, tie up with his brother, and maybe take this even further. But it won't be with Gardevoir. This is his last chance to get it done with that Pokemon.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the updated bracket. I do believe we have our finals match set, and it is going to be Noah up against Makani, Zoroark up against Grimmsnarl.
Hey. I mean, Grimmsnarl.
Zoroark. Guardy.
I was going to say, we got Guardy and Zoroark, and I don't know if you want to check out on whose caster predictions that was. Well, all to say, I had a little something to do with that. The script was in my hands.
Yeah, I had Gardevoir as well.
Yeah, I think we all did. but who had the Zoroark?
But that does it for us. We have an amazing finals match for you. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, Pokemon fans. We're back here at the Orlando Regional Championships, and oh boy, do I have a treat for you. Joining me here in
os caras tão cracados, filho.
Ethan Chen.
Os caras vão passar o trator.
Junior players in the world. Currently number 4, right, Ethan?
Essa de bugar o Rafael nem sabia também até isso falar.
Some of the best juniors and also get the Poke parent perspective. But yeah, so Ethan, what's it been like since you started competing?
Well, it's been very fun.
Pior que por causa, como eu falei, do jogo ser bastante orgânico, né? Dá pra bugar, dá pra zoar ele pra caralho.
I'm just hoping that the Pokemon community gets a little bigger.
Oh, just wait till you get
Eu
to the
lembro até
Master
hoje
Division. That's when it gets
da
a lot bigger.
Mintara morrendo e segundos depois ela tá praticamente pelada.
I feel like there's a good amount of
Que
juniors that-
lutearam ela em
It's such a
segundos. Eu
tight
falei,
knit
caralho, velho.
I know you
O
practice
Ian
a
nem
lot
morreu,
with
já tá
players as
pelado,
well,
estirado
like
no chão
Kenji
aqui, pô.
and all that. But now, question for the parent though: what's it like being a Pokemon parent that having to travel all over the world for these competitions?
I think it's fun. It's amazing, right? You get to go around the world, facilitate these relationships, really push on getting the teamwork, the understanding, and then it's really nice to be able to help them establish determination,
Amanhã então Pokémon de cartinha.
framework for independent
Como
learning.
tudo
growth,
começou.
right? The travel is also great because you get to go and visit and have
Pokémon em
these
sua
play dates
raiz.
and really go and compete. But ultimately, it also gives you these like goals throughout the circuit, right? To be able to actually go think about like, oh, I want to go here, and here's a plan, here's my commitment, and how do I go and kind of chase that, which is really great.
I like that you brought that up. I'm curious, what are your goals then, Ethan?
So currently I still have not won a regional.
Yes.
So that is one of my goals. And overall, I want to just be a very consistent player. Consistency is very important. Just in general.
Ele é player da Juniors, categoria das crianças. O Pokémon ele divide em 3 categorias, né? Tem o Junior, que é a criança, é até 10 anos ou 11, se eu não estou enganado. Tem os Seniors, que é o de adolescente, que vai dos 12 até os 17. E aí dos 18 pra cima é o Seniors, que é a categoria adulta. Então o Pokémon tem 3 categorias de jogo.
Growth in terms of maturity, like I think he's been a player now for about 3 years, and I think early on you would see
Junior, Senior e Master,
understanding the fundamentals,
Senior é dos
right?
adolescentes.
And then his second season
Master
was
é
more
dos adultos.
around understanding lines, strategies, right? Longer term thinking. And then now I think that this season is much more about relationships, a lot of more development in terms of frameworks for thinking, maybe more incremental kind of growth, right? And I think those are just aspirationally just really good for his development.
Absolutely love that. All right. Enough of the technical questions. I want to go with more fun questions now. But thank you so much. All right, Ethan, what's your favorite deck of all time?
I have to say Pidgeot Control.
Bunny esse moleque.
I really like the fact that once it gets out of Pidgeot, it's really set for the game.
Pidgeot Control meu peru, moleque.
Draw power, and I like making my opponents annoyed.
I had a feeling you were that type of player.
Yes.
Pidgeot Control, that's a tough deck to pilot.
It taught me a lot of things about understanding deck lists. Like I always had to make sure that I knew different deck lists for their like resources.
Yeah.
If I didn't, I would probably lose the game.
Yeah.
So it was a lot about just practicing, making sure I knew the lines.
No, that's great insight. That's exactly how you play Pidgeot Control.
Yeah.
The control aspect is you have to know what you're controlling, right?
Yeah.
Love it. Great answer. Great answer. For Dad, what's the best place you've been to while traveling for Pokemon?
I'd have to say. Can I get
isso aí sim.
Yeah,
mas no xadrez é outra história, né?
Fondest memories is definitely Worlds
xadrez
of
é diferente.
2024 in Honolulu, and just being able to go enjoy the island, hang out, and just be on island time, right? And then that's beautiful. And then maybe more recently going to like Merida, and then actually
take all of mine.
Oh,
what was your favorite place?
Merida. What someone was trying to take, but I did make my first finals in Merida, and after I did get to go down to Cancun and relax for a few days afterward.
Peraí que é pra lá o Albert apitou, peraí.
Little party to celebrate.
Oh, that sounds like the best party.
The mall?
All right, with that, before I do let you guys go, anyone you guys want to shout out?
Well, I'd love to shout out my sponsor, 88 Card House, and the whole team for always like helping me practice. I also want to shout out my friends, family, and my 2 coaches, Rowan Stavno and Isaiah Bradner.
Okay.
And then, lastly, I want to shout out Carter. It's also has a great team, always helping me practice.
Love it, love it. With that, best of luck in Orlando. Hopefully we get that regional win. With that, we're gonna throw it back to more Pokemon action.
Lá, falei? Vai ter realmente o Zoroark com o Gardevoir. O Zoroark tem bastante chance de ganhar.
It all comes down to this. 2 players with 1 goal, but both cannot become a champion. There can only be one here in Orlando. Welcome to Finals Championship Sunday here at the Convention Center. My name is Ethan Heggie. I am joined by Piper Lapine, and we will be crowning Orlando regional champion in just a few moments.
Yeah, it's been 2 grueling days of playing Pokemon. These tournaments take so much stamina. 14 rounds of Swiss,
Mas assim, né, underground, vamos dizer assim, menor, que eu nem sei se tem jogo, né? Se tiver, provavelmente
Speaking of those decks, we can take a look at how our top 8 metagame shaped out, which decks went all the way. As you can see, Grimmsnarl with that addition of Pokepad just doing so well in this format and at this event.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about how
Caralho,
big
teve
Pokepad
guard
has been for
só,
Mario
né? Também o tanto de
and
deck
another deck
guard
that it's really
tem
big in.
formato é
Dragapult
difícil
Dusknoir
pra
notably
guard
missing
topar,
from this
pá.
graphic. We have
Tem
Goldango and
jogar
Gardevoir on
bem
their
pra
last stands, but
caralho.
Dragapult Dusknoir, the most played deck in day 1 and day 2, not here. And this finals, we have Noah
Zoroark
and Makani.
também.
Zoroark versus Gardevoir.
3
Gardevoir's last
greens.
stand to win 1 more event against its biggest opponent, Zoroark. Really the matchup that's felt the hardest for the deck. But we did also
Eu
have
acho
Ultic
que
Box
teve
deck,
coisa do
less
Soul Eater
played
até
decks
pela
that was in the
época,
best
o
of the
ano
rest
que
on the
foi
lower
o
end.
anime.
Did end up
Foi
making it
Play
to the
2.
top 4. Noah was able to defeat it in a
PS3 já
close
teve
3-game
muito menos
series.
jogo de
And
anime.
Mega Absol
Já
Box,
começou a ficar a
Joseph
parada
there
mais
making top 8 with the
multiplataforma,
deck.
mais jogo
Has been so
americano
consistent,
mesmo,
winning 2
western,
of the
né?
regionals in
Até
North
mesmo no
America by
RPG,
Ford
né?
and
Sky e
Yuki
tal.
recently.
And talk us through that
JRPG
matchup a little bit. I
já tinha
know
dado
they
uma
featured it a
diminuída
little
no
bit on the
geral,
stream.
jogo de anime
That was a
também.
crazy game 3. I know we were
Jogo
getting
de
images of
filme
some of the stuff that was
tinha
happening out
dado
there.
uma
What went
diminuída,
down
né? Que,
when
tipo,
Makoto
Play
played up
2
against
tinha
Noah?
Game
estilo,
1 was
né?
all Makoto,
Jogo
just
baseado
taking
em
2
filme.
prize after 2 prize after 2 prize knockout, but then Noah kind of played that strategy in game 2 using Zen Zekrom to take 2 prize knockout after 2 prize knockout after 2 prize knockout in game 3. Got to a really weird board. Makoto at 2 prizes, Noah at 3. Noah's able to use the N-Star Mantan to set up some damage and then close out the game with the Flame Body Cannon, taking multiple prizes and make it to the finals against Makani Tran. One of those players, his brother won a regionals earlier in Seattle, but Makani has so many top cuts and that win has eluded him thus far.
Let's take a look and see how our bracket shaped up here in Orlando. Of course, asymmetrical top cut to start. 13 players in our top cut bracket to begin. And as things played out, we were left with just 8. Noah so far on a roll, 2-0 in top 8. Took down a close set like you mentioned in top 4.
Aquele
In the finals up against Makani, who has had a little bit more of a treacherous road throughout this top cut.
Yeah, playing against a lot of Dark-type decks, Grimmsnarl in top 8 and top 4. Also had to play that asymmetrical cut game. I don't remember exactly what we played against, but Noah first seed in the top cut. Able to dodge that, go straight to top 8, a bit of a mental reset here. Now, both players here in the finals. Interesting matchup. The Mega Diancie really comes into play here for what seems to be a Zoroark favored matchup, but Gardevoir just always has so many tricks up its sleeves. Makani beating so many dark decks to get here. In his interview, he talked about how he hit so many Grimmsnarls this event, so we'll see what he's able to put together.
It would be absolutely fitting, wouldn't it, for Gardevoir to win its final event of its lifetime here in the Pokemon TCG standard format. It's done so much. In the grand scheme of things, it's nothing crazy. It would add to the 30+ regional wins that Gardevoir has, but it would be big for Makani and it would be big for Gardevoir fans around the world.
Absolutely, but as we mentioned, Zoroark, really just something that's consistently had a good matchup into Gardevoir. So we'll see what ends up happening here. A lot of different things can come into play. Item lock, different attackers like the Mega Diancie, like we mentioned, and Zekrom, Darmanitan. A lot of ways both players can get tricky in the game and close it out.
This is going to be a very interesting matchup. Both players understanding their decks extremely well it's really going to come down to these early turns, right? How much disruption does a card like Badu have? How well can Makani get into Gardevoir? Are there turn 1 evolutions? A lot of the things that we will break down as we get into this match. Piper, I know you may have a little bit of biasness, but hedge your bets here. Is Gardevoir taking it down in its last tournament, or is Zoroark going to remain supreme?
It's really weird. I'm a fan of Gardevoir and Zoroark, so I do think Zoroark is going to be able to stop Gardevoir from that one final win, especially a list that has the aggressive potential. One of the big things is being able to prize race. Both players trying to take as many 2-prize knockouts as possible, so having stuff like that Darmanitan is going to be really big. Both players, knowing each other's lists, are going to know what the other player can do, but are they going to be able to identify when they're going to do those plays?
At the beginning of the weekend, we hedged our bets on what we thought would do well this weekend. We can show our caster predictions and see how well they've aged, and there's a consistent theme amongst our decision makers, so maybe Sablehouse here is the only one who has stake in both. Congratulations to Sablehouse. He clearly wins regardless of what happens.
I mean, there were 3 Grimmsnarls in top 8, though, so the Gardevoir and Grimmsnarl duo wasn't too bad. And Chip with the Frostlass, similarly. We did also see that Goldengo from Chris Franco with the Legacy Energy, Mega Lopunny. No Genesect DX, interestingly, make it to top 8, but did fall. A nice showing for Goldengo that has kind of been on fraud watch the last couple events. But last event, get that top 8.
I guess I'm the only one absent with a representative in my second slot for top 8, so I may be the one lacking out of the group here, it seems.
Yeah, maybe Dragapult's going on to Fraud Watch next.
You know, there's a rotation, something Crispin, Rare Candy, I don't know. I've heard good things, so we'll have to see what happens.
And yeah, Gardevoir, all of us picking it, even Juancho, who's not on here, and it's in the finals. One of its strongest believers, Makani, who's been playing it all season. So many great finishes.
There you go. Throw Juancho in there. Bye-bye, Chip, for now. We'll put you on the side for there. Yeah, look at that. Gardevoir as well, and that Goldengo EX. I think we've, gotten what we expected. I think minus the Joltik box in top 4. That was, a little bit of a surprise for everyone, but it makes sense. I mean, you have the Grimmsnarl, you have the Zoroark, you're okay into Dragapult, right? You have lines into that deck. It's really just the Gardevoir that's a bit tough, and I mean, outside of that, Goldengo is also a pretty solid matchup, so a good meta call there, and, paid off very, very well.
A lot of times we see those interesting decks make 1 or 2 slots in the top cuts. I think we had Joltik at Seattle, Raging Bolt at Toronto, and also at Seattle, I think Houston had a couple of those Frostlass Monkey Dories, which were a bit more predicted, but still a little surprising to see multiple of them. And here we have Gardevoir versus Zoroark, 2 of the most hyped decks going into Ascended. I mean, Gardevoir's just been so dominant, as we keep saying, and Zoroark with that N Zekrom, really just at the height of its power, it feels.
2 decks, but 2 of many decks in this format as we play our last event of the Ascended Heroes. We can take a look at the meta breakdown for phase number 2. So players with 16 or more match points advanced yesterday to play 1 Swiss round and 5 Swiss round. Today, 486 trainers, and out of those trainers, over 70 players, or 70 players exactly at that, played Dragapult Dusknoir, almost 15% play rate compared to some of the lower decks as they start to really fall off.
Inclusive, esse negócio da chat log aí que você comprou é o quê?
Different decks.
Yeah, a lot of Frostlass though. Both Frostlass Monkey Dory and Marnie's Grimmsnarl Frostlass making it onto the board, showing people really like that spread strategy, those ticks in between turns, and Monkey Dory. We said it, Monkey Dory is just so powerful. So many of these decks playing up to 4 copies, Guardy with 3, Dragapult even playing 1, Zoroark playing a couple, and sometimes Dengo is even playing it, sneaking it in there. Just such a powerful card with Adrenabrain and Mind Bend.
I believe we have the best of the rest as well to show some of those other decks that didn't quite make the cut. We'll see if we can put that on here. Yep, so a little bit of best of the rest. For phase number 1, you can really see how this format is super wide in terms of what decks you can play and still have success with.
Frostlass Monkey Dory leading the best of the rest in phase 1, but making it to the bottom of the main graphic for phase 2, really showing how great players are able to show their skill with the deck. And here's the best of the rest phase 2, actually switching with Mega Absol Kangaskhan being the highest in that, and we did see one making top 8. And there is that Crustle deck. We haven't really gotten to see it the last couple events, but it's been a big rogue pick. I know you played it at Houston. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, Charlie Lockyer, my savior, great player, did top 16 this event. So listen, you Crustle believers, there's still hope post-rotation. Keep you guys noted on that. But for now, we'll start to rein things back in. No more monkey business. There will be monkey doors between both of these players, but that's besides the point. Gardevoir EX up against Zoroark. This is going to be one for the ages.
Yeah, both players starting to look at each other's lists, kind of getting that confirmation. Gardevoir has become pretty standard, so you have an idea, but now you get to see those techs. Makani playing that Technical Machine Devolution, that Mega Diancie, a couple of different cards, and then Noah, Makani is now going to know that Noah doesn't have the Ends Reshiram, which we've said time and time again, really important for understanding when you can just hit into a Zoroark, because now you don't have to worry about the Reshiram knocking out your Mega Diancie.
Well, the stage is set. We've hyped it up all we can. Let's get into this here. Our finals match at the Orlando Regional Championships, and throw things down to the stage where we can meet our two competitors.
Yep, here we have Noah Sakajian on the left, Makani Tran on the right. Fantastic players, both doing great at Seattle. Noah top 16, Makani top 32. Noah also had a great tear at the end of the year last season. Top 4 Utrecht, top 32 NAIC, and top 32 Worlds. But Makani this season, so many great finishes. Top 16 Vegas, a couple top 32s, and top 8 at UIC. What an amazing season for Makani.
And you can see this is a crucial time exchanging information from the decks, and our players are laughing, all smiles and having fun. You'll love to see that here in the Pokemon TCG, even in these high-stakes matches.
I'd imagine there's some surprises, some expected outcomes, and they're just kind of confirming stuff. I know that the open deck list is really fun to play with. Sometimes just talk about mid-game what the other person's playing.
Makani had a little bit of a stumble, a lot of consistent caches, and then fell a bit in Houston, I believe making the top 128. Locked himself back in, focused, concentrated, and is now here in the finals where he looks to join his brother this season as a regional champion.
Definitely an amazing storyline. We'll see if the script writers have it in the script ready. But Noah with Zoroark ready to challenge Gardevoir for that final win of its last event.
Quick to talk about some of the dynamics. What are some key cards over on Makani's side that could be impactful in the early game against Zoroark?
The Frillish can really shut down the board if you can find your way into it early, but once Noah has the Zoruas and Zoroarks into play, it's not going to be super impactful.
É competitivo,
Technical Machine Devolution, but as
eu notei isso.
He's really going to be looking
É
to use that Diancie
competitivo.
to start
Eu até
getting
tô também,
knockouts,
mas eu
while
sou
using
bem de
Iono
boa
to make it
até.
hard for him to find boss's orders.
A não ser que eu for muito locado e ir pra ganhar mesmo, mas isso é muito raro. Eu não sirvo pra competir de verdade. Eu gosto de brincar.
HP, taking minus 30 damage for attacks can be really difficult to deal with. Tarmanitan can also be a really big piece to take multiple prize cards.
Eu aprendi a relaxar mais, tá ligado? Quando eu jogava muito focado, eu jogava muito com cara de puto, né? Sei lá, eu sentia que eu rendia menos. Os campeonatos que eu joguei melhor na vida foram os campeonatos que eu joguei fundo foda-se. O melhor campeonato que eu joguei no caguei, assim.
Holtnor, Grimmsnarl, all these decks try to Itchy Paw and Gardevoir. But Gardevoir still able to stand strong, setting up Monkey Dories and Gardevoirs through Technical Machine Evolution. Some people playing Turbo Energize. But here we'll see if
Mas tem
Noah
gente
goes
que
to
é
Itchy
assim
Paw
mesmo.
and if it will
Tem
stand
gente
some
que
more
tenta
games.
pra jogar, parece que nem respira, tá ligado?
Take a look at the prize cards for
A pessoa
game
parece
number
um murão, ela
one.
nem respira.
What pieces are available, what pieces are unavailable. Nothing too crazy. And there are double
Boa noite,
turbo
Pedro.
prizes for Noah.
One is near the bottom, and they don't become impactful till a little bit later, but that one Night Stretcher could be a little annoying, as we saw in that top 8 match where Joseph was really targeting Noah's resources. There are only 2 Night Stretchers, but on Makani's side, a
Que isso? Regional de Pokémon
making it really difficult for him to have
TCG.
Gardevoir after Gardevoir, especially since Noah has
O
easy
último
one-shot
antes da
defense
rotação
and
que vem
easy
semana
access
que
to boss
vem.
orders through trade and playing 3.
Adeus, Gardevoir do
And we are
formato.
ready, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the here.
Não
Masters
só
Finals
Gardevoir, né?
at the
Mas
Orlando Regional
principalmente
Championships.
Gardevoir.
Makani kicking things off. Is there a Ralts in this hand? I'm not sure there is.
Yeah, just a Screamtail and a Psychic Energy. If Makani doesn't
Ah, mas
use
sempre
Screamtail,
tem,
though,
né?
Noah
As brigas
could
imbecil
find a
sempre
Emoji
tem, né?
Petra and take a turn 1 knockout with
É.
Scratch.
Okay, wow. That is definitely a potential
Esse
option.
cara é muito
Pretty
burro.
unlikely,
E olha que
but
eu gosto
something
pra
like a
caralho
Seahawks,
de
just
Yu-Gi-Oh, tá
giving you all
ligado?
those
Mas
pieces
eu
as castle
entendo
to
quem
retreat,
gosta
as
mais de
for the Petra
Pokémon, quem
and
gosta
the
mais de
Emoji.
outro. Assim
See
como
what
também
Noah decides to
Magic,
do.
tá
Really
ligado?
gonna want to get into that Budu this
Os
turn and
similares,
Ichiban after
tá ligado?
Makani's terrible turn 1.
Looks like maybe forced to play a Iono.
É que
and yeah, it's just gonna be
principalmente
that.
o
So the
Yu-Gi-Oh!
end
sendo um
castle coming down,
TCG
allowing
que
Zoro to retreat for
funciona
free.
totalmente diferente dos
Here's the
demais,
Iono.
é muito
If
difícil
Noah can
comparar.
find Pecharunt plus the tool,
Eu não digo nem na questão de melhor ou pra pior, porque realmente ele é muito diferente.
Binding Mochi, unfortunate.
Finds a buddy poppin'.
Yes, but does find buddy poppin', and at minimum, that's still more than
Pokémon
okay in
em
this
si
spot. Since he
também,
can use
tá
that
ligado?
on turn 1, so strong going
Porque
second.
por mais que exista terreno pra, tipo no Magic, né, que é a sua energia pra ele fazer as cartas funcionar, é totalmente diferente do conceito de como energia funciona no Pokémon, sabe?
Energies. Not sure if there's a supporter yet. Noah here just doing a prize check, making sure he doesn't have 2 Zekrom's prize, as we've seen time and time again.
Those Mochis are in the deck this time. Prize cards have not been Noah's friend throughout this tournament, it seems.
Yeah, 2 Turbo prize is not great, but not the worst compared to those Zekroms. So here, just grabbing that Buddy, moving into Itchy Pollen. Connie getting the damage ready. Ends Castle really helping Noah with the mobility, not having to discard that energy.
Qualquer
threatening an easy attack on
ninguém, nenhum TCG consegue ganhar de Pokémon financeiramente pra jogar até a níveis competitivos mesmo, não é nem só pra brincar, né? A níveis competitivos, de fato, porque, cara, Pokémon é nacional e o calendário de lançamento de produto de Pokémon é muito forte. Por exemplo, o melhor deck que vai ter da próxima temporada... Acabou ou não?
The game is over on turn 2 in finals. Are you kidding me?
Insane. Just showing the power of Badu in this early game, stopping your...
Meu amigo, esse foi o game mais rápido que eu já vi. O cara, nossa, o cara donkou bonito. Esse foi o game 1 mais rápido que eu já vi em live, né? Em live. Na vida, se eu já vi isso acontecer também. Já, inclusive, aconteceu comigo e eu fiz isso no cara já. É raro, mas acontece. Caralho, numa final é broxante, velho. Nossa, que amassa. Ou numa final é broxante. O cara perdeu, piscou e perdeu.
See if it'll follow suit, or if Makani will be able to get evolution, set up some Curlias.
Agora pra ele voltar, vai ser difícil. Guarda de guard ainda, puta merda, ganhar 2 de Zoroark agora vai ser pedrada. Mas boa sorte no guard. Vai precisar. Enfim, sim, tem e ele não é gacha. Bom, se você for considerar que abre booster, até é. Só que o Live, né, que é o TCG Live, ele é tão de boa em te dar booster só por jogar. Se eu tô pra jogar, ele te dá um monte de deck pré-pronto, deck atual, tá? Pra você brincar. E só de você jogar, você vai ganhando booster. Você monta qualquer deck do jogo lá. Qualquer deck do jogo lá com facilidade. Você pode craftar carta também. Tá ligado? Você pode craftar carta também. Pulador do competitivo, basicamente. Então, tipo, você pode jogar ele na moralzinha lá e aprender nele também, sabe? Quando eu tava treinando uma época pra ir pra campeonatos aqui na região, eu usava bastante ele.
Yeah, it's not as bad as a prize as compared to something like Grimstone, where it's orbiting out that secret box.
Pokémon, muita gente coleciona porque a full art de Pokémon são muito bonitas. Tem gente que nem joga, tem gente que só coleciona. As cartas de Pokémon são muito bonitas. São muito bonitas mesmo, tá ligado? Então, tipo, a Maria mesmo, ela coleciona a maior parte das cartas. Até não com arte, até a padrão tem uma que ela gosta muito da arte e ela guarda, tá ligado? Eu tenho uma pasta lotada já de cartas de Pokémon que ela resolveu colecionar partes, tá ligado? Além dos decks, né, que eu tenho montado. E, tipo, contando com o tanto que eu gastei de Yu-Gi-Oh! Na vida, o que eu gastei com Pokémon até que foi bem ok, tá ligado? Gastei bem ok pra quantidade de coisa que eu obtive.
Makani basically just got to go first, but with the advantage of playing a supporter.
So complete opposite narrative so far. We'll see what Noah can put together. Is guaranteed a basic thanks to that Artisan. Monkey Dory does come down.
Mas que nem eu tava falando. O Dragapult é o deck que vai ficar tipo, forte pra caralho. Ele já é forte agora, mas ele vai ficar muito mais forte, né? Mais estável ainda na próxima formato, né? A próxima rotação que vai vir agora semana que vem. É cultural do Dragapult. Tipo, ele vem com quase tudo que você precisa pra jogar, sem que você comprando uma coisinha ou outra fora. Sabe quanto custa esse deck do Dragapult? R$100. 120 no máximo. Você compra isso e gasta o quê? Mas sei lá, 80 pontos, tu tem um deck pra jogar meta, velho.
Where both players only play in 2 of their stadium of
Em
choice.
que outro
And having that
TCG
castle is really big
você gastaria
against
R$200 e montaria um deck tier 1, tá ligado?
Gust something up and trap it like the Darmanitan with 3 retreat. So having these ways to move and keep pressuring the Gardevoir player to
Sim,
prize
é
cards,
importante ter com quem jogar.
and really help.
Não, você fica lá com o deck parado, né?
It's gonna be Zorua. Was debating
É
grabbing that
importante ter...
Darumaka.
Se você não for um colecionador, óbvio, né?
I think he just
O
realized the
colecionador,
Artisan play
beleza,
can just
né?
grab it
Mas
whenever
se
he
for pra
wants this turn,
jogar,
not needing to nest ball for
tem
it.
que ter uma galera. Tem que for uma galerinha, tá ligado? Tem que for uma galerinha assim de 3, 4 players que joga assiduamente.
Believe there was an Iono in hand. You really want to be playing Lilies when possible at 6 prizes. Oh, there is a Lilies. Okay. So this hand is actually really solid.
And another Zorua.
Energy attachment. Lily's determination, yet to use the Artisan, so pending how strong these 8 cards look, we could still see an Itchy Pollen from Noah on his side.
Yeah, just looking for something like that Ends Castle to move, or could technically find Petron and then retreat that energy from
Então,
Zorua.
tem isso também, não tem um espaço atrapalha. Porque eu digo isso que, por exemplo, quando eu comecei a jogar, não tinha loja aqui na minha cidade também. O que aconteceu foi, eu e mais 3 amigos do curso técnico, né, que a gente estudava junto, começamos a papear de Yu-Gi-Oh! E aí deu vontade de nós jogar. Primariamente a gente se reunia em casa com carta pirata. Arranjando umas cartas piratas e jogava pirata. Aí nós pegamos e deu na pilha. Não, vamos montar deck original? Vamos atrás das cartas original? Vamos pesquisar quanto que é? E aí nós achamos uma loja online que tinha. Aí nós comprava de lá da loja online, esperava vir nos correios e aí montou um par de decks. E aí nós começamos a jogar entre nós.
We are seeing this
Aí, enquanto tava todo mundo jogando,
Darumaka comes down to the bench.
Tava da hora, tá ligado?
Pass over of the turn. Makani with
E foi longe isso, fizemos isso por mais de um ano. Aí depois nós fomos descobrir que tinha recém-aberto uma lojinha de carta na cidade. Aí nós começamos a frequentar a lojinha. Aí lá eu conheci uma porrada de gente. Fui indo pra campeonato na região com esses caras, tá ligado? Porque eu fiquei sabendo que tinha campeonato na região. Aí já tava jogando faz tempo já, né?
Noah could boss and Flame Body Cannon, taking out both.
Mas depende muito da local, né? Depende muito da onde mora, depende como que é o jogo ali. Quantas pessoas estão jogando, né? Porque às vezes até tem gente jogando, mas como não tem um espaço para o pessoal se reunir,
But for Noah, there are 2 Zorks going to the bottom of the deck, and if Makani does item lock, could be a little bit difficult to find. He does have that free shuffle from the Artisan.
Cara, Pokémon é excelente. E não é nem fazendo merchan que eu tô assistindo, não. Eu tô dizendo a real. Pokémon, ele abraça muito bem quem quer começar. Tanto em custo quanto em regra. Ele não é difícil de aprender. Ele é simplório pra caralho de aprender. Ele é muito bom. Pokémon é excelente pra quem tá começando. Pra quem tá voltando também, né? Tipo, jogava TCG há muito tempo. Agora não manjo mais nada de nenhum.
Force yourself to find a Turo if you need to bench something like that Petrunt later, or if you want Fezandipity for a bit extra draw. And Makani, with no Dark Energies on Monkey Dories, means that Mega Diancie won't even be threatening the Zorak. But as we mentioned, with Noah not playing that Ends Reshiram.
É aquela coisa, velho. Eu acho que compensa se você tem muito interesse, tá ligado? Se tem algo que te traz de volta. Eu mesmo no Magic, eu quase que eu volto a jogar. Eu quase que eu volto por causa da coleção de Final Fantasy que teve no Magic. Mano, a coleção foi linda. Um monte de carta bonita, deck temático, da hora pra caralho. Uma hora que eu vi o preço, tá ligado? Eu falei, não, o preço me afastou de voltar, tá ligado? E com isso aqui eu compro umas 2 boxes de Pokémon tranquilo, então não esquece. O Final Fantasy quase me fisgou de volta pro Magic, mas eu larguei mão por causa do preço.
So if Makani keeps using these Ionos, he's going to run out, and then Noah's just going to have complete access to his deck at the end of the game. Zorak, known for its strength in building hands, Noah may just be able to build and amass all the cards he needs in his hand to close out the game and Makani may be unable to find those disrupts because each time you play an Iono, you're less
Caralho,
able to
and there it is, the flare to take the KO. Darumaka getting in there with some style as Noah takes the first prize card in game number 2.
Darumaka is definitely my favorite attacker for
Essa
Zora.
paradinha aí do
Great
Vendo
to
Sara
see
é
it.
cover
It's come in and out of the
personalizada.
deck in place of Toad Scroll
Cara,
for
que
Goldango.
bonito.
But now Makani, using that third Iono, only has one left for the rest of the game.
Ah, esse Easy Flash,
Not prize,
inclusive,
but
é pra
it's gonna
você
be so difficult to
colocar,
find. May have
tipo,
to use the secret
cartão.
box, which
Você
looks
bota
like
o
he drew
jogo no
off of
PC e
Iono.
bota nele.
So may be able to put together a Candy Gardevoir play.
It'll be a little bit easier with this flip the script ability off Pheasantipity since that Pokemon was knocked out on the previous turn. Can draw 3 additional cards.
Ah, não, não, não.
At the same time, now
Mas
you're
aí,
putting a
é o
two-prizer in play
R4
with
dele, eu não
210
sei
HP.
se um R4
Time to get knocked out by
especificamente
the
dele.
Rampaging
Cara.
Thunder from N Zekrom. And we know that Noah had a lot of bosses
Então,
to
o
the bottom of
Yugi
the deck.
realmente ele é
In
um
his
jogo
secret
de
box surprise, so he
legado.
may struggle to
Você
find
vai
that investing
voltar na
effect.
atualidade,
Pheasantipity is
você
kind
tem
of
que ter
always
uma
there unless
disposição
Makani
para aprender
has a
tudo
turret
que
scenario,
ficou para
but
trás,
he's not
tudo que
disrupting.
você não
Also
acompanhou.
only has one Iono
E a
left,
maioria
so
que não
we'll see how
acompanhou
it goes
mal
from there.
viu a GX direito, mal sabe de fusão.
Vessel, there
Então,
are
se
just
aprender
3 Psychic
síncro, se
Energy in the discard
aprender Exceed, se aprender
lined up.
Link,
Not sure there's
se
any way
aprender
to
pêndulo, tá
KO
ligado?
Zoroark, but can maybe
É
put
uma
some
carga meio
pressure
pesada, eu
onto that
entendo quem se
Darumaka on the
assusta e
bench. Is that the
afasta,
best
tá
target
ligado?
for
Logo
Makani
de
on this turn?
cara.
Pressuring the Darumaka
Entendo
is really strong. As if you
perfeitamente.
tackle Screamtail and have all these rolls on your
Bastante
bench, it could be
coisa.
2 prizes for Noah. But Noah already at odd prizes is fine, just taking the 1 prize knockout. Could maybe try to mine
O
that
Master
Zoroark,
Duel
force Noah to
dependeu
have
da
him
época
up in Dark
também. Se
Energy,
você
especially because he
pegava
did just
mais
Iono
ou
him.
menos o primeiro ano do
Or
Master
Petrarch would
Duel,
also get
ainda
the job
dava
done.
pra você
If you
tentar
could bump the
aprender,
stadium would be a little bit
porque
more
o
effective.
meta do primeiro ano do Master
confirming
Duel
everything
ainda
is
dava
play.
oportunidade pra você testar
no.
coisas.
Looks like Noah drew an extra
Tipo,
card off
os
Iono,
rankings mais
6 and 5.
baixos eram de fato
Took a prize
rankings
last
mais
turn
baixos.
off
Eram
that
pessoas
Monkey Dory, I
usando
believe. Oh,
decks que eles
Frillish.
gostavam. Pessoas voltando
We are
pro
gonna have
jogo com
another
um deck mais
situation here, it
fraco,
seems.
tá ligado? Depois do
Sometimes it's
primeiro
hard to stay
ano,
locked in on these big
o
matches,
jogo,
but
na
this is where
verdade,
it matters
tinha
the
acabado o
most.
primeiro ano já. O
Standard
jogo já estava muito
issue
mais
should be a
voltado à
double prize
meta
card
mesmo.
penalty. That's
Logo
typically
nos
how these
primeiros
things
anos
resolve,
você já catava
we'll
a
let
cara
the
com
judges
deck
step in and do
meta.
their work.
Ele poderia
Give you
jogar
guys
mal,
updates once
mas
we
ele tava
have
com
them.
deck meta,
It'll
tá
probably
ligado?
depend on how
Aí
much
você
information
queria
is
só
gained
jogar
and
e
if the
curtir
judges
com
are
teu
able to
deck
revert
ali
it.
pra voltar a
Since it is
jogar e
on stream, there
aprender,
is a
tá
chance it's able to be
fudido.
reverted,
E você não teria
but
chance
there is
contra
no
esse
guarantee,
cara.
and it's up to the judges.
Então aí o jogo
They're the
começou a ficar mais
professionals, and they know
pesado
what they're
nesse
doing.
fator. E aí, como eu falei,
We're
eu
gonna
até
sort this
sei
out
sobre
once
isso
we
quando eu
have
gravava
the
os vídeos.
conclusion as we're
Isso
back
desmotiva
on
muito
what
o
appears to
novato,
be
tá
that
ligado?
Iono.
Porque, cara,
Things-
ranking de gente burra
Yeah, this
é
is
pra
a
nego fazer
interesting spot.
cagada, usar
Makani
deck
does,
bosta mesmo, tá ligado? Pra
or is
aprender.
rather able to
Se até
go in
no
with
ranking de
Hurricane
gente
Gardevoir.
burra os
Very
caras tá
curious to see what
tryhardando,
attack of choice is
fácil
best
pra
in this
aprender.
spot, right? That Screamtail.
Ah, mas é
KO the
ranked, Elias.
Darumaka, but
Foda-se,
there's just a
mano.
knockout lined
Tu
up.
tem que ter um
and that
espacinho, tá
Pheasantipity is
ligado?
prime for the
Os
taking
rankings
this
já
round
tem
later on.
categoria pra isso mesmo.
Makani here really
Se
has to
você já quer
decide if he's
tryhardar
going to
desde o
play for
primeiro
something
rank,
like
pau no
Technical
teu
Machine
cu, cara.
Devolution play
Vai
later
se
on,
fuder, tá
or
ligado?
try to prize race with Mega
Então,
DNC.
isso
Screamtail may
desmotiva.
just be a little too slow,
Saca?
knocking out the
Aí a
Darumaka,
fórmula do jogo já complica
and
tudo.
could eventually be something where a Monkey Dory is able to knock it out on Noah's turn.
Deu
And imagine if he gets the Adrenabrain to knock out that Screamtail, and then a Flame Body Cannon to take 2 more prize cards. That's just 3 prize cards in 1 turn. So a lot of options for Noah if Makani has the Screamtail early. So may see him go with something
Caralho,
like
mas
that
os caras
Mega
estão
DNC, but
tomando
it's
tudo
also
pra
not
esse
super
lote
easy
contra
to
esses
find,
caras, velho.
especially down in Nest Ball already.
And it is confirmed a 2 prize card penalty for Noah for drawing that extra card. So Makani now
Ah, ele
only
comprou
needs to
uma
take
carta
4
a
prize cards
mais.
in order to win the second
Puta
game.
que pariu.
It's going to be very helpful for Makani because it seems like
Mano, final,
he isn't going to be
velho.
able to take a
Final,
2
o
prize
cara
knockout
dá
this
uma
turn, but
dessa é
definitely pressure the
foda.
Zoroark and take those 4 prizes. The Mega DNC is just going to be so powerful.
Tô
for
ligado que
that.
acontece, às vezes você puxa e vê uma
We'll see
mamãe,
if
mas
this changes what
porra.
Makani's going to go for. May just start to take prizes aggressively. Here, Earth and Vestling getting a Dark Energy, trying trying to get those Adrenabrains set up. As mentioned before, if you don't have any Monkey Dories in play, you're not threatening that Mega Dancey one-hit KO, as you need to be able to move 40 damage to the Zoroark, which is 2 Adrenabrains.
There is
Mas
the
tá,
ultimo,
mesmo que
so
o cara
Gardevoir
seja
EX can
Smurf
be
em
found,
Yugi,
and that
por
secret box
exemplo,
will guarantee.
vai depender mais do
Or
deck que ele
doesn't
vai
even need it,
montar,
just
tá
has the
ligado?
rare candy in hand. Wow.
Vai depender muito mais do deck que
Here we
ele
go,
vai
Psychic
montar em
Embrace onto
si,
Monkey
saca?
Dory. It's actually
Porque
going to be that
experiência
Mind
ele vai
Bend, as
ter.
you mentioned,
Isso aí é
putting on
legal,
some
a
disruptive
experiência do
pressure,
jogo
as
ele já
well
vai
as that
ter
dark
mesmo.
energy to start to set up a potential technical machine devolution. Mind Bend, 60 damage, brings the Zoroark up to 190 HP remaining, as things pass back over to Noah.
And if Noah can
Mas
put
o que
together...
ferra ali
take a
mesmo de
two-prize knockout this
verdade
turn, he's not out of it yet. There's a lot of things that
é
Zoroark
os caras ficar
can do,
apelando
especially
pro
with the
deck
Flame Body
mesmo, tá
Cannon.
ligado?
If Makani goes ahead on prizes,
No
can use
rank baixo,
counter
isso
counter
aí
binding
mata
motion
demais.
black belt to knock
O
out
quê?
his The
Como
Gardevoir
o
EX
nível, o
Flame
Master
Body
Duel
Cannon
tava
from
em
the Zord.
alta, eu aproveitei para
Pieces,
fazer
see if
vídeo.
you can put it
O que
together.
eu fazia?
Ultra Ball to start things off that can
A
find the
pessoa, né,
Darmanitan.
que tava acompanhando a live e
also be looking
tal,
for something
quando
like
viu
the
gravando os
Petron
vídeos, podia
to
falar, ô Elias,
reset the
faz
Zord.
deck de Hero. Como que o deck de
But
Hero
hang
tá
up
na
that Darmanitan,
qualidade?
like he
Qual a
said.
melhor versão
Tough
do
this
Hero?
last bench spot.
Mesmo
There's
que o
a
Hero
lot of
fosse
stress
um
on what you
lixo,
want to play
eu
down
ia
here.
atrás,
That Petron,
pesquisava
as
a
you mentioned,
lista,
the Monkey Dory to start
montava.
peeling some damage off.
No
Can't have them
próximo
all, though.
dia já tinha
Noah
um
knows
vídeo
about that
de eu
technical machine
explicando
evolution
como
from
funcionava o
Makani, so has to
deck,
be always
carta
careful
por
of that, wiping
carta,
his board out
tal,
all
e
the
mostrando
draw
partidas
attackers.
jogando ranqueada
Makani already with one
contra a
Adrenaline.
galera. Eu sempre jogava
See
os
what
ranking
attack
mais
Noah
do
tries
início,
to
eu
use.
criava uma
Here's a
conta nova
trade.
pra isso.
You'll have 3 of these available.
Porque era
so
pra
still plenty
mostrar
of
o
options
início
for
do
Noah this
jogo, tá
turn.
ligado? Pelo menos pra
Using
galera
that
começar a
ultra
aprender.
trade was
Porque,
just to shuffle the
mas
deck.
aí
There were a
não
lot of cards
é.
Noah's
Não
hand, like
ficaria
Black Borders,
irreal porque você tá
probably wants
jogando
to see
contra
here.
noob. Então,
So
se
while
o cara tá
people wanted
pedindo
to
ajuda
discard
de um
cards, then
deck mais
trading, searching out
inicial,
their
de um
Darmanitan,
deck
it
que
is
não é
just to try to
meta,
find those cards
cara,
represented
eu não
on
vou
from
pegar o
Makani's Iono.
deck e competir
The
contra
effect
os
of
caras lá
Iono,
do
speaking of
ouro,
which, being
tomar
discarded
uma
off trade
surra
number 2.
4, 5 vezes e ganhar
Something
uma
like
e depois
Ben's
vir no vídeo e
PvP
falar, o deck é
in the
uma
hand
bosta,
would be
tá
an impactful
ligado?
card.
Não
Trade
teria
number
nem
3 will get rid of
sentido eu gravar
another
um vídeo
supporter card,
desse.
another Lily's
Então o que eu
Determination.
fazia? Eu pegava justamente contra os caras do ranking inicial, subia até o prata, né? Que é a segunda categoria lá. E aí falava do deck, tá ligado? Falava o potencial que ele tinha de subir ranked e tudo mais.
You can reset
Você
it and
mandava
get
real
that
do
Zekrom
deck,
off the board
explicava
or
ele.
get the 20 damage off the
Cara,
Zekrom.
perto dos últimos vídeos tava ficando inviável, porque eu só catava
Resetting
meta.
the confusion
Aí
off
como é que
the
você ganha
Zord
com um
and
deck
Kuro, get that 20 damage off the board.
podre, vamos dizer
Replay the
assim, de
Zekrom
tema,
if
que
he
não é
wants and
tão
does that.
forte,
Just trying to play
catando
around
só
that
meta
Iron
nos
from
rank
Makani.
baixo.
And it is going to be Flame Body
Não
Cannon,
dá,
so
tá
2
ligado?
prize
Os
cards
caras já
taken for
pediam um
Noah,
deck meio
dealing 90
merda,
damage to
tá
the
ligado?
active and
E
90
já
to
era
the
um
bench.
desafio
Takes
ganhar
it out, Ignis,
partida
Monkey Dory
indiferente
goes
ser
down.
meta.
And
Aí
while
o cara tava
Gardevoir
meta
stays
contra,
in
tinha umas pra
play,
fazer milagre ainda, tinha umas que eu
is
conseguia
now just 3
ganhar.
prize cards away from
Yeah.
winning the second game,
Mas é
which
difícil.
would crown him the champion of the Orlando Regional Championship.
Aí eu parei de gravar, né?
Knocking out that
Aí
Ralts,
ficou inviável
Makani
pra
has to be
ele.
careful of benching another Ralts because of Flame Body Cannon, but also if you don't bench another Ralts, the Gardevoir EX could just get knocked out. And Noah drawing that secret box out the prize cards, Makani with 3 Iono in the discard. It's going to be really hard to disrupt that.
Meu
We'll see
amigo,
what happens.
mesmo
A
com
little
o
bit of
prize
discussion with the
lote
judges there.
ali, o
Seems
cara
like the
tá
deck may not have
pressionando.
been shuffled, so just want to double check and confirm everything is
Capaz de
good.
ganhar, hein?
There's the draw for
Capaz de
turn.
ganhar.
Is sitting on secret
Ele tá
box and
pressionando
that Pheasant
muito,
Divinity
mano.
flip
Ó
the
a
script.
mesa do caboclo.
Start things out with that. 3 additional cards
Tá
drawn. Just see
minúsculo.
how powerful this ability is in Gardevoir EX.
And now Makani has to ask, do you use that 4th Iono now? He only needs to take 2 2-prize knockouts to win the game. And if you do it with something like Mega DNC, while it could get knocked out, if you're Ionoing Noah to 3, might be a little difficult for him to put together.
With a Bravery Charm, is the math still there?
Let's see, 320 HP, taking minus 30 from the ability. That's 350 effective HP, so depends on how much damage stays onto that DNC. If it's 20, then it is possible for Noah. Or if there's damage left on Noah's board to Adrenabrain, it'd be possible, but still very
Pokémon Trading Card
Makani is
Game
looking to set up a
Live.
second Monkey Dory with a Dark Energy, and it will be very
Se
possible
você
thanks to this
pesquisar
secret
por
box.
Pokémon
You can find the
TCG
Artisan to help
Live,
that ends
você vai
Castle,
achar.
Earthen
Eu acho
Vessel
que
if
na
there's still
Steam
one
não
left in the
tem.
deck. That can grab the Darkness
Ele
Energy.
não abre na Steam, você tem que baixar o
Yeah,
launcher
here,
sozinho
using the
dele.
Technical Machine
É um launcher
Evolution,
próprio.
so you have the Bravery
Se
Charm already in
pesquisar,
his
você vai
hand,
achar.
tying up that 4th Iono.
I think with the Earthen Vessel being prized, there may not be another one remaining in the deck.
Yeah, and instead goes for the Lily's Determination. Makani still at 6 prizes, will be able to draw 8 off of it and really reset the hand while keeping that Iono in the deck for the future if he needs. Still thinking about it, what item he wants to grab. There's so many options. I think he wanted that Earthen Vessel, but now seeing that it's not there, it's one of those cards that you don't really
Dá pra
prize check early
enxergar
on,
bonitinho,
so it
né?
doesn't come up super early or super often. Has a super odd potentially eyeing up double Monkey Dory from the discard
Se você
pile.
pesquisar por
Those back in,
TCG Live,
Dark Energy,
você
those
já
can
vai
also be shuffled
achar.
back. We'll actually
Pokémon
put back one of the
TCG
Ralts
acima, né?
potentially just to make sure
Live.
Gardevoir EX is a threat to
Você
be
já
put
vai
back
achar.
online. There's the Mega Diancie, so we are going in with this Pokemon. Pokemon. Nest Ball for Monkey Dory. Artisan can find another Pokemon.
Has the Bravery Charm in hand already, and last card in hand is a Lily's Determination. 8 brand new cards. Makani here probably just deciding if he wants to use this Artisan before the Lily's Determination or decide after.
Big question here. If Makani is not able to find either a Dark Energy or a Psychic Energy, then, as you mentioned, this Diancie would actually be in range of being KO'd.
Depends how much damage is left on it this turn. But Noah here has a Dark Energy on this Zoroark, and his hand isn't disrupted. He drew the Secret Box off the prize cards last turn, so we'll see what combination of cards he'll be able to put together. Makani now down a rare candy. So if this Gardevoir gets knocked out, well, Makani would only need 2 more prizes to win the game. It would be pretty difficult to put together another rare candy Gardevoir and knock out on Zoroark.
Here we go. Big 8 cards for Makani. Can he find that Dark Energy on the Monkey Dory to get yet another Adrenabrain online? See, no Earthen Vessel yet, so just has to draw into it. And right away, first card in the hand finds that Dark Energy.
And a Gardevoir EX for next turn, just needing the rare candy if this one gets knocked out. But he could also, we see Makani game after game plan around everything, so he has to be careful of giving those extra energies to the Diancie though, because then it could get knocked out this turn. Playing that Technical Machine Devolution, realizing it's not a way he needs to win this game. Just take 2 prize knockout, then 2 prize knockout, something out of the deck in case Noah decides to Iono.
Mas dá pra jogar com quem joga no celular também. Se quiser jogar no celular também é
just to
possível.
find the other one. Bit of proactive thinning here for Makani.
Yeah, grabbing that Kirlia means that if Noah Ionos, it's going straight to the bottom of the deck, and Makani won't be able to draw it. So just prepping to make sure he has the highest odds to win the game on the following turn, depending on whatever Noah does. Very proactive play from Makani.
Now Kirlia in the hand. Mega Diancie primed and ready to show off its powerful ray. That Garland ray at that puts some respect on Mega Diancie's name. Here it comes, double Psychic Embrace. Gardevoir EX allowed to retreat now, thanks to that retreat cost being fulfilled. So 4 damage counters there, and we'll see how many energy Makani decides to put on this active. I assume it will be 3, but we'll have to see if it's more potentially.
And Mega Diancie has it's been out since Phantasmal Flames, but has only really been seen play in Jealous and Gardevoir. But now with Zoroark's Rise to Power, it's been a great response to both Zoroark and even Grimmsnarl. All of these Dark-type decks really struggle to deal with high HP and the -30 damage. But yep, as you said, 3 energies onto this Mega Diancie. We'll see where he chooses to move damage on those. Has to be a little careful with the damage on the Gardevoir and potential Darmanitan Flame Body Cannon plays, but 40 should be safe.
Now just making sure that if this Gardevoir EX is KO'd, there's enough damage counters on some of these Pokemon to be able to KO this last Zoroark. You only need to move 4 damage counters over, and I think this will probably signal the leaving of everything off of the active and then moving nothing from the bench. So and go is actually going to leave 10 on just to make sure that Pokemon is safe and at least can have 1 more Psychic Embrace, it seems.
Makani here has 1 energy on the Diancie and 4 damage counters on that Ralts and 2 energies in this card, so no trapping the Gardevoir play. Ready to just take a knockout on a Zoroark on the next turn. See what Noah's able to put together. Like we said, wasn't hand disrupted. See what he decides to do. Thinking about what to promote.
310.
Got some chants out in the crowd right now. We hear you.
E ele jogar pra cima com aquele mote ali,
ó. See what's going
mais
on.
faixa preta ele fecha.
I think he's just trying to figure out
Dá pra fechar.
there's anything outside of KOing Gardevoir. The tough part about this situation is Noah can't even play counter catcher to bring up Gardevoir because of this 2 prize card penalty.
Makani at 4 prizes in the game, but only needing 2 more to win the game here. Really putting Noah in an awkward position. Had such a great start, but that double prize card penalty really just harming his win chances in this game.
And Zoroark EX with that Dark Energy does come into the active spot.
Ele pode bater de Darma Johnson ali e tirar 2, mas aí ele perde na volta, né?
Maybe going for some Budu play, but then you just get Adrenabrain knocked out and potentially Turo and Screamtail on Makani's turn. But if Noah has any play, he has a Secret Box, can find it. Yep, there's Secret Box, discarding the Cyrano. Not going to be used anytime soon. And discarding that Festivity. Maybe not 3 more cards is always great, but it is something that can get knocked out without any Adrenabrains.
The biggest issue is you can't just swing into this Mega Diancie. That's just game on board. So how do you go about things? Is it going to have to be some sort of boss's orders? It feels like that's the only answer.
It could be something like boss's orders on that Monkey Dory, one of those Monkey Dories, because if Makani only has 1 monkey, then he is unable to use those 2 Adrenabrains, move 40 damage to the Zoroark, and knock it out with the Garland Ray. So he'd need to find a way to get a Monkey Dory into play, because Noah has that Ends Castle to bump the Artisan, as well as a Dark Energy. But the issue is you can't Iono at the same time. So maybe here Noah just going in with the backdraft to set up some damage onto the Diancie. And Iono to prevent counter catcher.
Wouldn't change much. This Diancie would only take 30 damage because of that ability on there. Unless you were able to... How many energy are there in the discard pile? Looks like, yeah, just 2. So it would only do 30 times 2, 60, minus the ability on Diancie.
É que eu falei que eu ia
Really
ver
allowing you
anime
to
ali com
progress
ela. Tô só esperando
anywhere.
acabar o
We're going to see
campeonato.
the energy put onto this Darmanitan. What is he cooking?
Maybe boss's orders on something like that. Ralts with only with 30 HP remaining, forcing Makani to have the counter catcher down the secret box, and an Arven or two might be a little difficult, and a counter catcher prize. So Makani may not be able to even find that counter catcher. But and down the Bravery Charm means no Screamtail to put a ton of energies on there and then knock out this Enzorg. Oh no, it just concedes.
Yeah, and that 2 prize penalty just too much of a hill to overcome. Noah picks up his cards, and ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a game
Eu achei que ele ia fazer
number
uma jogadona ali.
Makani being able to take down a game against Zorg. Typically difficult matchup. But here going into game 3, could see a repeat of game 1 where Noah just gets into that HE Pollen early since Makani's going first. And just kind of gets away with the game.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Noah gets to go second in this 3rd game. A huge advantage, and it will really be on Makani to see how he's able to set up while being on the back foot.
Game 1, he only had that Monkey Dorian attached, but game 2, he was able to get a bit more of a board, used Frillish on Noah. Noah just getting that double prize loss, got too far behind in game 3. Yeah, here's game 1, that Itchy Pollen. Makani's board just so terrible. That one Monkey Dory, turn after turn, and Noah, perfect hand off this Iono. Zorg, Pokepad for the Zekrom, and an energy to attack with, ending this game in just a couple turns.
Game 2 is where things really devolved. Have to see, you know, I really still wonder what if there was no 2 prize card penalty, how this game would have shaped out, but can't think about the past. We have to move on to the future. Noah did all he could, but it was the Mega Diancie able to take that KO while also leaving energies in play that just left Noah in a corner he could not escape. Try as he may, he picked up his cards, and we went to game number 3.
Mega Diancie really shining in the spotlight here. We'll see if it gets into play game 3. And also Noah here going second. As we've mentioned, that Itchy Pollen, a really big factor against these Gardevoir decks. Once they lost Refinement, really struggled to find some pieces, really rely on those items. Here, Makani opens a Monkey Dory, just like game 1. Doesn't look like there's much
kidding
there.
me? It's draw pass on the Monkey Dory.
Noah has a great hand Nest Ball Buddy Poffin. We'll see if he has access to that Budew this game.
He can find Budew, something like End's Castle or
Era o que o cara precisava.
Petron and Dark Energy. Yeah,
Não dá pra ganhar ainda, mas é uma vantagem
go about
fodida.
KOing this Monkey Dory. Has prized the
tem
Ends Darumaka,
filha,
though.
não
That could
tem
be a
porra
crucial part in
nenhuma
this
no
game,
próximo
should both
turno.
players set up.
Noah will probably be checking that now, adapting his game plan, knowing that with only that 1-1 line, we'll never be able to use that Ends Darmanitan. He doesn't know that it's at the top of the prize, but we do, so we won't be seeing Darmanitan anytime soon. Noah's going to have to really rely on the End Zekrom and potentially the Itchy Pollen, but eyeing up triple Zorua here, not even getting a Budew yet.
Just checking the deck, seeing what pieces are available.
Pode estar na
Shuffling
mão.
things up. Triple Zorua found being put into play. What else can Noah do on this turn?
Looked like a Lily's Determination and Petron in hand. We'll see if he benches that Petron trying to prep for a Budew, or if he just chooses to not waste the bench spaces on those 2 cards.
Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, Noah could still win the game on this turn. If he can find Petron EX, Binding Mochi, and a Darkness Energy, then that will be enough to KO this Monkey Dory. It's just going to be a pass, though.
Não deu.
Maybe just
não
having
deu.
a couple Enzorks in hand, but not even an energy touch.
Agora
Makani
tem
top decks a secret
comeback
box.
legal ali com a caixa, hein?
That's big. As it stands,
Aquela
would essentially
caixa ali
guarantee
pode
a
mudar
technical
o
machine
bagulho.
evolution on this turn. There's 1 in the prize cards, but there are 2 in the list.
But no energy in hand means he has to get this Earthen Vessel, and if you get Artisan here, it means you're only evolving up 1 Ralts. So not as strong of an evolution as you'd like, especially discarding 2 supporters, a Lily's Determination and an Iono. We saw in the last game, Makani went down on Ionos really quickly, running down to 1 Iono left really fast, and wouldn't have had that disruption option in the late game if it
Esse
had
tá
continued
sendo
longer.
jogo
So
de
see if we get
camaradas,
to a
eles estão
similar spot this
conversando
game,
bastante.
and what Makani decides to do this turn, if he decides to go for that technical machine evolution.
Looks like a bit of sharing between both of these players. You love to see it. So we will see this secret box resolve. Now just checking through the Pokemon, seeing what are available. As it stands, if Makani does have another supporter in hand, could grab an Arven off of this secret box, and that would allow a double Pokemon to come into play. You get the Earthen Vessel from the item off of the secret box, and then Arven to find another way to search a basic Pokemon. We'll have to see if he wants to take the safe route or spin a little bit through the hand, put it into the deck with a Lily's Determination, and see off of these 8 cards if there is another Ralts.
Likely depends on the strength of the rest of Makani's hand, if he feels confident in getting a Gardevoir next turn, or if he wants to spin now and then potentially have another Lily's Determination on the next turn to try to set up that board, get some more energies into this card, etc. And it looks like he's just grabbing those 2 basics now, Nest Ball and Artisan, and then using Lilies to try to find an energy. I mean, Gardevoir, 10 basic energies, 3 Earthen Vessels. You have great odds to find it, but not guaranteed.
They're going to preemptively search out this Ralts, does not want to find more basic Pokemon, and here we go. Big time Lily's Determination. If Makani does not find an energy card, this game could turn upside down very quickly.
And another risk with the Lily's Determination, you could draw into those Curlias that you want to search out and not be able to use the evolution to its full power. Just having to draw past us turn. Big Lilies for 8 here.
Here we go. 8 cards for Makani. Can he find an energy and, more importantly, not draw into those aforementioned Curlia? We'll have to see the draws. 8 cards thanks to Lily. No energy. That's halfway done. Does find a dark energy. That's going to be good enough in this spot.
Pretty great. If Noah didn't get an energy attack from last turn, it's very hard for him to get a knockout this turn. Needs to get an energy in the discard pile and ends PP up. A way to pivot and another energy to attach to knock out this dark energy. So there's decent odds that this dark energy gets to stick on the board. And Makani double Curlia, really making a strong board here.
Looks like does have an Ultra Ball from the top of the deck. We'll see Zoroark EX get evolved, and now has to decide which card he'd like to trade away first. Seems like the Ends Darmanitan, probably the easiest choice since that Darumaka is in the prizes. That will be the choice here. Let's find another one. Okay, here we go. We're chaining, ladies and gentlemen.
And found an Ends Castle, so won't have to find that Petrant to move the Zekrom if he's able to find all the pieces to attack. There's a Dark Energy.
Discarded. There is an Ultra Ball in the hand. Can find Zoroark number 3, and then hope to draw into something. Will now finally use this Artisan. Wonder what he's looking for.
Maybe that Budu, you know, stop Makani from getting a Gardevoir into play, or make it at least difficult, stopping those 4 Ultra Balls from searching the Gardevoirs, meaning Makani has to find one of the 2 Gardevoirs in his deck. Something that can be difficult for the deck to do. We see Dragapult, Dusknoir abuse that fact and try to get them while they only have Curlias on the board.
Who does come down into play. Itchy Pollen, now an available option thanks to that Ends Castle that Noah drew into.
Noah here has to decide, does he want to Ultra Ball for another Zoroark? It's a little bit scary that if he doesn't, Makani, if he finds the Screamtail with this Artisan, although it's likely getting bumped, if he finds Gardevoir and Screamtail, could move 30 onto this Budu, and then Screamtail knock out the Zorua, putting him onto even prizes at 4. And Noah still at 6. Could be a very awkward position for him to be in. Using a Pokepad, eyeing up the Monkey Dory.
It was maybe thinking about grabbing Tatsugiri, but it is in the prize cards, unavailable. You saw him jot down a note. You've got to imagine that's the Pokemon he was maybe thinking about just grabbing to thin out of the deck, or try something with that attract customers.
We'll see if he's grabbing the Zorua to bench, thin, maybe discard off Ultra Ball. A lot of things he can do here. Yep, there's that Ultra Ball. Oh, he bosses orders in Black Belt training. Black Belt's training, not too big in this matchup. You have weakness on the Gardevoirs, but that bosses order is really big. I've talked to Henry Chow a few times, and he said that Zoroarks with 2 boss struggle to find it, and he can beat them a lot of the time. But here, Noah is playing 3 boss, but discarding 1 may struggle to find it later on.
Zoroark number 3 comes down into play. To see what this trade discards, have to imagine it is the Zorua that was grabbed. There it is. Zorua hits the discard pile, but no supporter card. This hand is extremely weak. We'll see it played down to just 2 cards remaining. It's just a
Bom, pelo menos veio o castelinho do N ali pra poder parar ali que tem lock, né? Castelinho em construção veio.
Earthen Vessel, it's the next card though, so can't play it. We're just gonna see an Iono, and that's actually a huge gift for Noah in this spot.
Noah didn't have much going on, was just relying on those 3 trades, but Makani, no Psychic Energies in the discard pile, no Gardevoirs in his hand.
Bom, sem guard, sem jogo, né?
Is he retreating into a Curlia?
Jogou uma Curlia pra frente,
instead of this Monkey Dory, trying to keep that threat of the Mega Diancie open. Noah finds energy. I think I saw boss's orders too. Really strong hand off the Iono. Noah, after such a weak couple turns, Makani wasn't able to find anything off of this Itchy Pollen. He's suddenly back in it. We'll see what he is able to do this turn, shuffling the deck. See a couple of important resources at the bottom, wanting those to be back in circulation for those trades.
Yeah, this is already a perfect hand. The question becomes, Do you want to chase Monkey Dory, or do you want to save that boss's orders for later on?
Now with one boss's orders in the discard, it's really, you don't want to use it that aggressively, but at the same time, if you knock out this Monkey Dory, your Zork's almost guaranteed to survive another turn. And that's a really big piece, but you do have this buddy to play, which can always get knocked out by a single Adrenabrain. See what Noah opts to do. Ends PP up, getting another Zork ready, so maybe deciding not to knock out the Monkey Dory since he has that backup Zork.
There was a world.
You're definitely pondering a supporter choice.
Campo dele
There's the boss on the Monkey Dory.
Targeting down Monkey Dory, wants to make sure Adrenabrain is not online, and there it is, copying the shred on the Zekrom, taking the KO. We'll see what card he does draw into it. Is the Dark Energy, so a nice resource to have. But now Makani, having item cards, will start things off right away with as good as it gets. Earthen Vessel away Psychic to find some more energies. The big question, Piper, can he find that Gardevoir EX plus Monkey Dory Dark and an attacker of choice?
Connie here shuffling the deck after the Earthen Vessel, meaning he probably doesn't have an Ultra Ball. You always love to pair that Earthen Vessel, get those 2 Psychic Energies, an Ultra Ball for your Gardevoir EX. Makani here unable to do that. If he is able to find that Gardevoir, he had 2 Ultra Balls last turn, a couple turns ago that he Iono to the bottom, and another Iono. Makani's down 3 Ionos again. Really big for Noah. Really not going to be getting Canvas from as consistently down that Secret Box too. It's going to be hard for Makani to find that 4th Iono.
Does find Ultra Ball. And the Dark Energy, no Gardevoir.
É mais ou menos, mas não tem muito game daí pra frente, porque não tem nocaute no Zoroark, toma nocaute muito fácil, né?
But Makani, the rest of Makani's hand looks so weak. There's Ultra Ball, Counter Catcher, DNC, Dark Energy, then the Devolution and Earthen Vessel they just played. Maybe he has to grab Fezandipity off this Ultra Ball just to stay in the game.
Como é que dá pra sair
dessa? Like that's what he was eyeing up. But now using that Ultra Ball, you still need to find Gardevoir. Looking for Gardevoir and Monkey Dory here. And support for the coming turns. He has
vai jogar pra RNG
just
agora.
missing a couple of those pieces still.
Yeah, this is a big-time risk for Makani. If he's unable to find Gardevoir this turn, then Noah will run away with an absolutely massive lead in this match.
But if Makani had used that Gardevoir, went into Diancie, the Diancie would have had 40 damage on it and would have just been a black belt or binding Mochi away from getting knocked out, and Noah would have been at 2 cards.
Look at those 3 cards. Finds Ultra Ball,
Ele já tinha usado
Tail, Lily. Are you kidding me? That's pretty much as good as it gets almost.
Vê a Scream Tail ali, que é interessante. Mas não salva ele, mas é interessante.
Noah's Zorks are going to be safe from one-shots for another turn.
What do you do? I mean, down double bosses orders, there's a good chance a Gardevoir EX on the bench is not targeted and KO'd. We haven't seen the Secret Box, and yes, that last boss's orders is actually the top of the prize cards, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so Noah would have to find something like that Pal Pad really quickly, then the Secret Box to have the odds to find it. It's a lot of 1-0s that he has to find just to get that boss's orders on the Fezandipity, but Noah's content just taking a 1-prize KO here, going to even prizes and using those boss's orders later on in the game. Here, Makani just passes, setting up a Monkey Dory actually, not discarding a Counter Catcher and a Scream Tail. A lot of resources gone for Makani. We'll see what Noah is able to put together on this turn.
His trade getting rid of the Dark Energy, finding 2 more for his troubles. Trade number 2 does find Professor Turo. Turo can pick up something like the liable Badoo, and that is actually going to be the choice here for Noah. His content to just potentially take this KO on the active. We'll use it as trade fodder. And does find the Pal Pad. That's a huge find if Noah wants to just put back these bosses' orders.
May also look to put a Turo back since he did prize that second Professor Turo scenario, but
ele já tem
is just so
atacante de
tempting.
novo,
It gives you such high odds of finding those bosses to close out the game, especially that Fezandipity on the board, that I'd imagine that's what he's going to choose. And has a Binding Mochi on the Zork, really threatening to knock out the Fezandipity if it gets a Bravery Charm, or the Diancie if it's lacking one of those Bravery Charms.
Yeah, it's maybe just considering to play a little bit more reactive since Makani is just down so many Iono in this spot. Takes the KO with Shred once again. 2-prize lead for Noah, and look at this board. It's triple Zoroark, and they're all going to be powered up at the end of next turn.
Makani here just has to use this Lily's Determination. Also as a Night Stretcher, could get something like a Monkey Dory back, or Ralts, or the Scream Tail. Eyeing up that Monkey Dory here, and then Lily's for 8. Fezandipity flip the script to draw 3 more. Effectively, Lily's for 11.
Feels like he has to find Dark Energy plus Gardevoir to stay in this game.
And even then, he may also need another Ralts. Otherwise, if Noah's able to get one of these bosses' orders again, the lone Gardevoir could easily get knocked out with that Zoroark already having a bunch of energies. But Makani's Diancie is also under threat.
Que o cara tá com os 3 Zoro
only playing
carregados
one
ali,
down that Secret Box. It's not going to be easy to find.
We did see that Karate Belt, the Black Belt's training get discarded. So it is going to be pretty unlikely for a KO without that card, thanks to the ability. Here we go, big 8 cards. And no, there's really nothing found here. This is a big flip to script. Gardevoir, is there a dark energy?
Chegou.
No dark energy.
Não tem energia dark, mas
So
chegou em
close,
duas
yet so
guards
far for
agora.
Makani.
Yeah, Makani seems to just be drawing a couple of the pieces, but not finding those full combinations he needs. And it's really just that reliance on Fezandipity from Gardevoir, not having a real
Falta
draw.
10 de
like
dano
Thor,
pra ele dar
Dragon
nocaute,
Bolt,
falta
Tango.
240,
So now, what is the
30
attack of
do
choice? Do you
mundo.
get in there and
Falta
bind
30
bend
do
to
outro
try and
mundo.
set up damage later on?
I mean, Mind
Acho
Bend
que
is
ele vai
just so
bater,
weak here. I mean, I guess
confundir,
Noah has
foda-se,
2
né?
bosses in
É
the
o que
discard
ele
pile,
tem.
but I believe
Não?
Makani already discarded that Technical Machine
Vai
Devolution.
pra adiante,
Instead,
não?
eyeing up that Diancie.
Does have the Bravery Charm in hand, so can protect it a little bit. And with that Karate Belt, Black Belt's training being out of play in the discard pile, it would be a little bit more difficult to knock this out, even if you leave, 2 damage counters on this Pokemon, for example. I feel like you've got to put at least 3 energy on it. That is the choice. Triple Psychic Embrace. Mega Diancie going to 60 damage on it. Can heal this down to 30 with the Adrenabrain. But you just place it on the active and hope your opponent doesn't have Monkey Dory back?
I mean, giving Noah that 30 damage and leaving 30 on your Diancie, even considering putting more damage on the Diancie, maybe Noah is able to get that knockout. We know he has the Palpad in hand. Could just be something like that Secret Box. Just such a powerful ace back.
Cara,
players using it
290 ele morre, hein?
find those crazy
Um
combos.
Peixarã
Connie,
com
though,
Mote
so
aí,
many
ele morre.
resources,
É uma zona muito
including 3
arriscada.
Ionos, putting that extra energy there. 50
Arriscada
damage
para
on this Diancie now.
santo caralho,
A lot
mas...
of damage, basically negating that Bravery Charm.
É isso.
Bravery Charm now negated. As it stands
Ai,
now,
ficou com 10.
you would be
Meu amigo, ele
just
conseguiu
10 damage
matar
off,
ainda.
taking a KO with a Binded Mochi.
Tá que ele mata transferindo o dano depois ali, né? Mas o turno já foi gasto,
Would
né?
fix that math.
Yeah, looking at Noah's hand, I think I saw
Tudo
Monkey
já
Dory Dark
foi.
already there, so he just needs something like that Petron to set up the Binding Mochi.
Wouldn't even need Black Belt, so Black Belt's training could just use the Palpad to
Tem
put
dois
Boss's orders
turnos
back
no
in the
deck,
deck.
né?
Yeah, and can wait to do that at the end of the turn. So
Ele pode
if
chegar pro
Makani has
segundo
that one
turno
Iono,
aí, se
Noah's
salvar
already
desse
used all these trades,
nocaute.
thinned his deck down, and Makani Ionos him with a couple
Vai que,
bosses
né?
in deck, or he just gets to keep his massive hand. And I think I see Night Stretcher. I don't know if the Pet was discarded this game or one of the earlier ones.
I'll have to take a look. There's trade number 2. It is the discard pile. Wow, can be brought back and find Secret Box as well. So many
Acho que
options
agora ele
open for
chegou
Noah
onde
now.
ele quiser.
Noah just has
Não
everything
sei
in
se
his
ele
hand
vai
to do whatever
usar.
he wants, and Makani just missing all these combinations to make a meaningful play. Still at 6 prizes when Noah's at 4,
Tirando.
threatening to go to 1, or Noah could even knock out this Gardevoir EX this turn with a boss's orders. But this Diancie really is the biggest threat, and when you go to 1 prize, you can get Iona to 1 both all these trades, and then you can stack your deck with 2 boss's orders in it. All these Monkey Dories are just asking to get knocked out for Noah's final prize at that point.
Here we go, Palpad. Now the time strikes. Put those Boss's orders back in the deck. And it seems that this Diancie is primed to be KO'd thanks to the Binding Mochi. Is
Ah,
even
ele vai
considering
atrás
using
agora.
Secret Box
É.
right now just
Dá
to bin
pra
some cards out of the hand.
esculachar mesmo.
Guaranteeing all those pieces, maybe eyeing up, knocking out the Gardevoir. We'll see if he decides to grabbing one of those boss's orders, maybe knocking out the Fezandipity or Gardevoir, 2 other big pieces.
Yeah, can do the
Pode
math
ele
and
ficar
actually figure
atrás,
out
né?
what the
Mas-
likelihood is of finding Boss with just 2 trade. It seems to be a bit over 50%.
And could also get the Fezandipity in play to have an extra 3 cards. Makani basically has to knock out the Zoric, it feels, with all his damage. Otherwise, Professor Turas at some point could just knock it out.
There's the Monkey Dory Dark Energy coming down. And is actually going to target down Monkey Dory just to prevent a knockout with Adrenabrain on the following turn. So ignoring Mega Diancie for right now, retreating with that Ends Castle.
Porque nesta situação,
Monkey
em
Dory
tese,
Adrenabrain going to stack even more damage on this Mega Diancie. Now that Makani is down in the Monkey Dory war, this damage could potentially stick. We'll see the Shred take the KO, and Noah is primed to try and win
em
this
tese
game on the
agora
following
ele
turn.
foca em
Yeah, this
pegar
Diancie at 80 damage means no matter
o
what, it's
prêmio
going to be at
ali.
least 50 again. So Noah's going to be in the same spot,
Entendi.
but he has the Monkey Dory in play already, has 3 Zords in play.
Entendi.
Connie is going to have to use a counter catcher, but already
Se ele
discarded
focar o
one, may not be
prêmio
able
ali
to
e
find
ele não
it.
souber, e ele
Takes
não
to
conseguir
find
lidar,
Iono
acabou
this turn.
mesmo.
Does he have access to it?
Yeah, and it's his last Iono, 3 in the discard, has flipped the script to try and find it. May already have it in hand, unsure what Makani has available. Noah here just not taking the knockout on the Diancie means that he draws 3 cards off the Iono. So even if Makani has it, Noah might just be guaranteed to find the boss's orders anyway.
Mais 3.
Here we go.
Okay.
No, I don't think I saw Iono off that flip the script.
I might see one in the hand already. There's just so many cards. The Ionos and Lilies can look kind of similar sometimes, but
Não, não.
Oh,
Tem
there
uma
is
Xera
an Iono.
sim.
Wow, he has it.
Tem
And
uma ali
countercharge
sim.
already.
Tem uma
hiding
ali
there.
sim.
Interesting choice to
Pode
use
de dar
flip the
Xera
script
no
before
Zoroark, é que o
Iono, but I
Zoroark
guess you
compra
got
tudo
so
de
many
novo, né?
cards you can draw off Iono. It's fine. So here we go. Playing the counter catcher, bringing up this end Zoroark. Is there a card potentially
Energia Dark?
Tony is still looking for? Considering playing Arvid, but your opponent showed you they have boss's orders in their hand.
Well, no, it did play that boss's orders. He got a secret box, but
Oh,
you just
true.
let him keep the hand of so many cards, likely including that Fezandipity, so he can probably just draw his entire deck at that point. Or with the Ends Castle and play bench Petrant and then retreat into Tatsugiri as well, since I believe he drew it off the prize cards, and find that boss off the attract customers. Use Petrant to get back into the End Zoroark and activate the Binding Mochi, Adrenabrain, and then knock out that Mega Diancie.
Ah, o Turo tá no prize.
Is Monkey Dory number 2 found off Ultra
A
Ball?
hora que eu olhei
Things
ali,
are
o
getting
Turo tá
intense
no
as we're
prize.
winding down to figure out who we will be crowning a champion, and it's gonna be Arvin. So the
Ia
hand
chegar mesmo.
stays for Noah. Night Stretcher the choice, just to guarantee this dark energy to make it as hard as possible, as difficult as possible, for Noah to win the game on the following turn.
Mas mesmo assim, ainda vai
Uses Mega Diancie in the exact same spot
faltar.
it was
Mas dá
last turn.
nocaute.
50 damage, 270 HP left. Beating an Adrenabrain and a Binding Mochi activation would be enough damage to knock it out.
Full bench, Ralt and Monkey Dory come down into play as the Mega Diancie, the princess herself, comes up to the active spot. There it is, Adrenabrain, number 1, taking the KO now with this Mega Diancie. Can Noah find the boss's orders to win this game?
Noah with 3 prizes can't win this turn though because Makani gave him no damage.
I think with the Petron here, is the math there?
I think it's only doing
Acabou,
260.
acabou.
Well, with the Petron's binding
Fechará,
it would do
fecha.
290.
O Peixará fecha.
Minus that.
Acabou.
There's no
Ele-
damage counters in play,
Ele
however.
troca,
So he
290,
can damage
acabou.
short, it seems.
Yeah, but Noah could also just be content putting this Diancie to 310 damage, but then what happens if Makani has his Professor Turo scenario?
Still, this game is all over Piper if Noah can find some other way to deal damage. Actually, with there being just 3 prize cards left, I'm actually not sure Noah can win on this turn. 290 is the cap because that Black Belt's training is still in the discard pile.
Não, mas
Noah
290
could try to
fecha,
find
pô.
another boss's orders this turn to knock out something like the Fezandipity or the
A não ser que ele não
Guardian
tenha...
EX,
Ah, não,
but
mas não precisa nem
his
de
last
boss,
boss
tá na
orders is still
frente,
prized,
pô.
so he may
É
just
só
not be able to get
recorte,
through this Mega
não, botar
Diancie.
ele ali com
This
a
game is
própria
shaping out
habilidade
to be
do
an
Peixará.
interesting
Acabou.
endgame. Chasing that Monkey Dory could have changed how this game has played out.
But if Noah chases this Monkey Door again, Makani still can't knock out the Zoroark, and then Makani's kind of in this weird spot where he can't attack the Zoroark because then Noah gets the Adrenabrain damage, and he's out of counter catchers too, so can't gust around it, really putting him in an awkward position. So see what Noah decides to do this turn.
There is a 1 in 3 chance, or a 2 in 3 chance if you take a KO on an EX to draw that final boss's orders off the prize cards. Could that be a potential risk Noah is thinking about taking?
But if you don't draw it, are you just losing the game at that point?
Ah,
Noah here
mas por que
going
ele
with an
não
Iono,
consegue chegar
maybe
lá?
hoping that Makani can't find the Professor's Turo scenario.
Adiante, tem
I mean,
alguma
at
habilidade
worst,
que eu
if
não
you
lembro?
hit into this Mega Diancie and it KOs you back, you can just use another Zoroark and win the game that way. It seems like a fine trade-off.
Yeah, and it looks like the Turo is in Makani's hand, so if Noah Ionos is going straight to the bottom of the deck, if Noah doesn't take a knockout this turn, Makani won't have any way to draw.
Wow.
So it'll be really difficult to find that Turo. May have to retreat the Diancie and hope Noah doesn't have boss, but we know it is in those last few cards, I think, unless Noah drew it off the trades this turn.
So 3 cards for Noah, 4 cards for Makani. Here it is, retreating with that Ends Castle. 250 damage, minus the 30 from Diamond Coat, 220 brings this Diancie just barely away from being KO'd at 50 HP remaining. And it's on Makani to figure out how he can come back from this spot.
About one Bravery
ela
Charm,
toma
saving
20,
this Diancie
ela toma
from
30
losing the
menos.
regional
Aí é
championships.
foda.
But Makani here, what does he have here?
Finds Dark Energy Lily, but it's not a hand disruptor card, right? Makani is out of Iono, is just going to play this Lily's Determination, draw 6
Não lembrava
cards.
da questão
As
da
it stands,
resistência
if
assim,
Noah
em
can
cima
find
da...
boss's orders the
de
following
Dark.
turn, he will become the Orlando Regional Champion.
And Makani, even though he has a second Dark, can't attack with a Mega Diancie because then Noah just has game on board using another Rampaging Thunder with his second Zoroark he has set up. We'll see what Makani's able to draw off the Phillies' determination. If anything can stop Noah from knocking out this DNC. I don't know if the boss went to the bottom last turn or if it's in those last few cards left in Noah's deck. I don't think I saw it in his hand.
Na dúvida, ele compra o deck inteiro agora, filho. Ele compra o deck inteiro e chega lá. Apesar que aí vai ficar só um duro, né, pra ele comprar.
Could go into Gardevoir EX and attack that way. Mind Bend on Monkey Dory. But all of these things are setting up for 2-hit KOs and guaranteeing Noah a prize on the following turn as well.
Retreating the Gardevoir. Maybe Miracle Force for 250 with those 2 Adrenabrains.
Would set it up for a double Adrenabrain next turn to take a KO, and then Mega Diancie could potentially clear something out down the line. But here we go, Piper. This is big. 250 damage placed onto this Zoroark EX. And if Noah can find a boss's orders, this game will be all over. First trade, actually going to use the Buddy Poffin to find this Tatsugiri, and I think this may be it. If Noah
tem
can
6.
That Petra
Se tiver 6 caras, acabou, mano. Ele vai comprar com os 2 duros e vai chegar na boss ali. Acabou.
Customers, so now has doubled the
Não tem como perder mais, velho.
Trade number 1. Finds Petron EX, and I believe that's the game. Can go into Tatsugiri, find the boss's orders, and Noah Sakajian becomes your Orlando Regional Champion!
Absolutely crazy game there, back and forth, all 3 games. Noah with that game 1 issue, but Connie there just not able to find anything to keep the board present. Noah Sakajian wins with Enzor. Gardevoir EX falls in its final event. Crazy to see Enzor leading that Ascended Heroes with Zekrom. Fantastic play from both players to get to this point. And overall, it's great to see both these decks do well, but Enzoric shows that the Dark Weakness gets Gardevoir sometimes and dethrones the 1.5 million earner deck.
And Zoroark remains victorious in the matchup against the king of the G-regulation format. And what a back and forth set this was. Game 1, unable to do anything. Makani fell to that turn 2 Zoroark EX KO. We went straight to game number 2, and it was quite a different story. Thanks to that double prize card penalty, it really gave Makani a pretty easy route to victory in that second game.
Yeah, Noah had such a good board, but that prize loss really shows how the Mega DNC can just even the prize trade. And maybe if Makani had drawn a bit better in game 3, we would have seen that shine a lot more. We saw that Mega DNC come to play here in game 2, just taking super aggressive knockouts after Mindbend, not being able to get knocked out easily in return. 320 HP, taking -30, and Noah just scooped it up, not able to deal with that DNC.
And in this game number 3, back and forth it was. Makani just stunted by that early Badoo, taking prize cards, ran off to an absolutely enormous lead, and fight valiantly as he may, Noah correctly, to some, take the KOs onto the Monkey Dories, left that Mega DNC primed for a KO, and it was finally this boss's orders that allowed victory to be had, KOing the Mega DNC with that Petron EX combined with the Binding Mochi, and Noah Sakajian becomes your Orlando Regional Champion.
Tatsugiri, really the MVP of Noah's run, it feels. I feel like he uses it every game just to get those big supporter cards that impact the game, boss's orders for game, Professor Turo scenario on occasion. Really just showing the power of the mobility of the deck from N's Castle and Petron. There it is, Noah Sakajian, our Orlando Regional Champion. Wow. Amazing to see. Crazy reaction there. What an amazing set. Both players played great.
And a shout out to all of our top 8 competitors. Congratulations once again to Noah, as well as all of our finishers. A wide variety of decks, and I would say, in my honest opinion, a very proper send-off to the G regulation of Scarlet and Violet.
Yep, Gardevoir EX making it to the finals in an epic fashion, and Goldengo still making it into top 8. Really great note for a lot of these decks to go off. Only one missing is Charizard. But I mean, with all this item lock running around, we're not too surprised to see it falter a bit.
We, of course, still have more events on our championship circuit. The regional championships coming up in North America. We just concluded Orlando. That will be grayed out. Don't forget about Los Angeles and Indianapolis before our international and world championship.
A couple more regionals and major events. People trying to get those last championship points, climb up the leaderboards for the world championship invite back in San Francisco after 10 years. Exciting city, exciting event. A lot of stuff planned. The Pokemon XP.
Bom, vou fechando a live aqui. Terminou aí. Amanhã estamos aí de volta, então vou jogar o Pokémon de cartinha de Game Boy Color, tá? É o próximo aí da Maratona Pokémon. Ele vai ser um tantinho mais curto, né? Ele não é tão longo assim, ainda mais se eu não nubar tanto. Então acredito que durante a semana eu já termine ele, beleza? No mais, bom final aí de feriado para vocês. Valeu a presença dos senhores aí na live. A gente se vê numa próxima. Valeu!